can't bash Trump anymore. We'll talk about the next Republican. Let me guess, they're a Trump supporter? Sent them an invite. Alrighty, let's get everyone joining in the stream. What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? We're going to start getting the debates up here in a second. Only do send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria that I have listed here on the TikTok screen. Let's get everyone joining in. We're getting everything set up here on YouTube and everything. And we're going to get the debates going here in a second. What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Hopefully everyone is having a good day so far. Hopefully everyone is having a good day so far. We're going to start the stream up here and get the debates going. What's up, everyone joining in? Alrighty. I have it fully set up there. Let me copy and paste this on YouTube, and then we should be able to get going for the stream. Alrighty. Copy pasting that, and then we should get ready. Let's get the debates going here in a second. It is early, so I'm going to give it a second for people to join in. It is a little bit early, so do give it a second, everyone. Let's start the debates here in a second. Only do send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed here on the TikTok screen. We are, again, just looking for some debates, everybody. Just looking for some debates. Alrighty. Yo, what's up? How old are you? So the next individual only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I love you, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I love you. Bye.
Appreciate you. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo, 19.
Do you support Trump?
Yes and no.
What does that mean? If you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Donald Trump, because he's helping Venezuela right now.
Okay, a few
My whole
things to
family
say.
is from there.
Okay. So you support him murdering people off the coast of Venezuela with absolutely no evidence given to Congress that they had DRUGS?
I mean, that's part of the whole narcotic world.
Even in the circumstances in which there was a boat that was disabled, right? So meaning that they couldn't even continue on. Law says that they're supposed to save the survivors and rescue them, which didn't happen. They murdered them after they were surrendering. They didn't have enough gas, and they weren't even going towards the United States. So
Yeah, man,
explain to
but
me why that's the case.
no other
Especially
president, no other
especially when most
president.
DRUGS brought to this country are not brought from Venezuela.
Yeah, man, but no other president has had that intention of helping Venezuela and get their dictator out, and talking to them. It's hard for the people from there because we've been in that for almost 20 years. And it's good to know that at least a president of a higher status like the United States is actually have a plan or something that has to do with us,
So you support him engaging in regime change?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what the essentially? Do you know what the U.S. has done with regime change historically speaking?
Yes.
And has that been
I know.
effective historically, or has that been not effective because it's led to destabilization? So what evidence do you have that
I
this is
can
going to
say
lead to better conditions in terms of Trump engaging? Because one, he hasn't even established that that's his position yet. Two, he's claiming that he's unaliving drug boats off the coast of Venezuela with absolutely no evidence that they had drugs in the first place. So if he's lying about what's going to happen, what tells you that he's actually doing it for the benefit of the people rather than the benefit of himself to get oil?
Yeah, well, there's definitely benefit for him. Venezuela's a rich country in oil. But still, man, everyone knows that there's a cartel going on there between Colombia, Venezuela, and there's a lot of drug lords going on over there. And it's been like that since a long time. And yeah, he can get a benefit from the oil, but still, there's people here that, in his words, get sent out from prisons, mental institutes, and he wants to make his country better by sending all those people back. And having a regime change in Venezuela. I've never seen another president even consider looking at Venezuela before. So that's one thing I like about him. I don't like him in other ways, but I can't be mad at that, man.
So like you would vote for him because of that. You wouldn't look at any other issue. And by the way, again, like I've already mentioned, you didn't even address the other points I made. You just acted like they didn't happen. Acted like I didn't say them.
What point did you make about the
About
other
regime
regime
change not
changes?
historically being effective, about the fact that he wasn't even doing so based upon regime change, the fact that his goals would not have anything to do with regime change, that limits them from actually doing what you're saying you want them to do.
Okay, so what would you recommend for a president that wants to get involved in Venezuela and wants to make a change? What would you recommend?
What would I recommend? I don't know. But I don't think that Trump is engaging in the correct behavior.
So what is the correct behavior?
Again, I told you I don't know the set of conditions that would create a better set of scenarios, but I would say the correct behavior isn't murdering people off the coast of Venezuela with absolutely no evidence given to Congress that they had DRUGS in the first place. Okay? Murdering people is not an actual solution here. And you should be against that. I'm sorry. You should be against them murdering people without evidence. And even if they had
No, I
DRUGS,
am. I
you
am.
detain them once they get to U.S. waters. You don't murder them. Okay? This is absurd. This is not okay.
I am. No, 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 no. I am. I am. But the thing I'm saying is that that's a country that's been in those conditions for a while, and no one has ever looked at Venezuela. Even we got Russia in there. China has gotten involved with Venezuela. So just taking the time to just look at what's happening there, it means a lot for the people.
I
I'm
mean,
not
it's
saying
been
that
brought up
it's
in
good
American
what he's
politics
doing.
over and over and over again, right? Like, Venezuela is constantly brought up in American politics, but it's constantly brought up by Republicans in saying, "Oh, you socialists want our country to be like Venezuela." That's what they say. Okay, that's how Republicans have historically brought up Venezuela. So they have not brought it up in a manner in which is to benefit Venezuela, but specifically utilizing it as a method of comparison to say that when you engage in quote unquote socialist policy, that it leads to that. Which what they're defining as socialist policy is any liberal policy with any level of social safety net, which is ridiculous. That's the
Okay.
way that they bring it up. So
Yeah.
I don't think the goal there is actually to benefit anyone. And what could they do that actually would? Is the question I could ask you as well. Like, do you want it?
Man,
Do you want a
just
land
getting.
invasion?
I just want the people there to not suffer anymore, man. Cause
Of
I
course,
had
everyone
family
wants
from
that.
there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But the thing I'm trying to explain to you is that I to this point I've seen so many people suffer there that I really don't care how it goes. I just want it to end. So I've seen family members get murdered. I've seen friends starve to death over there. And thank God I had the position to come here and be a citizen. So it hurts, and to see just at least a president trying to do something about it. I don't care if it's for his benefit. I don't care if it's murdering. I know it's bad. I'm not supporting it, but at least he's taking the time to consider to do something with Venezuela. That's just my point. That's it.
Okay, is there anything else you want to talk about? It seems like you've just made the same point like three different times. I genuinely don't know what else I would respond to this point.
No, man. Yeah, I want to know your opinion about it. Like, mm, mm, what other president has had an intention of helping Venezuela?
Well, I think that you could point to other presidents that have had intentions. I don't think Trump's intention is to help Venezuela. That's my point. I've made this point like six times now. I don't see any other aspect of the conversation that we could benefit from engaging with. Like what other things would convince you? Like I asked you, what do you want Trump to do? Do you want him to engage in a land invasion? I had no response.
No, no, no. Not a land invasion. I know he has people there, undercover people. So he definitely, if he's gonna get him out, he has a plan, and I hope no one gets hurt that's innocent. I hope if there's bad people there, they have to pay for what they did over the years. But I don't know, man. You hate everything, And that's one thing I can't hate him about. And now I just want to know your point on that. That was it. I wasn't really trying to debate you. I just want to know your opinion.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming up.
All right, man. Peace out.
All right. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. I don't know why it just says it's lagging now. What the hell is happening? Why is it lagging? Super weird. I don't know why it just started lagging here on TikTok. Do give it a second, everyone. It looks like my internet's fine. I don't know why it just did that. It looks like it was fine on YouTube. So let's go on to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hello, I'm 19, Parker. What's up?
What's your birth year?
I was born in 2006,
What month?
April 19.
And if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
I would think Trump
Okay, and why do you support Trump?
because he is protecting us from the Mexicans. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just gonna kick you because I think either you're a troll or stupid or fucked up. So stop trolling. Get off my stream. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Oh, my bad. I guess I don't meet the criteria because I'm not mad.
Okay, for sure. Appreciate you coming up. We are just looking for some people who meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Go to sleep, Parker.
Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hello, I'm 21 years old.
What's your birth year?
2004,
Okay, and what month were you born?
January,
What state do you live in?
Texas.
What time is it?
2.
2 o'clock, and that's nowhere near 2 o'clock there. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Let's go to the next individual. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 19.
What's your birth year?
Yeah, 2006.
And if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Yeah, Donald Trump.
Okay. Why do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah, mainly he's more pro-life than Kamala Harris.
Okay. And why do you think that's good?
Yeah, I think fetus has a soul.
Okay, so is that a religious claim?
No, it's allomorphic.
Okay, and what do you mean by that? When you swipe
Yeah,
on the app,
hold
I
on, wait.
can't hear you.
Yeah, I know. My TikTok's like, hold on. Yeah, hold on. So, hylomorphic soul's gonna be like, are you familiar with like Aristotelian ethics?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like yes or no. Like, are you familiar with it?
I said yes.
All right. Yeah. So, like, it's gonna be like the ontological category of personhood, which is gonna be like a property indexed to a property P. So the predicates X, Y, Z. In this case, the properties of soul, and the predicates are the capacities that flow from this like rationality and being of humankind.
Okay, and what is the beginning state in which it has value under your view?
Like when this fetus like obtains these traits.
Yeah, and when is that? I asked you.
Yeah, like at like conception.
At conception? Okay. So do you think IVF is murder? Because they discard many zygotes and embryos as part of that process?
Yeah, I'm not. I don't agree with IVF.
So you think it should be banned?
No, like I wouldn't legislate against it. Like in practice, I would be, like.
Okay, so if
Like
you
in
wouldn't legislate
principle.
against it, but you'd be against it, then are you just pro-choice then?
Well, no, because like like my morality would be against it. Like, I don't
Yeah,
see
you could
like
say
any
your
more.
morality is against it, but then you say it should be legal, right?
No, I never said it should be legal. Like I'm agnostic on it.
Okay, so then you aren't making a claim that it should be illegal.
Yeah, like I'm just like yeah,
Okay,
like
well
on my
then you
current
okay,
state,
if you're
like I'm
not
gonna be
making a
against
claim
it.
that it should be illegal, then you're not supporting Trump's position on anything in relation to abortion. Try again, give me a different reason why you support Trump.
Yeah, so like why do I have to like follow his exact ideals when it comes to abortion? Like I'm
If
not
you
like
if
a
you're agnostic and you just don't think it should be illegal in any position, right? If you're not
no,
making
I'm gonna
that
be like
claim, then
agnostic on
you're
like
not one, you're not pro-life. Two, you're not making a position that it should be illegal. Therefore, you're not agreeing with any of his positions on abortion in terms of overturning Roe versus Wade.
no, I'm gonna be agnostic on the conditions of legislating against IVF. That's all I said.
No, dude, I asked you because you said that, okay, you said that you value it at conception. I gave you explicit
Yes.
examples where we are unaliving it after conception, and you said that you don't have an issue with that. You said that you are agnostic on that.
Yeah, sure. I'll hold that
Okay, so
point.
then how could you make a claim that it's valuable after conception if you're not going to value it in that circumstance? That seems incoherent to me.
Yeah, because see, like the way like that IVF stunt is gonna be like morally unjust in most cases.
So you do think IVF should be banned?
Yeah, in like most cases.
Okay, so then you think it should be illegal to engage in the can you tell me what IVF stands for?
Like what IVF is,
Yeah, tell me, what does it stand for? What does IVF stand for?
it's gonna be like infertile. Excuse me, not infertile. It's gonna be like artificial like insemination.
Okay, in vitro fertilization. Okay,
Yeah.
and you're saying that should be illegal.
Yeah, because it's yeah, like it's gonna be done like a way that, um, yeah, that like commits more harm than good.
Okay, so people who specifically do need to have children through the context of the IVF process, you're just saying fuck them.
They're not going to say like the way like the current American IVF system works. I'm gonna find this to be immoral. If there's a more morally effective way to do this, I'd be in favor of it.
But if there's not, then you don't care.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Do you think it's wrong to use an IUD?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Do you think it's wrong to use birth control?
Like before or after fertilization.
Dude, I said birth control.
Like contraceptions. Yeah. Like I'd be fine with contraceptions.
Okay.
Like I just want to
Just
clarify
didn't wanna
because
get-
like people like label birth controls like a bunch of different things.
Okay, I mean, not necessarily. I mean, I was okay.
I mean, like people
Whatever.
like label like abortion as birth control.
I obviously wasn't in that scenario.
Well, yeah, no, no, I'm just like referring to like a general, like a
Okay.
generalized statement.
All right. Okay, and you think that should be so? You think someone should go to prison for using an IUD?
Yeah, it's gonna be like, well, like it's like depends. Like if like if this IUD like prevents fertilization, then no. But if like it's gonna like kill this fetus after, or excuse me, like this zygote after fertilization, then yeah.
Okay, so you're saying that it's valuable after fertilization, and it's just because of their cellular life. I have a question. Do you think that it's murder to pull the plug on an individual in your family that's brain dead?
No, this person is like not gonna like exhibit any valuable future experiences or opportunities.
Okay, so you're saying experience is what's valuable?
Yeah, like the experience is like intrinsic to your nature, or like being of a rational kind.
Okay, but like if the end of value happens at the end of the experience, why doesn't the beginning of value happen at the beginning of experience?
Can you like clarify like what you mean by this? I'm a bit confused by that question.
That wasn't a complicated question, okay? If the end of the value that you place on them ends at the end of the experience, why doesn't the beginning of the value begin at the beginning of the experience?
Yeah, because like this value is going to be like assigned by their nature. It's going to be intrinsic to them.
And what does that even mean?
Do you know what a nature is?
I do.
What's a nature?
Yeah, it's technically referencing what is.
What is a being? Yeah. So
Yeah.
like
So then, like, what
yeah,
is
so
that?
then-
That's such a vague concept to say that that's the basis of value. Like,
yes, like
I don't
any
even know
like
what that means. I
intrinsic
don't even know what
concept of
trait that's
being
in
vera-
reference to.
Yes, I'm going to value any being of a rational kind with
Okay.
something that's going
Well,
to be
then you must
intrinsically
value brain dead individuals as well.
No, because they're not of a rational kind no longer. They're clinically dead.
Oh, okay. So then they're not alive prior to the point in which they have sentience, correct?
No, they're going to belong to this kind even before they like actualize these capacities.
So wait, so then you said they're dead after the point of brain death.
Yeah,
Okay,
dead
so the
humans aren't
basis
going to
for
be
life
considered.
is not cellular life. It's going to be sentient life, correct?
No, it's going to be any being of a rational kind. That's what I value.
Okay, so of the human species?
Yeah.
Okay, so a brain dead individual is still of the human species.
How so?
They're cellularly speaking alive and still of the human species. There's not a single biologist that would tell you otherwise. What are you talking about?
Yeah, like brain dead patients are just like be considered brain dead, and like all like like all like leaving the plug in just prevents like decomposition. Like there's no organ function. They're clinically dead.
No,
There's
there
like
is
the
organ
cessation of
function.
brain.
There's organ function.
Yeah. Yeah, what organ functions can happen during a brain dead state?
In order to keep the body afloat. That's why they're on the medical
Yeah,
supplies.
machines just pump liquid through their veins to keep like their veins from like clotting in, just like preventing decomposition.
Yeah, but there's still organ function. That's why in those scenarios they can be organ donors.
Like if I have to have like a machine that like constantly like inflates my lungs for me, like I'm not going to consider my lungs like currently functioning.
I mean, I would say that they're able to function because of the machine.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. But like death is gonna be like defined as like the cessation, like the permanent cessation of brain activity.
Okay, so then why wouldn't life be defined as the beginning of brain activity?
Yeah, like that's not for me to define.
But your death is for you to define?
Yeah, like I'm gonna like appeal to
That just
expertise.
doesn't make any sense. You can define death but can't define life. I think in order to
Yeah, life
define
isn't a
death, you
start of
have to.
conception.
In order to define death, you have to define life. You know that, right?
Yeah, life is in a state of conception. That's the current scientific consensus.
Okay, so if you want to reference scientific consensus, well, then you must believe that in terms of medical life as well. Medical life begins at the point in which sentience begins, then. Because, again, medical death happens when sentience stops.
Can you define medical life?
Yeah, we were
Just to
referencing
clarify.
brain death, right? Brain death and being brain alive.
Yeah, like why should I value medical life?
You just said that you did.
No, I said I value any being of a rational kind.
No, you said that you once they become medically dead, you said that you can pull the plug.
No. Oh yeah.
Okay? So when you're invoking an idea of medical death, you're also invoking an idea of medical life. Do you agree?
Not necessarily.
What does medical death mean?
Yeah, medical death is going to be like any like type of clinical death resulting in the permanent
You
cessation
just
of
use
brain
death
activity.
within the definition. Can you use a definition that
Well, I'm
doesn't use
defining
the term
medical
within
like
the definition?
like there's going to be like different types of death. Like, are you familiar?
Instead of asking me a question, could you answer mine?
Yeah, restate it.
I have
Lock
to
in,
restate
bro.
the question. Okay, so medical life. What is that? Medical death, medical life. Tell me, what is medical
Yeah,
death?
yeah, medical death is going to be the permanent cessation of brain activity
Okay, so the stopping of brain activity, correct?
permanently.
Okay.
Yes.
So the beginning of brain activity, is that life?
No.
Okay. So then if the stopping of brain activity is the end of life, why would the beginning of brain activity be the beginning of life?
Like, is this
Because
like
you're
your best
using two
argument? This is
separate
like way
traits
too.
to identify what life is in this scenario. Because when you're saying death happened, that means they went from life to non-life. They're not living anymore, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you are necessitating a definition of life when saying that, and you're saying that the definition of life does not relate to your notion of death, which is incoherent.
How
Okay,
so?
if life under your view begins at conception, well then life does not end at brain death. Right? And by the way,
Wait,
that's
how is
the
this going to be
notion
like
of
an
life you're
out?
referencing.
Wait,
You
like
have to
how is this
reference
going to be
two
analogous?
separate notions of life.
I'm not referencing like wait how am I doing this? Explain
Yeah,
that for me.
cellular life and then sentient life.
Yes, like cellular life is going to be like defined medically as the beginning of human life. Like, are you familiar? Like that life begins at conception. This is like a basic scientific fact. Like I learned this in like 4th grade.
Hey, dude, I've explained this. If you can track the conversation, there's a distinction between cellular life and sentient life. Do you
Oh
agree?
yeah, I understand this. I see like no distinction morally though. It's like why should I accept this?
What do you mean no distinction morally? You see no distinction between cellular life and sentient life morally?
Yeah,
Then why do you think a brain dead individual you can pull the plug on them?
because they're not gonna have like any intrinsic value.
But they have cellular life continually, and morally, cellular life you said is viewed the same as sentient life. So if they're viewed the same, then they still have just as much value.
How so?
I just explained. Are you not tracking?
Yeah, I am. Like that's like I see like no distinction though.
You said that there's no distinction between cellular life and sentient life. If they still have cellular life, that means that they have the same value as when they had sentient life. So you
Well,
don't
no,
think it's
like, their
wrong to
cells
pull
are-
the plug on an individual in your family that's brain dead because, again, cellular life, from your view, has the same moral value as sentient life.
Well, no, because a brain dead person's cells are not gonna be like doing anything. They're just just like
What are
slowly
you talking
eroding
about? Are you
away.
trolling? What do you mean their cells aren't doing anything? What does that mean?
Yeah, they're just like there, like
Yes,
they're
they
not even like
are.
alive or dead.
They're
They're
doing
dead.
they're still cellularly speaking alive. What are you talking about?
How so? What keeps them alive?
What do you mean how so? The machine, of course the machine keeps them alive.
Yeah, by doing what?
What? Say it again?
By doing what?
It depends on the machine.
It's gonna be
Why are you
keeping them,
asking me what
quote-unquote-
the machine is doing? What's the point of this question?
Yeah, it's gonna like keep them alive by doing quote unquote like preventing composition.
No, actually, can you tell me what the different machines do to prevent decomposition?
Yeah, they're like for example, like certain ones can pump like artificial blood through the veins to prevent venal corrosion. There's ones that will just like inflate muscles in like a sort of like water retention way that will prevent bloating, or just like your body like falling in on itself. Like there's many different ones.
Where'd you read this?
Yeah, many different studies. That's what morgues do, by the way.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Where did you read that?
I can like look it up if you would like.
Yeah,
I
like
don't know if
I would love to see that. We're using artificial blood?
Well, no, not necessarily. Like no, like it's not considered blood. But, like,
I mean,
yeah,
I'm
no, it
actually, I don't
acts
think
as-
I've heard
it
that
acts
one
as blood.
before.
No, like it acts as blood. It's gonna be what that is.
No,
It's gonna
they
be, like, the same weight
utilize
material.
blood. They utilize blood.
Yeah, in certain
That's what blood
circumstances.
donations are for.
Yeah. Yeah, in certain circumstances. Because like bodies can like reject it and like it just doesn't work at all. Which like makes it like it just renders it useless. Would you like? Do you want me to like find the source?
They're saying that they could use this in the future. They're not saying it currently is using it, so they don't have this yet.
Hey, let me see this.
They don't use artificial blood yet, man. That's not a thing yet.
Well, that's not gonna be like.
Did you have a time travel
No, so it's
device,
like-
bro? Are you from the future?
No, it doesn't like act as artificial blood. Like never like
What,
labeled it as artificial
dude?
blood.
Come on, man. There's no way you just asked me what the process is and then you gave an incorrect description of the process. Come on. That was an irrelevant question for you to ask, bro.
Yeah, like I can like clip this if you would like. Like I'll
You
post a
can.
clip. Like it'll
You
be-
can. Like, I have
Yeah.
an NPR article right here says that they're developing artificial blood, but they don't currently use it.
Yeah, it's because blood's gonna be like red and white blood cells. Like it's not gonna be like cellular. It's gonna be like like it's gonna be like abiotic life.
He said, bro, I can clip this. I mean, go ahead, man. I don't think that this is going to make you look good.
I mean, I never claimed it was like literal artificial blood. I claimed it's gonna act like blood.
What? What do you mean you never claimed it was artificial blood? You literally said it. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'll be posting the clip. Like where I never said this.
Yeah, you never said it. You'll be posting the clip. Okay, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Post the clip. Do you want me to play the audio right now of you saying it?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, in certain circumstances. Because like bodies can like reject it and like it just doesn't work at all. Which like makes I was referring to blood donation. Yeah. I was referring to blood donations, by the way. Yeah.
Did you read that?
Not artificial
No,
blood.
actually, can you tell me what the different machines do?
What?
What? Say it again.
By doing what?
To prevent decomposition?
Yeah, they're like, yeah, for example, like certain ones can pump like artificial blood through the veins to prevent venal corrosion. Then I clarified later, by the way.
Wait, you just said that you didn't say it. And then, no, you
Yeah, I
backtracked.
clarified
That's what
later.
you did. You backtracked after you realized it was wrong.
Yeah, sure. Like I'll just like say like I said it. Like I'm.
Are you
like,
gonna
I
wait?
said
Can
it's
you
not
add that?
practice.
Wait, when you clip that and you post it, can you make sure to add that point?
Yeah, well, actually, I swear I will.
Okay,
I
I
don't wanna be, like,
appreciate it.
bad
Thank you
faith
very
about this.
much. Thank you.
Yeah, like it won't be like bad faith. Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
I really
because I'm, like,
appreciate
good
that,
for you.
man. Thank you so much. Thank
Yeah.
you. Now, do you want to
Yeah,
do
do
you
you
want to
like-
actually like give me like a relevant point at this point? Because again, I've already explained to you multiple times based upon your notion of life there that you've brought up because we're referencing not cellular life, sentient life, right? That based upon that notion of life, that doesn't begin until brain activity under your perspective. As you said, the basis for brain death is the lack of brain activity.
Yeah, I'm just gonna clarify something real quick.
You've got to be trolling, dude.
Yeah, like brain dead humans are gonna be like they're like no longer of the humankind.
Okay, you're trolling. I'm gonna go on to the next person, man.
Yeah, can I?
They're no longer of the humankind. What are you talking about, bro? What are you saying? What is this guy saying, dude? Let's just go on to the next person. I'm not wasting my time. Why is this guy saying? Yo, what's up? How old are you?
20.
20. What's your birth year?
2005.
And if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who'd you rather vote for?
I vote for Trump.
Okay, and why do you support Trump?
There's definitely multiple reasons. There's definitely things I've done that are good for the country. But, even more than that, I disagree with what the Democrats represent at this point.
Okay,
I
like
think
what?
that they don't really care about the country. I think, even you yourself are a prime example of that.
I don't
you
care
just
about the
come
country.
through. You just come up here and grift every day,
Is that a troll?
That's not a troll. That's just my beliefs.
Can you define what it means to grift?
It means doing something just for money and not, doing it for actually trying to make things better.
Okay, what makes you think I'm not trying to make things better?
Because you could be advocating for change in our world, but you're advocating against Trump, and I think that's just because Trump gets you more views.
So me talking about things that I believe in and advocating for change isn't advocating for change?
Yeah, I mean, you're not advocating for change. It's why do you support Trump? It's
Wait, to clarify, have you ever watched my stream before? You think I'm not advocating for change?
Yeah, you just talk about Eugene Carroll and stuff. You don't advocate for anything.
I'm sorry, bro. I could give you so many examples of change that I've advocated for. And also, by the way, if the policy is currently Trump's policy, and I'm advocating against Trump's policy and for different policy, isn't that advocating for change?
Well, you choose the topic of Trump. You don't choose the topic of policy. You could make your thing,
We talk about policy
universal.
all the time. What are you talking about?
You also talk about Eugene Carroll and stuff, stuff that's not really
So
relevant.
yeah, that is relevant.
I mean,
sorry,
it's not
I
going
think that's a relevant thing. I would love for society to change and for them to believe victims like Eugene Carroll when they've held their abusers accountable in a civil court. Would you like society to change so that they believe credible victims such as Eugene Carroll?
I mean, I don't really think that Eugene Carroll is going to be. I don't think that specific example will have any bearing on future elections. Because Trump can't really run for president anymore because he's already been president.
No, it does have bearing on future elections because if they're not willing to believe people in this context, well, then that could carry over to future contexts.
Eugene Carroll, if hypothetically the next president also harassed Eugene Carroll, then and not
No, it's not
harassed, like
specifically just Eugene
assaulted.
Carroll. It's the fact that you want to believe victims in the scenarios in which they have held their abusers accountable in a civil court.
I mean, I think that it's more so that just like Trump
Is
is
that a
interfering with
complicated
the
thing for you to realize that like there's other victims and that we'd want people to believe other victims?
Um, I mean, I don't really think that like Eugene Carroll helps with that. I think that like people believe victims based on evidence. Like people aren't just going to blanketly believe any person who comes forward and
Hey, chat, I've
make
looked
that
at his videos.
accusation.
They're cringe. They're cringe. But don't spam my chat, please. And also, when you spam my chat, please tell me what's going on. Also, it's the same people spamming it. Please don't do that in my comment section. Okay? If other people want to help me as well, I would appreciate that. But don't, like, if you're going to type it in my comment section, don't type it, like, 8 times. I think it's a bit annoying when people spam my comment section like that. And to be honest, it's going to get you muted or blocked by one of my mods.
Yeah, I mean, I think like the problem with your Trump is bad is kind of the same problem with like Kamala's campaign. It's so focused on Trump and not actually focused on what Democrats could do for the country.
Okay,
There's
say
no
that, sorry?
the problem with like what you do every day with your Trump. Why do you support Trump prompt? I think it's the
Oh,
same problem with
Wait, I'm sorry.
Kamala's
Wait,
campaign.
hold up. Do
right?
you think that people should be able to get access to an abortion if they've been assaulted?
Been assaulted? I don't really think that's relevant on whether or not they should get access to abortion.
Well, no, I'm just saying, should it be legal to get access to an abortion if they've been assaulted?
I mean, I think it should be legal regardless of whether or not they've been assaulted. I don't think whether or not they've been assaulted is relevant to whether or not, it's immoral to get an abortion.
And I would love for you to answer the question. Do you think it should be legal?
I think it should be legal, yes, but I
Okay.
don't think that
Then
the
why did
part
you
where
make
it
a
says
video talking about otherwise? Apparently you made a video. This is from Dean, by the way, that says that you don't think that women should be able to get access to an abortion even if it's rape or incest.
no, the video, if you watch the video, it says that rape and incest are irrelevant to of whether or not people should be able to get an abortion.
You said what? Say it again.
I'm not saying that they shouldn't be able to get. I'm saying that rape and incest are irrelevant to whether or not they should be able to get an abortion. That rape and incest don't matter in terms of getting an abortion.
It does. I'm confused why it would be irrelevant.
Because the circumstance of a child's conception don't have any bearing on the value of a child's life, right? Just because a child is the
You're
result of
misunderstanding. Do you know what
rape
causal
or incest?
obligation is? If someone didn't
Um,
cause the set of circumstances, why would they have an obligation to maintain that?
Because the child didn't cause it either, right?
Okay,
The
wait.
child is innocent.
So then you would say that just because of the value of them, you would, even if someone were to attach a baby to you for 9 months, you have to keep the baby and you have to give up your bodily resources to it. You would say that you should not have the legal access to cut that off?
I mean, yeah, the baby didn't do anything wrong. The baby doesn't deserve to unalive.
Okay. Okay, so a 10-year-old grave victim, you think that they should be forced to go through a pregnancy?
I don't think that the child that's a result of that, I don't think that their life is meaningless just because they're the result of a rape.
No, but like I'm just asking you, I asked you a specific question. Would you like to answer that specific question?
Well, I'm pro-choice, right? I think that they should be able to get an abortion, but not because I think that the child's life is worthless because they're the result of a rape.
If you're pro-choice,
just-
I don't know why you'd make this distinction. That's such a weirdo distinction. Now, you have apparently you have other videos saying women's body count matters more than men's
Yeah, I mean, I think
at the same level.
men care more about body count than women do when choosing a partner. Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't mean that it should matter more.
Okay, well, like what should matter and what shouldn't matter isn't really relevant.
It is.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
you
asking
can-
you, what do you think that women's body count should matter more than men's at the same level?
Should matter? I mean, it's like it doesn't matter what should matter.
I'm asking you a question. Would you like to answer it?
I mean, it's like I don't really have an opinion on that. It's like saying, should
you're agnostic on that?
I mean, it's just like saying like should people have, three eyes instead of two eyes? It's like
No, it's not. I'm asking you, do you think women's body count should matter more than men's in society?
I mean, I guess not, but it does. So.
No? Okay, so you think that men and women's body count should be viewed the same?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's just like saying, yeah, it's like, should people have
So
two
then why are
tongues
you
instead of
making?
one tongue?
So then why are you making videos about quote unquote women's body count matters more? I think a man's value comes from money, and a woman's value comes from looks. That's what you were making the claim, and I don't think
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
basis for
But that's
value for
not that's
people.
not a claim of what should be. That's a claim of what is. That's not a normative claim of how
I don't
things
even
should
think
work.
that's a claim of what is.
I think it is. I mean,
I
you see
don't.
it with couples all the time. Like you'll see a super rich guy with them, a super attractive girl, like Bill Belichick and
And couldn't you see the other way around? There are
like a super.
there are celebrities who are women that are also with men who are not very attractive, that don't have money. That happens all the time. Okay,
I
like
mean, it's much more rare. It's much more
I
rare.
mean,
Like
probably
there's
because you
much more
don't.
female gold
I
diggers than
understand
male
that you're
gold
an
diggers.
incel and you don't talk to women, but like if you talk to women, you would hear that it's not as uncommon as you think.
Of male gold diggers.
No, I'm talking about the fact that like there are going to be men that women are with that technically like well they are considered like lazy. They don't do much. They don't have much money. They don't. They're not very attractive, and everyone's like, why is she with him? You know what I mean? Like that happens all the time, and it's like
What's an
for some
example?
reason you never talk about that.
What's an example then? If that happens all the time.
I'm not going to give you examples like for example in my real life or anything, but if you want to reference like celebrities, is that what you want to reference?
Yeah, like I give you example. Bill Belichick has a super young girlfriend, right? Even though he's very unattractive.
By the way, I think that's crazy. By the way, I think that's fucked up. Actually, if you want to look at that, do you know who Sniper Wolf is?
Sniper Wolf, yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember her relationship?
Well, I mean, yeah, she had like the
Wait,
guy.
okay, don't
who
even
was
act
doing
like you don't
video.
remember that. Okay.
Well, it was more like he was like you, like I mean, he was the one who would like
Come
end their
on,
videos.
dude. That was like the best example. You know that one's perfect. Come on.
Well, wait, were they even dating? Wasn't she just like using his gameplay?
No.
footage?
They were actually dating. Yes.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think that was more of like it
I'm
was like a
pretty sure he
business
cheated on her
relationship.
too. By the way, which is crazy.
Yeah, to cheat on Sniper Wolf. I mean, yeah, back in the day, but I mean, you have to acknowledge that like the criteria that men and women look for in a mate is different. Like they select mates based on different criteria.
Okay. Yeah, and no one's selecting you. So is that why you're so obsessed with that?
No, I'm just trying to like, point out.
Dude, why
I was
would you
trying to
even
like
make
get
videos on this, bro? This is so cringe.
because it's something that no one wants to acknowledge, but I think
Okay,
it's
so
true.
let's acknowledge. Well, there's something that you don't want to acknowledge. You sound very stupid. Okay, so why don't
I
you
sound
make a
very
video about
stupid.
how you're stupid? Because I mean, we have to talk about all these descriptive claims, and you have to acknowledge reality, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to acknowledge reality. I mean, I don't think I'm stupid personally.
I mean, this conversation's pretty much established that.
I think that like, I mean, that's just like basic evolution that, different genders are going to evolve different mating strategies. I mean, you can see that in animals too.
We are animals, but I mean, I don't know what your point is here. And again, even so, that's not a description on necessarily whether it should be, like we've already mentioned. And I don't see the point of the video of making it. I don't see the relevance.
The relevance is so people can understand why men care about body count so much than women. It's to educate.
Do you care?
Do I care about body count? I mean, like to an extent. I think I care much less than most men do. But yeah.
Okay, so then what's the point of even bringing it up? If you don't really care about it, why'd you make a video on it?
The video is to try and like teach people and like make them have a revolution.
Wait, teach them on
I mean,
what?
why do
You
you
said you
make
don't. Wait,
videos?
if you want to teach people on things, why don't you teach them about something relevant other than body count?
I mean, I think it's relevant because it's like a phenomenon. Like you don't think anyone cares. Body count is pretty relevant. People talk about body count all the time.
I mean, incels. I mean, if you're in a Groiper group chat, probably.
Well, you know what it is, right? So clearly, you've heard it before. Someone's
No,
talked about it.
it's talked about by red pill weirdos.
No, it's not. People talk about it.
Yeah, red
Like-
pill weirdos. Like that's practically the only people that talk about it very much. I used to have conversations with people who are red pillars that thought this. That's why I brought this up.
It's not about being like a red pillar. It's just about trying to like understand the things we see in our civilization. by
Oh my
looking through
god,
an
yeah, you sound
evolutionary
like a red
lens.
pillar. Do you watch all the red pill podcasts?
No,
No?
well, like hate or something.
No, I'm just asking, do you watch the do you watch Fresh and Fit and the whatever podcast and
No, I don't watch the Red Pill podcast.
oh,
I don't watch
interesting.
Myron Gaines, but there are things that
You
they
watch
have
Myron
correct. You
Gaines?
know?
That I was about to
I
say
said
that's also red pill
I don't,
podcast.
I don't watch
You
Myron
did
Gaines.
you? That's
I'm
so
sorry.
cringe. You just
No, I
said I don't
don't
watch
watch
red pillars,
Myron
but then I
Gaines.
watch Myron Gaines.
No, I said I don't watch Myron Gaines.
Oh, okay, you don't watch.
Myron
Okay,
Gaines
good,
sucks.
good,
But
good.
there's
I'm
things
glad
that
that
the
you
Red
don't.
Pillars are correct about.
Okay, all right. How about this? Tell
There's
me why you
things that they're
support
wrong
Trump.
about. Okay, well, there's definitely a few reasons. I'd say one, like, I think he's I mean, when he striked Iran, I think that was a good thing. I don't think that Kamala would have had the guts to do that
Why was that a good thing?
because it prevents Iran from getting
Iran.
nuclear weapons. Iran.
Okay, so then you had an issue with him pulling out of the nuclear agreement where we had surveillance over their nuclear enrichment facilities.
Well, I think that was a bad deal because it like gave them a lot of money.
It gave them
And
their own money. We had sanctions on them, and we got rid of the sanctions in order to get the deal.
well, they shouldn't be getting money because you know what they use it on? They use it to build missiles and sponsor terror. So I don't think they should be getting any money. You know,
So
we
you
should have
said,
sanctions on them.
so you said, oh, they're just going to be able to use that money in order to sponsor terror. Well, then wouldn't they be able to do that to a greater extent if they can get access to nuclear weapons to a greater extent? Because this only sets them back a slight degree. And also, you're just essentially setting us up for perpetual war with Iran.
I don't think. I mean, we beat them to hell, as Trump says. Like we obliterated their facilities. I think it really set them back
We
significantly.
not really. I mean, intelligence reports indicates less than a year that it set him back.
Nah, I think that according to the White House, we obliterated them, all their facilities.
What'd you say?
Like we obliterated their facilities. Like
Yeah,
that's
again,
what the White
intelligence
House report
reports
said.
indicate it was less than a year.
I don't think that's what the White House said.
I'm pretty sure that's even what the White
The White
House
House
said.
said we obliterated them.
How much did
I mean,
they
then
say?
we could strike them next year if we need to. Like
So we're just
I
gonna
think.
perpetually strike them every year?
Okay, well, that nuclear deal would have expired anyways. Like it would be
Yeah,
expired
but
right
like
now.
that could have been extended, right?
Yeah, but I think it's better to strike our enemies than to give them money. Like,
It's not
I
giving
think
them
it's better
money.
to
It's just getting rid of the sanctions that we placed on them.
either way. I mean, I think it's better to beat up a bully than to just give them your lunch money every year. You know, like
What?
we shouldn't. We can put sanctions on them. Like we should put sanctions on them. We shouldn't
Okay,
just like
so
cut deals with them.
no, the deal was to reduce the sanctions we'd already placed on them so that we can limit them from developing nuclear weapons. And by the way, you know that the U.S. is the bully, right?
No, we're the good guys. Iran's the bully.
No, we're not. We're not the good guys right now, especially. What are you talking about?
Iran. You know what the stuff like? Do you know what the groups Iran
I mean,
sponsors
the
are?
U.S. is right now
They're not
acting
good.
like Russia, dude.
No, Russia's acting like Russia.
No, the U.S. right now is acting like Russia and bombing boats off the coast of Venezuela with absolutely no evidence that they had DRUGS in the first place. Right?
We have intelligence. Like,
And we have intelligence, yeah, and the intelligence has indicated to us that one, they weren't even headed to the U.S. They were headed south. They didn't have enough gas to make it to the United States. Their boat was disabled. They were surrendering. And Trump's administration still ordered the kill.
I don't have sympathy for like cartel members.
There's no evidence that they were part of the cartel. Secondly, even if they are in this circumstance, right, that you would want to detain them once they get to U.S. waters if that's what they were doing. Also, again, most DRUGS are not brought from Venezuela. And if you care about DRUS or DRUGS that are being trafficked, then why do you support Donald Trump, who pardoned a seed drug trafficker who was convicted?
I mean, when you're like fighting, like with the military, you can't give everyone a trial. Like, you can't expect every single person that the
this
military
wasn't
takes out.
military combat.
I mean, it was our military that took them out. Like, yeah,
But it wasn't military combat. It was a drone strike, dude.
yeah, but okay, when Obama drone strikes people, it's not like every single one got a fair trial before they got drone strike.
Yeah, but you're referencing areas in which have been designated as war zones. Or active areas such as that, right? Or evidence is given to Congress, right? Those are the conditions that are different. Now, I definitely don't agree with all the drone strikes Obama engaged in, but there was a different level and standard that existed in that scenario comparative to what Trump's done, clearly.
I mean, I think we're just too soft on the cartels and stuff, and I support
I'm
Trump
sorry,
for
there's
that.
no evidence that they had
to fight back.
DRUGS.
I mean, I think there was evidence, so they wouldn't have drone striked them.
Again,
Just
if
like
there was
logically.
evidence, why didn't they give that evidence to Congress?
I mean, you got to keep things like classified for the military
No, you
operations.
don't. You don't need to keep that evidence classified. That makes no sense. Why would you keep that evidence classified?
Because it's like military operations. Like you don't want the
Dude, if Trump
people
shot someone on
finding out
Fifth
about that.
Avenue and then just claimed that they were a narco-terrorist, would you be okay with it?
Probably not in America, like on Fifth
Hey,
Avenue.
why not? Why not? They have U.S. intelligence. Then that's the case under their own perspective.
Because it's like it's one thing to like do that in a different country, but like to do it in this country, I think you would need like
Grace, thank you for the whale
it'd be
diving. Thank you so much,
less
Grace.
safe, you know?
What'd you say?
Like it wouldn't be safe to like be doing that on Fifth Avenue. You know, it's
Wait,
one
why
thing
not?
to do
Why
that.
wouldn't that be safe? Why wouldn't that be safe?
Because it's like an American, you know, if it's in like a dense American city with like a bunch of Americans around.
And
like,
are you saying that innocent people
one of
could
them
die?
get injured. Yeah,
Oh,
like Americans could die.
Wait. So, if innocent people could die, then you disagree with doing it?
I mean, if like Americans could die, I mean, like innocent people died from Obama's drone strikes, you know, but that's a collateral of war. But, you know, we should try not to kill our own people.
So, in this context, again, if you don't have evidence that indicates that they're guilty, would that be a reason to not unalive them? And also, say that it was on Fifth Avenue, and at that particular time, there was no other threat to anyone else's life. Just the narco terrorist under their own perspective.
I mean, if that person's like highly dangerous, then yeah, they should be taken out.
So if Trump shot someone on Fifth Avenue and claimed that they were a narco terrorist, you'd be okay with it?
I mean, yeah, if it's a dangerous terrorist, then yeah, they should be taken out.
So
They
they
should be
provide
taken
no
out.
evidence. They just claim that they're a narco terrorist. Trump goes up and indiscriminately shoots someone on Fifth Avenue. And you're like,
Well, like,
and
we
you're
have-
like, you
we
know
have,
what, I
like,
think that's
systems-
okay. I think that's
we have,
okay
like,
because Trump
systems
claimed
to-
that they're a narco terrorist, even though he's pardoned a narco terrorist under his own perspective.
Well, if Trump was like committing war crimes, then he would like go to jail and stuff. Like we have systems to prevent that.
Yeah, and the system relies on Congress, which he has a stranglehold over.
I mean, Congress, like we can vote new Congress. It's not like you know, Trump has control over Congress.
He actually does have control over some people in Congress. Absolutely.
Well,
He
those
has
people
control
are
over the
elected.
Republican Party.
Well, not really. I mean, like those people still have to get reelected. If Trump told them to do something that would, you know, keep them from getting reelected, they probably wouldn't do it.
Yeah, but because he has so much power over the Republican Party, he's the basis of whether or not they get reelected in plenty of circumstances.
Well, I mean, not in all circumstances. Like if they did something really bad, then you know they would
I
get
mean, he
not
called for the
reelected.
execution of his political opponents, and they still support him.
I mean, I think that's kind of like a exaggeration, you know.
It's not an exaggeration. He reposted people saying HANG them, George Washington would.
Yeah, but that's just like it's on the like you know Truth Social or whatever. It's just like jokes on the internet. It's not like he actually wanted to like hang them.
So you think it's okay for the president to make quote unquote jokes about executing his political opponents?
I mean, yeah, like I don't really think jokes are that important. You know, the president makes lots
By
of
the way,
jokes.
there's no evidence that it was a joke.
What do you
Even
think?
the administration themselves hasn't even claimed that it was a joke.
Well, I think like he called it treason, but like is the
Hey, dude,
claim that
I'm
Trump
sorry.
wants to
I'm sorry. You
hang those
came on my
people
live
publicly?
calling me a grifter, and you're gonna sit up here and say that? Dude, if anything, you're grifting for attention right now. That's embarrassing.
I'm not. I'm just trying to like share my beliefs.
You just
and
said
my
that
opinions.
you just said that he's joking when not even they themselves claim that.
Well, it's just you got to look at the absurdity of the statement. Like, do you think Trump
The
really
absurdity-
wants to like?
You have to look at the absurdity of the statement. Because it's so absurd, I have to assume that it's a joke rather than assuming that maybe we probably shouldn't support a guy calling for the execution of his political opponents because that's so absurd.
I mean, do you really think Trump wants to like drag these people out and like publicly hang them in front of the White House? I mean,
What
that's
does
just
he
way too
want?
absurd.
The real question is, does he want to do that?
I mean, I think like he, yeah, he called it treason, but like
Does he want to do that?
I mean, I think like he, yeah, he called it treason, but like is the Yeah, like is that what Trump's trying to accomplish? Like I just don't believe that.
Honestly, is
That's
that
the
what
way
he
to go
wants to
forward.
do? Probably. In my eyes, I actually genuinely probably believe that at this point. Yeah, but there are limitations from a legal perspective of him doing that. I mean, he wouldn't repost that if that was the case. Like, dude,
I mean,
I'm sorry. You could not write this away just by saying, oh, it's just a joke. It's also, even if he was joking, that's not an okay joke to make. Literally, Barack Obama took a selfie from the Oval Office, and they're like, the presidency, on Fox News the next day, they're like, the presidency used to have respect.
I mean, yeah, I think that's stupid too. But like, you gotta like look at it in the context of like Trump's, like patterns of behavior. Like, when Trump posts like Harry Sisson getting shit on, like that doesn't mean he's actually gonna do that. Like when he posts the AI video of like dropping shit on Harry Sisson, like
I
that
think I
doesn't mean
think
that
I
he
think there's
actually
a
is gonna
I think
do
there's a
that.
difference in the seriousness of him posting an AI video shitting on Harry Sisson and him saying that he's going to execute his political opponents.
I mean, I think it's just
Like, I think it was very unpresidential for him to post that video about Harry, but I don't even think that's at all comparable to him calling for the execution of his political opponents. This is on a whole different level. If you can't call the line here, if you can't draw the line here, when will you ever be able to draw the line?
I mean, it's like, sure, he probably shouldn't have done that, but it's also like posting shit on the internet doesn't really matter. Like, it doesn't really
It
affect
does. It
anyone's
does. The
actual
president of the
thing.
United States talking about executing his political opponents does matter. You can't say it doesn't matter. That's so fucking stupid, dude.
Well, it's just like a tweet on the internet. Like, it doesn't really like have any effect in the real
It
world.
does. It does have effect. You understand rhetoric has effect? I'm sorry. Would you be okay with Democrats doing this?
Posting that?
Yeah. Would you be okay with
Well, I mean-
Democrats reposting people calling for the execution of Pete Hegseth in 2016?
Probably depends on the Democrat.
Depends. It depends. So if Obama called for the execution of Pete Hegseth because he said that people who shouldn't abide by unlawful orders in 2016, do you think that it would be justified to still support Obama?
The thing is, like, people
Reasonable?
take what Obama says like seriously. So it's like it has a lot more meaning if Obama says it. Whereas people know, like, you can't
So
really
you
like
want
take
the president to be taken unseriously?
I mean, it's not whether I want him to or not. It's just like who he is. Like, you can't take everything he says seriously, and you can't take everything he posts
So
on
couldn't
Truth
you
Social.
say the same thing with Obama? Actually, if you just look at the absurdity of it, I actually don't think that's going to be a relevant point to bring up about Obama.
Well, that
Like,
would be like
do you
really
see- do
out
you
of
see how
character
absurd you
for
are?
Obama. That would just be really out of character for Obama. So like people would take it more seriously. But like,
So you
for
think
Trump-
you think Trump calling for the execution of his political opponents is in character?
what's like we know that Trump
Wait,
says like
to clarify,
yeah.
you think Trump calling for the execution of his political opponents is in character, and yet you still support him?
I mean, yeah, I don't think it was out of character. I think like I believe that Trump would do that.
What? That is an unhinged take, bro. It's
That's
in
not
character
beyond
for him to
Trump.
call for the execution of his political opponents, but everybody, actually, even though it's in character, he still supports him.
I mean, yeah, I think that he would have done. I don't think
Can
that
you name
Kamala would
something
have done
Trump
anything
could
better.
do that would get you to stop supporting him?
Something that Trump would do that would get me to stop supporting him. Like hypothetically,
Yeah.
say like, if he started like rounding people up and putting them in camps, or something like that would make me not support him. Right?
You mean like what they're doing with ICE?
Not like deporting, like not illegal immigrants. I'm talking about like, if he was like the Germans and he was just like sending people, like if he did a Holocaust, like I wouldn't support him in that situation.
So you would only draw the line at the Holocaust. So, by the way, you would essentially support the Nazis until you learned about the Holocaust.
Well, no, I mean, you said give me an example. Like that's not where
No,
I
I'm
draw the
saying,
line.
like, okay, is there any other example you could provide? Because I mean, he sent people to concentration camps such as CCOT.
Well, I mean, I like he deported people who came here illegally. That's like I support that.
Yeah. So, but by the way, you understand that he's sending them to areas in which they've never been before, in concentration camps. Alligator Alcatraz. I mean, we've literally heard about the conditions there. Appreciate. Thank you so much, the Galaxy Carry. You understand that there were people in 2x2 cages?
I don't think the alligator Alcatraz is that bad compared to like.
I'm
If
sorry,
you look at
you
just like the
understand that
prison
under
system-
Trump's administration, we've heard that there were people in 2x2 cages.
2 feet,
Yes.
2 feet by 2 feet. I mean, yeah, like, I mean, I don't know if that's true, but That's not good. But like at the same time, like I would much rather be at Alligator Alcatraz than just at like a maximum security prison. I think that Alligator Alcatraz is far from the worst, detention facility in our system.
Said
Like there
detention.
are prisons that are way worse than Alligator Alcatraz.
And again, these are for conditions in which there are murderers, right? So do you think undocumented immigrants should be treated that way? Just for coming to the country undocumented?
They should be treated like criminals because they committed a crime.
So like how we treat Trump, right? We should give them the position of presidency?
Well, Trump's crime I just don't think was like very
Wait,
significant.
no. Seriously, you said we should treat them like criminals, so we should make them president, right?
Well, different crimes are different, like I think
Oh,
that
if they commit a misdemeanor, you know what? Torture them, right? But if they commit felonies, make them president.
I think sneaking into a country is like worse than like committing a accounting error,
It's not an accounting error. That was a purpose falsification of business records so that he could hide the information about him cheating on his wife.
Like he did cheat on his wife, but
He still denies that to this day, by the way.
no, I'm sure he did, but a lot of people do that, so I don't like. I think that that's not as bad as sneaking into a country.
Push the galaxy. Okay, so you think violent sex offenders that have been convicted of 34 felonies should be president?
Well, if their felonies are like, bookkeeping offenses, like he used the wrong checkbook or whatever. Like
Again,
I don't
violent
think
sex offenders who have 34 felonies, you think that they should become president?
Well, I don't think that he's a violent sex offender.
He is.
Well, I don't believe it though.
He was held civilly liable of forcefully penetrating E. Jean Carroll's vagina against her will. That's a violent sex offense.
Well, why wasn't he criminally convicted then?
Because of statute of limitations.
It just seems suspicious that like she would wait until the statute
That's
of
not
limitations.
suspicious. It's because of people like you that people don't come out, and it takes them decades to come out because people like you don't believe them even when they hold their abusers accountable in a court system with a unanimous decision from a jury. So
Why
are you sitting there and
you choose
blaming
to come
victims
out?
for the society that you've created?
If you were going to choose to come out, why would you choose to do it way after? That makes you less likely to be believed.
Wait, you understand that
it would be more
you
logical to
understand
come
that it
out
takes
right after it
decades
happened.
for victims to come out because of people like you that don't believe them regardless?
Okay, but they
And
would be
why
more
did they
likely
come?
to be
Wait,
believed.
so are you asking why did someone come out after they realized that their abuser got into the position of presidency? Is that really your question?
Yeah, it seems like politically motivated.
That doesn't seem politically motivated. It seems like someone would see that the person who abused them got into a position of power, and they want to limit that person from being in that position of power any longer. You understand that makes sense. And again, you're victim blaming women, specifically in these circumstances, saying that because they didn't come out right away, that means that it didn't happen to them. That's what you're doing. So again, you are creating a society that creates conditions where they don't come out right away, and then blaming them for not coming out right away.
Like if my society, like if the issue is that people don't believe them, then they would prefer to come out immediately than to come out.
Do you know anyone in your life that this has been applicable to? I know people in my life where it's taken them a long time to come out. Okay? For you to say that it didn't happen to them is sick. It's disgusting. And it tells me that you don't fucking talk to people. You don't engage with people. Because you probably do know someone in your life. If they did tell you about it, this would be applicable to. Because this is not uncommon for victims. Okay? It takes decades sometimes on many circumstances for victims to come out. It takes years upon years upon years because of the society that exists. So don't fucking sit there and tell me this. It just tells me that you don't have anyone close enough in your life that's told you something like this.
When you like look at an accusation, you got to consider all the evidence and like
I do.
all the
We did. That's what the court system did,
circumstances.
and they determined that he did it. You didn't look at the evidence. Name one piece of evidence in the case that you dispute.
There was a dress. That was the only piece of like actual.
Name one piece of evidence submitted in the case that you dispute.
That's the only evidence that there was. It was just a dress.
There was way more evidence submitted to the court. You were lying.
Well, there was witnesses, yeah, but there wasn't like hard evidence.
Oh wait! You are completely misrepresenting the story. There were people that it's happened to specifically that have talked about how it's happened to the victims. Outside of that, there weren't people who witnessed it directly because again, there was no one on that floor in Bergdorf Goodman at the time. You didn't even look at the case. You know nothing about it, and yet you're sitting here claiming that you don't accept it. Give me a reason. Why did Trump not give up his DNA if he didn't meet her? If he didn't know who she was, then explain to me why he didn't give up his DNA to prove that he wasn't at the scene of the crime.
He doesn't have to give up his DNA. Like that doesn't.
He didn't have to, legally speaking, but he should, if he wants to, exonerate himself because it would have proven under his view that he wasn't at the scene of the crime, unless it would have incriminated him, which is what I believe it would have.
Well, they found his DNA on her dress, right?
No, they didn't test his DNA because he didn't give up his DNA within the time slot allotted.
Yeah, but then later he did.
After the time slot allotted, when he knew it wasn't going to be accepted anyway?
His DNA, they found his DNA on her dress. So that's
No,
the
it was
part of the
unidentified male DNA. Dude, you didn't even look at the case.
I
Can you-
did.
Wait, I have a question. Can you tell me the name of the victim?
Eugene Carroll.
Okay. Can you tell me what
I know
year
the
it
case.
happened?
Well, she doesn't know what year it happened.
In 1995, 1996. You didn't even look at the case.
So you named 2 years. Which one
That's
was it?
within 1 year,
1985 or
genius.
1986?
Well, 1995 to 1996 is within 1 year.
Okay, no, that's 2 different years.
Oh my God, are you really this dumb? Okay, think
It
about
happened.
it this way.
It happened
Hey,
on
hey, dude,
one.
hey, dude,
day.
hey, dude. If it happened between December to January, that would be between the years of 2025 and 2026. Is that 2-month time period a span of 1 year or 2 years? Less than 1 year or 2 years?
That's 2 months.
Yes, so it's less than 1 year, dude. So although you mentioned 2 separate years, it's still within a time period of a year.
Okay, but that means you don't
That's
even
like,
know
that's like
which
for
year it
example,
happened.
for like the NBA season, the 1995 to 1996 NBA season.
Yeah, but that means
You
that you don't
sound
actually know
stupid.
like what
You
that
sound
means
so
you don't know
stupid,
what
dude.
year it happened in, right? Like if you knew
Oh
when it
my God,
happened,
I'm
you would know
sorry.
which
I'm sorry.
year it
No,
was.
listen. Not knowing the year it happened specifically isn't reason that it didn't happen.
Yeah, but I'm saying like all this evidence, all this uncertainty casts doubt. You know, it casts doubt, and if
None
you
of this
want to, if
casts
you want
doubt.
to prove
None of
someone's
this casts
guilty,
doubt at all.
yeah, it is doubt. That there isn't even a date when it happened. You can't even
I'm
name
sorry.
like
Wait.
the
By the way,
day or
so
the
then
year.
a victim who's traumatized because they can't name the specific time, the specific day it happened. You're saying it didn't happen to them?
I'm saying it casts doubt on whether or not it happened to them.
It casts doubt.
Right.
Okay. Can
And
you
when
name
you
what day your
when you
graduation was?
what day my graduation was? I mean, I could check and I could like
Wait.
look it
No.
up.
Can you tell me what day off the top of your head? What day was your graduation? He
No.
must not have graduated, Chad.
No.
He must not have that cast doubt towards the fact that he's graduated.
Okay, but they didn't ask
We
her
have
off the top
casted
of her
doubt
head,
that
like,
he's graduated in the
she had-
very first
she had
place
a-
because he couldn't mention the exact date that it specifically
He had
happened.
20 years to figure it out. Like I could.
Dude, you sound like an
I
idiot
could
right
figure
now.
out.
You just got dunked on.
I did not just get dunked on.
You
If you have to
just
say you just
dunked
got,
on. If
if
you
you have
think
to
the
say
wait,
you
by
just
the way,
got dunked on, you didn't dunk on someone.
dude, I'm telling you, you got dunked on because you did it without realizing. You got dunked on without realizing.
Now, if you have to say it, then you didn't dunk on me.
No, I
If
just
you
have to
actually
inform.
dunked on
I
me,
just have
I
to
would
inform
know.
you because you clearly can't track the conversation.
Like
Hey, I
when
didn't
you
do
want to
that for
prove
everyone
someone,
else. I did it for you. Everyone else realized
you
that you
do
got
that all
dunked
the
on.
time.
Hey, if you realize
that all
that
the time.
he,
It's
if
so
you got,
crazy.
if wait, by the way, chat, if you realize that he got dunked on without me saying it, type 3 in the comment section.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. What I'm trying to say is, if you want to prove someone's guilty, you have to prove it beyond a
Oh my
reasonable
gosh! Wait,
doubt.
look at that! Look at all these people that recognize that Donald Trump, or not Donald Trump, sorry, that you got destroyed and dunked on without me even having to say it.
Yeah, I mean, there's people already like on your side. I mean, and I think it's a biased poll. You know, like like if you sent that to a bunch of random people, it'd probably be different results. You know, these are people that already like you.
Okay.
Yeah, like if you want to prove someone's guilty, you have to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. I think there's a lot of reasons
Wait, so if
to
they're
doubt
already
it.
on my side, why did I feel the need to have to say that you got dunked on? Maybe because I'm telling you, genius. I'm telling you because you aren't tracking the conversation.
No, I didn't get dunked on.
You did.
I'm trying to say that like if you want to prove someone's guilt, you have to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. And there's a lot of reasons to doubt
And
Trump's
even
guilt.
when that happened in a criminal court, that you still don't accept it. And by the way,
No,
would
it
you let
wasn't a
someone? I have a
criminal
question. Would you let someone held
It
civilly
wasn't a
liable?
criminal court.
Would you let someone held civilly liable of sexual abuse be your kid's gym teacher?
I don't have a kid.
Would you are you planning on having children in the future?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you have children in the future, would you let your kid go to a school in which the gym teacher was held civilly liable of sexual abuse?
I mean, it depends. I'd wanna like hear the full story, you know, hear both sides of the story. I'm
Okay,
not
so
just gonna
without looking at the story, you're saying that you would still let them go to be in that class?
No, I'm saying I would look at the story first. Like I'm not
By
gonna
the
judge
way,
them
depends is
immediately.
crazy. No, I'm saying without being able to look at it. You can't look at it.
I'm not allowed to look at it. Why
Nope.
would I not?
You can't find the information. Now, would you let your kid go to that school? Or we'll say babysitter. Would you choose a babysitter held civilly liable of sexual abuse to babysit your kids?
Well, I wouldn't. I mean, is it a man or a woman? For one, just like out of curiosity. Do I not know that either? Why are you looking at me like that?
Why would that fucking matter?
Well, I mean, I prefer like
They were
a
held
female
civilly liable of
babysitter.
sexually abusing someone. In either scenario, I would hope you would say, no, I wouldn't let them babysit my kids. But maybe you're such of a
Well,
dumbass that you would.
I always like to hear both sides of the story, you know, and not make assumptions on people. Like, just because someone claims that something
Yeah,
happened.
no. I'll just tell you this. If I figured out someone was held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman, I would not let them babysit my children. Crazy stance, right? Is that insane? It's so insane that Parker wouldn't let someone held civilly liable of sexual abuse babysit his children. Wow. What a diabolical take, am I right? Maria, thank
It's
you so much
just
for the
like-
galaxy.
You know, when you got a situation, you gotta like consider all the facts and consider all the possibilities and all the perspectives.
Which you didn't
No,
do,
just
by
because-
the way. You
just because
couldn't
one
even
fact is
mention all
true.
the aspects of the case. By the way,
I mean-
okay, so if there's 26 different people accusing that individual of sexual misconduct, would you still let them babysit your kid?
I mean, just because accusations aren't facts, you know, you'd have to look at the
Oh,
actual evidence.
Okay, so no, just given that there's accusations, you can't verify any of the other claims. Given that there's an accusation from 26 different people that they've engaged in sexual misconduct, would you let them babysit your kid?
I mean, if like I'm not allowed to look into like anything, like
Nope.
I'm not allowed to just look into the babysitter at all and like ask them.
No, you can't
What
find any
happened,
more
like-
information other than that they've been accused.
Well, no, like I wouldn't hire a babysitter if I couldn't like find the information about them now.
And not because of the fact that they had 26 different people that accused them of sexual misconduct.
I mean, the accusations could be false, you know. I mean, you don't know, but like
But from
That's why
26
you have
different
to get the
people, I'm
information.
sorry, what is the likelihood of it being false when there's 26 different people accusing them?
how many people claim like they've seen God or like they've seen Christ or that they've seen a ghost? Like just because a lot of people claim something doesn't mean it's correct.
Yeah, but we're talking about direct claims about a certain action that happened. Based upon your reasoning here, you're essentially accepting no witnesses of any crime that's ever happened.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like you have to look at like the actual circumstantial
listen, we
evidence.
don't view claims of things that have happened in society the same as miracles, okay? Do you understand a miracle is going to be looked at with significantly greater levels of skepticism than you're going to view any typical thing that happened? If I told you I brushed my teeth earlier, okay, are you going to accept that claim?
I mean, like, sure. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not, but it doesn't really matter.
Would you believe me when I tell you that?
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's not some sort of miraculous claim. But would you say, oh, I need video proof that you brushed your teeth? Would you say that? No, you
Well, it
wouldn't
doesn't
say
really,
that. That
like,
would
it
sound
doesn't
fucking
matter.
stupid.
If like
You have to
if
look
there
at
was
the
like
likelihood
things
that someone would
stayed-
lie about that claim, right?
Yeah.
Okay? And if we look at the set of scenarios, what is the likelihood that 26 plus people are lying about sexual misconduct?
People lie about sexual misconduct all the time.
What
There's, like,
is the
countless examples of it.
likelihood that 26 different people are lying about sexual misconduct?
I mean, I think when it's someone's like, if the person's a celebrity like Trump, I think that's completely, you know, plausible. But 26 people would lie about something like that. Just because 26 people
So you
claim
think it's
claim
plausible? Can you name one other time that's happened?
that people have like can I claim one other time that people have made false allegations about sexual assault?
Mhm.
Yeah, sure. Brian Banks.
No, so
And
there's
NFL
been 26 different people have accused them of sexual misconduct, and all of them
Rolling
lying,
Stone,
under your view?
Duke lacrosse team.
Wait, say this. So 26 different people accused them of sexual misconduct, and all of them were lying, under your view?
Not exactly 26, but
Okay.
Like,
So then, do you
if
want to
people-
bring up a scenario in which is applicable? How about this? A presidential candidate in which this is applicable to?
exactly 26 people. I mean, that's pretty specific. I don't know if I can name one where exactly 26 people.
Over
accused them.
26 people.
I mean, no, I don't know off the top of my head now, but like, just because a lot of people, yeah, I mean, that's just not how
Do
our
you believe
justice
the
system
Epstein
works.
survivors?
Yeah,
Wait, why?
because there's actual like investigations done into it. It wasn't just their word
So can you tell me the evidence that you believe?
against Epstein.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can't see the evidence because hasn't been released.
Wait, so you haven't seen the evidence and yet you still believe it?
Yeah, because like the circumstances point to it being true. Like for example, if it wasn't
Oh!
true, then why?
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh! Okay, wait, so then you believe all the victims of Epstein, correct?
Yeah.
So then you must believe Katie
Well,
Johnson
generally
that said that she
speaking.
was assaulted by Epstein and Trump.
I mean, I believe that like I don't know if I believe every single like I don't know all the victims or how many there were, but I believe that Epstein committed the crimes. Yeah.
No, wait, so then you said you believe all the different victims of Epstein, so then you must believe Katie Johnson, who accused both Epstein and Trump.
Well, no, I mean I don't know
Or do
about
you
that.
think that some of the victims of Epstein are lying?
Well, when you call them victims, like it automatically implies that they're not lying because if they were lying, they wouldn't be victims. But I'd say like I don't know if I believe every single person who's ever accused Epstein of a crime, but like I do believe that Epstein has
So
committed those
now
crimes.
he's casting doubt on the victims that have come out about Epstein.
I'm saying I don't automatically believe anyone who's ever accused Epstein of anything. I'm saying that I do
Dude,
believe that
this is a
Epstein
crazy. You don't believe the
crimes,
victims of Epstein. I mean, there's core documents about this, by the way.
about what? The reason why I believe Epstein did it is because one, like there was a real investigation found it like that went into it. It wasn't just people saying it. And two, Epstein committed, self unalive, I guess I probably should call it. And if he was innocent, then he probably wouldn't have done that, right?
I mean, actually, we don't even necessarily have evidence that he did that himself. By the way, didn't
Well,
isn't the video camera of that not there?
yeah, I mean there isn't that, but like I don't believe in like conspiracy theories generally speaking. Like I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
You support Donald Trump?
I mean, yeah, like I don't buy into like
That's
conspiracies.
kind of embarrassing. And by the way, it's
Epstein
not
and,
it's not a conspiracy theory to say that we don't know.
I mean, that's like saying we don't know if we landed on the moon. Like
That's not
it
true.
kind of is
That is a
conspiracy
fucking
theory.
ridiculous assertion for you to make. We have video footage of us on the moon. We have verifiable evidence of us being able to actually point stuff at the moon and get a reflection back because we left stuff on the moon doing so. There is verifiable evidence for that. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but the point is that what you're suggesting when you say we don't know if he, did it, if he self-unalived, the alternative would be like a massive government conspiracy and cover up that they murdered him. Like
No,
I
it's
don't
just that
think that that's very
we
likely.
don't have the source or the evidence, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a government conspiracy.
What would be the other explanation?
It would be that
Like-
there could have been other people involved, private individuals involved. I'm just saying what could be the case. I'm not saying what I do believe to be the case.
I mean, either way, like
And
No,
also,
if it
I
was
definitely
possible.
think that there's some doubt to cast on the fact that he did that to himself.
I mean, I think there's doubt, but I think it's more likely than like a conspiracy. I think a conspiracy is way less likely.
Who do you think won the 2020 election?
Biden.
You
I'm
think
not going
Biden
to
won?
deny
Yeah.
that.
So
Yeah.
why do you support Donald Trump even though he says that he still won?
I mean, I think that he didn't still win, but Trump's got like a big ego. Like he's gonna think that he can't comprehend the idea that he lost the election. Sure, but I still think he's better for the country overall.
Where's the Galaxy Kelly? Okay. And dude, I genuinely don't understand you. You didn't respond to my points.
The which points?
Yeah, about Katie Johnson, about the fact that you said that you believed all the victims of Epstein, and then you changed your mind as soon as you realized that it could be applicable to Trump.
Well, like I believe that Epstein did the thing. Yeah. I mean, I guess I misspoke. I don't believe like everyone who's ever accused
Do you
Epstein of
believe
everything.
Do you believe Epstein assaulted Katie Johnson?
I mean, that specifically, I don't know. I don't know who Katie Johnson is. I mean, I'm not going to make claims about things I'm not informed about.
Okay.
But
So again,
I'm not.
the point that I would make then is that you again you say you won't make claims about things that you don't have evidence on, yet you were making claims about the E. Jean Carroll case and you didn't even know things about the case. You sound
I mean,
stupid.
I know enough about the case. Like, there's just a
You
lot of
don't.
like
You
big
literally
things.
didn't. I proved that what you said wasn't the case, and that you didn't even look at it.
No, I did look at it,
Clearly not
but
good enough.
I mean, I think the case just like there's just things that there's like plot holes, you know.
Wait, do you
Like,
accept the determinations from civil courts?
I mean, like the determinations of liability.
Yeah.
It probably depends on what they are.
Okay, so then you must say that with every undocumented immigrant that specifically has overstayed their visa because it's a civil violation.
I must say that what?
So then your claim would be is that there's no evidence you have to say that they should be deported because it was only determined in a civil case. Civil case.
False, but I'm saying that it's not the same level of evidence as a criminal case. It's a much lower standard of evidence for
What's the
civil
difference in
liability.
standard of evidence?
In a criminal case, you have to prove that someone is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, whereas in a civil case, you just have to prove like more likely than not.
Okay. And you don't think that's a reliable enough standard to say that you shouldn't support someone?
I mean,
So
yeah,
if
like it's not enough.
so then you at least agree that you at least agree Donald Trump more likely than not sexually assaulted a woman.
I mean, that's like the standard of evidence. I don't believe that he did it because
Okay, but
I mean,
you
why
do believe
would
it
he
at
do
least
that?
met that standard of evidence for the civil case to determine liability.
I mean, just because something is like, you can look at like O.J. Simpson, right? Like you have to look at each case individually and weigh the evidence. Like, you know, you wouldn't say that O.J. Simpson is innocent just because he got acquitted.
I'm gonna throw my head through a wall, dude. Because
I
we've
mean,
already gone over this multiple times. You didn't even look at enough of the evidence in order to make an assertion, yet you claim that this didn't happen. This is a unanimous decision of 9 people in a jury. They verified and looked over the evidence, and they indicated that it at least meets the standard for liability.
it's yeah, well, liability one, it's a lower standard, but I mean, like this is what I'm talking about with the whole Eugene Carroll thing. Like, we just spend so long talking about Eugene Carroll, we don't talk about anything that we could like be doing for the country to make the country better.
We've talked about so many other things already. And why are we talking about this? Because you're a fucking grape apologist.
I'm not a grape apologist.
You
It's just like,
absolutely are.
no, I'm not. It's
You
just
totally
you need
are.
evidence when you
I mean,
like. I believe in innocence
no,
until
when
proven
you say
guilty.
you need to see the evidence, you're never going to look. You're never going to fully check. You're never going to actually look. It's what we're like fucking how many years after it happened and you still haven't looked?
I would, yeah.
No, you didn't. You did not look at enough evidence in order to be able to determine. Because you couldn't even mention half the shit that was applicable to the case.
There just wasn't any like hard evidence.
What is hard evidence to you?
Like evidence that's not circumstantial and not based on like
So what is
people's
hard evidence?
testimony.
Be specific.
Like an example of hard evidence would be like a video, right? Like that's hard evidence.
Anything else other than a video?
Like if they found like types of like DNA, right? Would be hard evidence.
Oh, unidentified male DNA on a dress? Where Trump didn't give
Yeah,
up
but-
his DNA? Tell me, what would be the reason why Trump wouldn't give up his DNA within the time slot allotted?
I mean, you might not want like people. I mean, it might be like a privacy thing, you know, like not everyone wants to just give their DNA to the government. But I mean, they found like 6 other men's
It's to the
DNA on
civil
that dress.
court. And
They found like a lot of other people's DNA.
oh
on
my
the
god,
dress.
this is so frustrating. What would be the reason why they don't want to give it to the government or give it to the civil court in this scenario? What is the
mean,
reason?
That's not like enough to incriminate someone. Like it could be that it's because he's guilty, but it could be a billion other reasons.
Hey dude, I've
That's like
asked you a question and I would like a response to that question.
What is his reason? I don't know what his reason was. I'm not Trump. I can't tell you what his
Can you
reason
give
was.
any logical reason?
That he, didn't want his DNA. Like he didn't want to privacy. He didn't want to let the
Why
government
would
have
he
his
want
DNA.
privacy? That you're just repeating the same fucking same point. That's not actually telling us a specific reason why.
Why people want privacy? I mean, Like,
If someone claimed that you assaulted them, right, and you'd never met them in your life, would you give up your DNA
would I?
to prove that you weren't at the scene of the crime? Because they're
Um,
claiming that
I don't
DNA is
know.
on this dress that they wore on that particular day.
Like, am I being charged with something? Like,
You're being held liable, yeah, in a civil court.
would. But not everyone would. I mean, it's probably his lawyer told him not
I
to.
can't
Like,
hear you. You're
don't know.
covering your microphone.
I probably would, but not everyone would. And just because somebody doesn't mean they're guilty.
You
The
would.
same way, just
And why would you?
it would be like the path of least resistance to exonerate myself.
So why wouldn't Trump do that?
I don't know, but just because he wouldn't give up his DNA doesn't prove that he's guilty.
It indicates at least a likelihood that, or evidence towards the idea that he's likely guilty. And that's just one of the things. You haven't even mentioned the other ones. Again, you can't even, actually, I have a question. If there wasn't, if your daughter was assaulted and there wasn't video or DNA, would you believe her?
I mean, I would believe her because she's my own daughter and I know her and I trust her.
Okay, so then you have built up trust and it indicates that it's likely to be true?
Yeah, I mean, if it's someone that I individually trust, then yeah, I'm going to believe them. But if it's someone that I've never met, then I probably won't believe them because I have no reason to trust
So
them.
then why do you trust Trump? Who's
I
more
mean-
trustworthy, Eugene Carroll or Trump? Because I can give you circumstances where Trump lied about the set of circumstances that happened, and you can't give me a single example of Eugene Carroll lying in this scenario.
I mean, the circumstances like of Trump doing it just doesn't seem like, why would Trump do that?
Answer
You know?
my point there. Who's
Who do
more
I trust more?
trustworthy, Eugene Carroll or Donald Trump?
I don't know. I don't know if I have an opinion on that.
Probably the person who didn't lie, right?
I mean, everyone's lied before in their life. Like,
We're talking about the set of circumstances that we're referencing, genius.
yeah, I mean, what did Trump lie about?
Yeah, he said that they never met. There was pictures of them shown together. He said that he wouldn't have sexually abused her because she's quote unquote not his type. But then in a deposition, mistook her with his ex-wife, indicating that they're both his type or both not his type. So he would have sexually abused her either way.
Is his ex-wife? I'm confused. He said what about his ex-wife? That she looked like his ex-wife?
He mistook Eugene Carroll with his ex-wife. Like a picture of Eugene Carroll.
I mean, yeah, that's weird. I mean, she doesn't really look like his ex-wife. Ivanka?
Marla.
Ivana? Marla?
Yeah, he has so many ex-wives that you can't even remember which one.
The second wife? I mean, Eugene Carroll isn't like, I mean, it seems like if Trump, Trump is known for, getting with lots of supermodels, it doesn't seem logical why he would go after Eugene Carroll.
Okay, so you just said that because she's not a supermodel, she wasn't assaulted? Is that your view?
No, I'm saying that it casts doubt, it doesn't logically make sense.
You're now saying
why
it
would he
casts
do
doubt
it?
because so would you say that about any woman that they were less likely to have been assaulted because they're not a supermodel?
No, I mean,
And
no,
by
I
the way,
wouldn't.
he mistook her with his ex-wife. He got with his ex-wife,
saying,
correct?
If someone's super rich,
Did
then
Donald
it's
Trump get with Marla Maples?
I assume, yeah.
Okay, so if he mistook her with his ex-wife, indicating they look similar enough to mistake them, otherwise he's just completely cognitively incoherent under your view, that he can't even tell the difference between his ex-wife, right, and someone that he sexually assaulted.
Well, I don't know what
In
picture it
this
was,
scenario,
but
if they look so similar, then how could you say that one he would get with but not the other?
I mean, I don't. You say he mistook them in a picture. I don't know what the picture looked like. It was blurry. I don't think that Eugene
It
Carroll
wasn't
looks
blurry.
like.
You can directly see her face.
I don't think Eugene Carroll really looks like his ex-wife.
Do you even know what Marlo looks like?
I mean, yeah.
Really? What does Marlo look like? Tell us.
I mean, that's his second wife. She's blonde.
I can hear you looking it up right now, genius.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta make sure I get it
You sound
right.
so stupid right now. It's actually crazy.
I mean, if I sound stupid, then you shouldn't have to say it. It's just kind of lame in these
I'm
debates to be
telling
like,
you. I'm telling you because you're not smart enough to realize.
I'm pretty smart overall.
No, you're not.
I think that yeah, I mean, if you have to say that I'm smarter, smart people don't usually say that.
I'm telling you because you couldn't identify that yourself, dude. How many more times do I need to tell you that?
Oh, well, thanks for the insight, Parker.
Yeah, you're
Into my,
welcome. You wouldn't have been able to
psyche.
figure it out any other way.
I mean, like, what do you stand for, Parker? I mean, like, what's the point of all this?
What's the point? I stand against people like you, who specifically are going to defend rapists and predators no matter what.
No, I think that's what you stand against. I'm asking what you stand for.
Yeah, I stand for victims. I stand for accountability. I stand for plenty of things, human rights. Right? I mean, we can talk about those and be specific, but I feel like right now you're trying to use this to pivot away from the topic that we're having, or that we're talking about.
About Eugene Carroll? Well, it's just like it just seems like you don't have any like original like beliefs. You know, you just always spit out these same
Original
talking
beliefs.
Yeah, like things that you thought of yourself. Like you just spit out these same talking points about Eugene Carroll that like everyone else talks about. Like, you know, Parker
Everyone
and
else
you.
talks about? I don't think everyone
Yeah.
else talks about Eugene Carroll in the manner I do.
Yeah, like every Democrat influencer, they always just talk about Eugene Carroll. Like
Every
you don't
Democrat
have like
influencer? Because I just want to let you know, I think I definitely didn't see that. Who's been doing that?
Parker.
Parker? That's me. Name someone else.
No, not Parker. Dean. I mean,
Yeah, Dean's like my best friend, dude.
Dean and Parker and Harry and Johnny, like every single one, like
So like my
they
friends,
just talk about.
and I'm not
Yeah,
friends
it's
with
like
Harry anymore, but like people who were friends with me.
Yeah, like you don't have like original like.
And by the way, Harry doesn't
beliefs
even
and,
do
like-
lives anymore, so he's not. You don't even see him talking about that. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and who's the other guy? Like the blonde guy. I don't know, but like it seems like you don't have any like original like beliefs. You know, like original ideas.
And by the
It
way, I
just
just want
seems
to
like
let you know,
these-
I've been talking about this since before practically everyone you just mentioned was.
Okay, I mean, still, it's not like an original like belief. You know, like
What does that even
you
mean?
believe like an original idea of like what you want to
Dude, that's
do.
that's
you know?
like me saying to you, you don't hold any original beliefs because there are other Trump supporters with the same views as you. Do you realize how stupid that is?
Yeah, but like I have views that like I came up with myself that like I arrived at a conclusion myself. Like
And I
you
did
know,
too.
unique ideas.
I
Yeah,
did
but like
too.
what like unique ideas do you have for the country? Like
This is a
that other
pivot.
people don't have. This is what I originally was talking about when I said you're a grifter. Like what unique actually ideas do you have?
It depends on what you define as a unique idea. Can you define
Like
that for
a
me, please?
policy
And then I'll,
a
and I'll
policy
clarify.
a policy that you want to see enacted in the government that's not like just a DNC talking point. Like, you know,
A policy.
like what should the government do?
Universal
Yeah.
healthcare access, universal childcare.
Universal healthcare, that's your platform, universal childcare?
Yeah,
That's what you believe in?
absolutely. I can keep going. Those are just a few.
Like how would that even work?
How would that work? Like other
Socialized?
countries that have already established it? Medicare for all?
Medicare for all?
Mm-hmm.
So just like, would it be private though, or would it be public?
Public option.
Public option, so you still could do private.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think you should like, you know, spend more time talking about that. You know, I think that would like give people a lot more hope
I
in the
do talk
Democrats
about
when
it.
you
Now,
like,
instead of
if you
pivoting,
actually spend
can we go
time-
back?
We'll see now you don't want to talk about it.
Oh, wait, no, I already did. I answered your question.
I'm
It was
saying,
a
like-
pivot. It was a pivot.
No, I mean,
And
it's
by the
not
way,
a
you just said
pivot.
I'm a
It's like
grifter because you wanted
the-
attention.
what I originally-
Unironically,
I mean,
you said I'm a
pivoted
grifter
to
because you
Eugene
wanted
Carroll.
attention, right? You've not engaged with my points here. The only reason you're saying that is because I talk about Eugene Carroll a lot, and I am going to, and I'm going to keep doing that, and you can fucking sit there and cope. I'm absolutely going to stand up for victims because they deserve to be
I don't
believed.
want to. I don't want attention. I want to help the Democrats. I want to help you guys.
Yeah, like you
And
can
I
sit there
think
and
when
you
you
can
guys
whine
lose the
and you
election,
can
it's
cry,
because,
but
like-
I'm going to stand up for victims. That's what I'm going to do. If you don't want to stand up for victims, that's a representation of your own character. I'm going to do that. And I don't think enough people do it enough. And that's why I do it to the degree that I do. I talk about it all the time because this should not be considered normal. There should never be a person who is running for political office held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman that should be allowed to become president of the United States. That's why I talk about it so much. It is a disqualifier. Every single person that hears this should say that they don't support Donald Trump. And the fact that people don't is the reason why I continue to come up here every single day and talk about it. And you can sit there and seethe and fucking cope while I sit here and talk about it because you have no arguable defense against it.
Well, I mean, you talking about it like it failed, right? Trump still got elected.
It didn't.
Like that strategy.
It didn't fail. It
that
didn't
strategy-
fail for me to talk about it because I convince people all the time based upon it. Okay? I'm not Superman. I can't convince every single person to think otherwise, but I can do my best to do that. Okay? And I think if more people talked about it, if more people brought light to it, then more people would have changed their mind and less people would have supported Donald Trump. I don't think people talked about it enough.
I mean, like, reason
cut
why
out. I can't hear
you
you.
guys failed. I think you failed because you spent too much time talking about Trump and not enough time talking about what you want to do for the country. And I think
I
like
have.
Charlie
You
Kirk.
just don't. I'm sorry. I do. You just don't listen. That's the issue. Is your comprehension skills are dog shit, okay? I countlessly every fucking day talk about the beliefs that I believe in. I talk about the policies I support outside of the things that I disagree with Donald Trump on. I bring them up all the time. You just have dog shit comprehension skills. You have no ability to actually understand what I'm saying. You have no critical thinking skills. That's the problem. Is that Republicans don't want to even look at the Democratic policies. Democrats constantly talk about policies. Can we communicate in a better way for idiots like you to be able to comprehend it? Sure. But that doesn't mean that we didn't talk about them. We did. You just didn't fucking research. You didn't educate yourself. You didn't critically think. And it's your fault, and I'm not going to sit here and act like, I'm not going to fucking sit here and act like it's not your fault. I'm going to tell you the reality. It is your fault. Do research. Critically think for fucking once in your life.
I mean, that's just a cop out. Like
It's not a
your
cop out. It's the
candidate
reality.
didn't-
It's the reality. You're the one looking for the cop out right now by trying to say that Democrats don't actually ever talk about the policies they agree with. We do all the fucking time. You just don't know anything. You just don't do research.
No,
I
it
can
is your
mention
fault.
3
Like,
Democratic policies that she ran on right now. Could you?
yeah,
Do it. Name 3.
well, I can mention child tax credit, small business tax credit.
And by the way, you
Probably
it's
another
a deduction.
tax credit.
Okay, so probably another. You can't even mention them. One, this is the
It's all
tax credit.
tax
You try to say
credits. That's
the
all she
small
ever talked
business
about was
tax
these
credit.
stupid tax
It's not even a
credits.
tax credit. It's a deduction. Okay, for the first year when the business is starting out, the child tax credit. You don't even know what is it changing to. Give me the numbers.
I mean, it increases the amount of it's a tax credit for people with children.
How much?
How much? I don't know exactly.
This is what I mean. You've done no research. $6,000 for the first year of a child's life, $3,600 through being 5 years old, $3,000 through being 18. The Inflation Reduction Act, the largest investment in renewable energy ever, right? The $35 cap on insulin for everyone, not just for people who are on Medicare, like what was previously put into place through the Inflation Reduction Act. I can mention specifically the tax cuts that were applicable to everyone through the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act for income earners under $400,000 a year that she wanted to extend and keep around. I can reference, again, the $25,000 tax credit for first-time home buyers for new homes. I can reference so many different policies. But you didn't do research. That was it. You didn't do research. You had no comprehension. You didn't care to look it up. Stop blaming Democrats for not talking about the policies if you're not even going to listen to it when we do. Because you know how many times I've said that on my stream? If you've watched my stream, you would have seen this. And by the way, you sit up here, you call me a grifter because I don't talk about the things that I support, but then you couldn't even mention the things that I do mention all the time. I talk about this all the time on the stream. You couldn't even fucking mention it. That's your comprehension skills that are just dog shit. And you're calling me a grifter because you have your dog shit comprehension skills?
Like you mentioned policy, sure. Like I've seen you mention a policy before, but look at the prompt. Like, why is the prompt? Why do you support Trump? The prompt could be, we should have universal health care. Or the prompt could be, we should have a tax credit. Or the prompt should be, we should have
okay, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I'm not going to do a prompt that says behind me whatever you want me to do. I do this prompt because I'm talking to specifically Trump supporters, and then we inevitably start talking about those things. All the policies I support do not have to be behind me in order for me to support those policies.
Yeah, but it makes it seem like you're not advocating for policies.
Do you want me to list all the policies behind me? I actually used to do that, right? I used to list like an entire list of different policies. It's easier if it's just one thing like this.
It's easier for what?
You're like this is like someone saying, why don't they put the entire description of the book right, of every single aspect of the book on the front page.
Because they want to make money, right? They want to sell books.
No, because the title, there's a title for a reason. A title isn't supposed to give you everything that is brought up in the context of the book. The title is just supposed to be an introduction. Similarly to the title of my stream, okay? If you couldn't identify that, you're either stupid, right, or you're being disingenuous.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sorry, genuinely. Like,
when
I don't have
Trump-
to put every policy I believe in behind me in order for me to support those policies. Do you think every Republican is coming up on the platform doing that? No, they're not.
I mean, they generally don't make their prompts about Kamala. Like, they usually pick one specific topic that they want to talk about, one specific policy that they believe in, and that's what they make their prompt about. I mean, what happens when Trump is no longer in office? Is your prompt still going to be, why do you support Trump?
No, it's
Or
going to be, why
did
do you support
Trump?
Vance or the next Republican candidate?
Mm-hmm. So, like, what about, so like when the next candidate declares, is that what it's going to be? I mean, couldn't
Right.
you do that right now?
Well, could I do that now? No, Trump's still president. We don't know who's
Yeah, but
running yet.
Yeah, that's true. So when we find out who's running, that's when the prompt will switch.
Yes.
So why do you support the next Republican candidate?
Yes. When we get the next Republican nominee, that will be it will be, why do you support that Republican nominee? Yes.
Okay. I mean, that's better for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I just think policies like tax
Do you
credits.
still
it's
think
just
I'm a
not, like,
grifter? You still think I'm a
it's
grifter?
just not significant enough. Like, it's not significant
How
enough
about
for
this?
policy.
Do you still think I'm a grifter?
I mean, like, not as much as I did, I'd say.
So that's
I
just,
mean, I
again, a
still think-
comprehension issue. You didn't even watch my stream.
I still think you would kind of play into the Trump thing, you know, a little bit too
Why are we
much.
talking about? Because he's the president, genius. Holy shit, dude. Dude,
Yeah,
I'm
but
sorry,
you
bro.
can't-
Seriously,
you
dude.
can't
He's the
run again.
president. No shit. When we're talking about politics, we're talking about the president. Wow, that's.
Yeah, but the
I
point is,
can't
like-
I can't believe this is a complicated thing for you.
Yeah, but trying to convince people not to support Trump, like, even if you convince
It
everyone in
carries
the world
over
not
into
to,
it carries over into the next election cycle because he's the one who determines who's the next election cycle who's going to be supported in the party, because he has the most support within the Republican Party currently. That's why we're talking about the president of the United States.
would still like the primaries determine that when people vote. I mean, it's not just Trump picks the next candidate.
You understand that his ideology is the basis for that, right? And also the way that people view Trump is going to carry over into how they view Republicans in the next election cycle.
I mean, you might have a Republican that's like completely different from Trump. Like, that's not necessarily true.
Who?
You might have a candidate
Name them. Who's completely different than Trump and that's going to get elected? Who has a chance?
that would get elected. I mean, I don't really know like who the possible candidates could be for the
You don't
next
even know. I'll
election.
tell you. So it's Rubio, Vance, and DeSantis. Those are the three that have a chance. Outside of that, I don't think there's a single person that has a chance on the Republican side.
Well, I mean, that's
And
that's
also,
just
Trump
like
has literally
speculation.
posted stuff about him running in 2028. Do you see this?
Like, if it went,
That's what
Yeah,
he posted
I-
to his own Truth Social. It
I don't
says
think
Trump
he's gonna run in
2028, yes.
2028. I don't think he's going to be running in 2028.
Well, he can't
But, like,
constitutionally, but
no-
he's
nobody-
talked about trying to stay in office.
Nobody thought Trump had a chance when Trump, when Trump ran for office. Nobody thought he had a chance either. Like, you can't judge who's going to win an election, 3 years before. We have no idea who's going to be in the next election.
I just told you the only people that really have a shot. And again, if we have no idea, then you're just making my point.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you told me the only people who you think have a shot, but like when Trump ran, nobody thought he had a shot, and he ended up winning.
Sure, but there wasn't a nominee like Trump is in the Republican Party that was incumbent and just won. Like the Republicans had lost 2 times in a row.
To Obama. Yeah. But like the people who they thought were going to win, didn't end up winning. If you would spend all your time talking about like, I don't even know, like Ted Cruz, right?
This
Before
is
the
why I'm not
Republican-
talking about it prior to the point, dude. Jesus Christ, you're just justifying my same point.
Or Bush. I mean, you spend all your time talking about like the last Republican, like Bush. Like it wouldn't have helped, keep Trump from getting elected.
It would have turned people away from Republicans.
But, people weigh like each candidate. Like you're going to look at each candidate and see which each candidate supports. You know, just because somebody doesn't like
Hey,
Trump,
dude,
just because you
you're
convince
you're
them that
saying it's
Trump's
not going to
bad.
turn people away. I talk to people who change their mind. Just because you can't change your mind isn't a reason why other people cannot.
No, I'm saying it's not going to like just because people don't like Trump doesn't mean that they're not going to like the next Republican candidate, because the next Republican candidate will be a different person than Trump. It won't be Trump.
But they
So
carry over similar ideologies, especially if it's Vance.
like yeah, but ideology, like policy for sure, but like E. Jean Carroll, like that's not relevant to the next person because the next
And
person
by the way,
won't
there are
be
people
Trump.
that have leaned towards Democrats for my lives. You know that, right? They've told me that themselves.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna weigh each candidate like individually, right? Like they're not gonna just say I don't
Okay,
like Trump.
what is
so
your
I'm gonna
point,
stop
man?
voting
What is
for
your
him.
Jesus Christ? What is your point here? Can you land the
My
plane?
point is, I think it would be a lot more productive, like if you
I
spent
don't
your
give a shit
time.
what you think is going to be productive.
Well, I mean, you cannot give a shit. But like,
Respectfully, who asked what you think is productive?
I mean, who asked what you care about Trump? Like nobody asked you. Like, you know,
No,
we talk about
then
we
why
go
did
on
you
lives
join
to
my?
talk about
Then
this.
why are you in my live? If nobody asked me, why are you watching my live right now? Why'd you
I'm trying
send
to
a
make
guest
the.
request?
I'm trying to
What are you
advocate for
talking
my
about? If
ideas
nobody asked, why don't you just scroll?
because I'm trying to advocate for my beliefs like you are because I want to make the country
Dude,
better.
so then you did ask. You did ask. You decided to wait in my guest box to join up my stream. If you don't want to hear my shit, you want to do your own thing, make your own stream. Do your own thing. If you think it's going to be so effective, do it.
Well, I mean, like I'm trying to, advocate for my beliefs and like maybe get you to change your ways. That way you can like make the country better.
But wouldn't you say it would be more productive not to do this live and to do it otherwise?
Yeah, like it'd be more productive to change your prompt
So
to
then why are
something
you
else,
spending
right?
time in my live if it's not productive?
Well, I'm trying to convince you to
Oh, so
change your
wait.
prompt because that would be productive, right?
No, I'm not changing
That's what
my
I think would
prompt.
be productive.
Here's my response to that. Go fuck yourself.
That's not very nice.
Good. Cry about it.
I thought you guys were the nice ones. I mean, just the issues that you
No,
guys have
I
chose
don't
to
think
emphasize.
I don't think you deserve my niceness. I'm nice to so many people. You do not deserve my niceness.
I mean, I was never not nice
to be
to
totally
you,
honest with
personally.
you, I don't like you.
I mean, that's fine, but like, I never said anything rude to you. Like, I don't feel the need to do that to try and win a debate.
I'm not
But-
doing this to win a debate. I'm doing this because I genuinely think it.
I mean, sure, right? But what I'm trying to say is like, I think that like the Democrats, like I would be a Democrat, but you guys have just chosen like all the wrong policies to focus on. Like I'd really like to see
You
you
didn't
guys
even know the
change your
policies.
ways.
You didn't even know the policies.
Well,
What
they're
are you
like
talking
nothing-
about?
They're like nothing policies, like a tax credit. Like who cares about a tax credit?
Okay,
That's
so
not gonna
you mean-
change
you mean-
anything.
You know that Trump increased the child tax credit from 1,000 to 2,000, and then Kamala Harris wanted to increase it
Like,
even more.
yeah,
And when implemented in
don't-
2021, it reduced childhood poverty by 45%. So you're gonna sit there and you're gonna say it does nothing, but it reduced childhood poverty? You sound stupid.
I don't vote based on tax credits. Like I vote based on
Wait,
significant.
tax credits
like,
reduce your taxes. What do you vote on?
I vote based on like more significant things for the
Such
country,
as?
like for example, like wars going on. Like that
Like
was one
Trump
example.
starting wars?
Or like Trump's views about like racial relations, like
Such
his
as?
views about racism, like that we should get rid of DEI and get rid of affirmative action and like
Name one
get rid
DEI
of
policy. Affirmative action was already shot down by the Supreme Court. Name one DEI policy the Democrats
like
support that
things
you
to
disagree
Trump.
with.
one DEI policy, like having DEI at all. Yeah.
Name one specific DEI policy that you disagree with that Democrats support.
Well, like I don't know if Democrats support it. I mean, there's a lot of DEI policies
Do
that
you
like.
see what I mean? It's a buzzword to you. You don't even know what
No,
you
I can name-
support. It is a
I can name
buzzword to you.
policies.
You just said you support this about Trump, but you don't even know what you're referencing. It's just
I
a
can
buzzword.
name policies.
Name the
Like, I can
specific
name
DEI policy that Democrats support
Like,
that you disagree with.
Target had like a reach policy for DEI that they got rid of once Trump got in office. Like
A what policy?
Target. What?
A what policy?
It was called reach.
Oh, you're
It was
talking
like
about
a
Target.
policy.
That's not a Democratic policy. That's Target's own policies. Now tell me,
Yeah, but-
what is a Democratic policy that you disagree with that the Democrats support?
Okay, but it is a Democratic policy because when the Democrats were in
The
office,
Democrats
Target.
didn't pass it. That's Target's own policy themselves.
Oh, yeah, but you're always talking about how rhetoric has an impact, right? Like rhetoric has an effect. The Democrats support shit like that. Trump got in office. He said DEI is bad, and then Target gets rid of it. Like that was caused by Trump.
Okay,
It's
but
caused
that's
by
not-
Trump's rhetoric.
Okay, so again, in terms of this, what particular DEI policy within Target do you even know?
It's called the REACH policy,
And what does that
the
do?
REACH program. It was a program to invest. They'd set aside $2 billion to invest, exclusively in black-owned businesses.
And how's that wrong?
Because we shouldn't be investing in businesses based on the skin color of the owner. We should be investing in businesses based on the merit of the business. And when Trump got in office, Target got rid of that policy. And a lot of other companies like Home Depot and like all these other companies started getting rid
What's
of
wrong
the
with
DEI
investing a
policy.
certain amount of money into black-owned businesses?
Because it's irrelevant who owns the business, whether or not they're black. It's what's more important is the merit of the business.
No, but you understand that historically speaking, because they have not been invested in, that means that they would want to invest in them?
Well, that's not why. They shouldn't be investing
Like,
in businesses.
historically speaking, they've been investing in companies just because they're white?
Yeah, well, they should stop. Like, I don't think the solution is to start doing it just because they're black. I think the solution is to just stop looking at race. Like, that's what I think the solution is.
And that's a ridiculous idea because then you can't actually think about it this way. Say that there's a Monopoly game, okay? And you give $100 to each person in the game, but you give $20 to one of the people. You later on give $80 to that one person. Was that wrong? Because you didn't give the $80 to anyone else?
Yeah, but we're not talking about one person. We're talking about like a giant
Answer
group of
my
people.
question.
In that situation, it's not wrong. But that's because it's one individual person that was like actually affected themselves.
Okay, so then how about this? Let's say we're playing Monopoly and 10 people, right, get $100 and 3 people get $20. You give those 3 people later in the game $80. Was that wrong?
Yeah, but it's not like, that wasn't wrong, but it would be wrong if you gave the kids $80, right? That would be wrong.
Wait, you just conceded though. That's all we're
No, I
doing here.
didn't. No, that's not what we're doing.
Wait,
We're
but
making up for...
your point here would be, why are you specifically just giving the $80 to those people? Maybe you should give the $80 to everyone.
Okay,
That's
but
what you
those
would say.
individual people weren't like individually affected by, the like kind of racism in the past. It's that their ancestors were.
Wait, you don't think
they
that black
weren't
people today are impacted by racism?
I mean, like they can be, but not.
Yes, they are.
overall.
That is a ridiculous assertion for you to make. Okay, so if they are impacted
No,
by
they-
racism, right, in our society, then wouldn't it still make sense, especially if generationally it's had an impact as well?
No, I mean, I don't think that they're affected by racism on the like systemic level. I mean,
They
sure,
are.
like you can have a racist person who like calls them a slur, but they're not like there's not like
But
laws
you
in
understand
place
that those are
set up.
perpetuated within society, whether it be in job hiring, whether it be in the context of police brutality, whether it be in the context of the healthcare industry, whether that be in the context of the over policing and over prisoning of individuals who are black, right? You understand that we can point to plenty of different things that still impact black Americans to this day that you're just not acknowledging.
Yeah, but those are individual biases of individual people. Those aren't systemic
but you
programs.
understand that they are involved in the system because when there are individuals that run systems and then those racist biases are held by people who are running these systems, then they're going to disenfranchise people, especially through generational impacts that you're not even acknowledging.
Yeah, but I want to get rid of those biases. And I think that when you say we're going to only invest in black companies and we're not going to invest in your company because you're white,
This is Target's
that's
own
just going to make
policy.
them.
It's
That's gonna
Target's
make
own
them more
policy. Why are
biased.
you fucking mad about Target's own policy? This isn't even a
'Cause I think-
democratic policy specifically. You couldn't even mention
think-
anything earlier, by the way. You couldn't mention a single democratic policy that was DEI that you disagree with. It was a
Well, I
buzzword
mentioned
to you.
affirmative action. I mentioned
Affirmative action's been shot down by the Supreme Court, and that doesn't
Yeah,
even qualify
thanks to
as DIA.
Trump. Like
or
Trump was
DEIA.
against it. I think that thanks to Trump. Trump's the one you got
That
to
was
shut
not
down.
thanks to Trump. That was thanks to the Supreme Court, genius.
Yeah, but Trump put those people in the Supreme Court. He appointed those Supreme Court justices, and Trump's been openly against affirmative action.
What was the vote?
The vote to strike down affirmative action, what was the
Yeah.
number? Like 6-3, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if that would have changed regardless in that circumstance. But the point that we're making again is that, again, in terms of this, you can even mention a single Democratic policy that's currently supported by Democrats. That's DEI that you can
Now you're the
actually
one
say that.
pivoting.
What's up?
Now you're the one pivoting.
That's not a pivot. This is the original point I made. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but we were talking about Target, and now you don't want to talk about it anymore.
What do you mean? We've already talked about Target.
Yeah, but we didn't get to the end of the thing, right? Because we're talking about individual
What
bias.
else do you want to talk about Target on? Tell me.
People have individual bias, right? That's why racism exists, because people are individually biased against race, right?
That's not the only
You
thing.
agree with that? Yeah, but that's like most of it, I think, right? So I think that if you want to make people stop being biased, I don't think that, giving special like programs that specifically invest in specific businesses based on a race, I think that makes people more biased, not less biased. Like if you're a white business owner and you get passed over because the target only wants to invest in black business owners, that's probably just going to make you even more racist.
Okay, I have a question.
If
Do
you
you
are-
support the Civil Rights Act?
Yeah, probably.
It forced racists to provide things to people who are black and to not segregate. Do you agree with that, or do you think that that would have created more stigma?
I mean, I think at the time, like we needed that, but I don't think we need it anymore. I think we should. I think we
you want
should
to get
move
rid of the
past
Civil
it.
Rights Act?
I mean, I want to get rid of race, like the idea of race.
Okay, so I think that this is an absurd idea because you cannot acknowledge racism if you do that. You can't acknowledge racism exists if you do that. And you
Okay,
just saying, "Oh, I would love if we lived in a society where race didn't exist," is something that you cannot actually accept because of the fact that racism does exist. Okay?
Okay, but
so
if-
what you're
if
trying to do is
race-
you're trying to live in this fucking Candyland world where racism never existed. That's what you're trying to do. But because racism has existed, it has impacted things in our society, and we can't just act like it doesn't exist.
I'm saying, like, if race didn't exist, then racism wouldn't exist, right?
Race
You agree with that?
was created as a justification for racism. Okay?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
understand
Race
that,
was
right?
created. It wasn't. It's not like an inherent thing. It was made up. It's not
Of
real.
course, you're not understanding my point though. Because that's already happened, you can't just say that didn't happen. Okay? The impacts of
Yeah, but-
racism are still felt by people today. Until that
I'm
is
saying-
not the case, you can't make a claim such as that.
I'm saying if we want to make that not the case, right? I think that moving towards a completely colorblind society is the best solution. Because the more that we
again, you have no argument for that at all. You're not even giving.
the
a
more that
point
we
for
make these things like Black History Month and stuff, right? That just reinforces the idea that like race is a real thing that people should notice.
You're so
Like,
cringe. It's because
I don't
Black
think we should
history
have
has
Black
not been
History
taught
Month.
about historically speaking. So we're talking about Black history because it's not been taught about.
Yeah, but why do we call it Black history? Why don't we just call it history that hasn't been taught about historically speaking?
Because the history that hasn't been taught about historically speaking is Black history.
Right, but we don't have to call it that because that just
Okay,
that
so I'm
reinforces
sorry,
the idea.
you're just a sensitive little snowflake.
That just
Like,
reinforces the idea that
you're just
Black
sensitive
people
about
exist.
words. That's what it is. You're just a little snowflake about words.
No, I mean I just don't think we should be reinforcing the idea that like the most important thing about whatever person is that they're Black. Like I don't think we should remember
By the way,
these
that's
people
not even
who,
the claim that we're making. We're just describing reality. I thought you earlier wanted to talk about describing reality, and now
Yeah,
you're
I
saying
care
you don't
about
want to describe reality, and you're talking about what it should be.
I'm trying to say that when
Wait,
we
wait,
call
wait,
it Black.
wait, what is this whole point? All your videos that you have on your platform were saying, "Oh, we weren't even going to talk about what should be. We're talking about what is." That's the whole point you made earlier.
Yeah, what is right? But I think
And
you
now
know,
you have an issue
when-
about talking about what is. And by the way, Trump
I'll
is the one
acknowledge
trying
it.
to engage in historical revisionism by taking out of the history books.
I don't think we should take out the history books, but I don't think we should call it Black history. I think we should just call it history. Because I don't think that these people who contributed to humanity should only be remembered because they're Black. I think these should be remembered for what they contributed.
Do you think that there should be anything to do with women's history?
Women's history? No, I don't think. I think we should just have history. It shouldn't be Black history and white history and men's history and women's history.
Do you think there are subsections within history? Is there American
Subsections?
history? Is there European history?
Yeah, sure.
Those are subsections of history, you idiot. It should just be history. It shouldn't be specific to Europe or
Okay,
North
but
America. It should be
European-
specifically just history. You sound so ridiculous.
America is like a country
There are no
that exists.
subsections to history. We just call it history.
America is like a country that exists, and Europe, those are like geographical.
North America is a continent.
I said America, like specifically. Yeah, North America is a continent, and so is Europe. Like, those are geographic distinctions that we're making. I think, like, you can make distinctions about geography. I don't think you should be making distinctions about race, because, like, race isn't a real thing.
We're
Like,
not
what
making
is-
that distinction.
who
We're
is
just
Black and who
acknowledging
is
that that
white?
distinction has existed historically. Jesus Christ, dude.
Well, if you're calling it Black history, you are making a distinction.
No, no, we are acknowledging the distinction that has existed historically.
Okay, was a white person part of Black history?
What?
No, they're not, right? I'm assuming they're not.
What are you
So now you're
saying?
making. I'm saying to call something Black history, you have to be able to define what is Black and what is not Black. Like, who is Black and who is not
Yeah,
Black.
yeah, and
What
that's
is Black history.
descriptive, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so then we're not making a prescriptive claim here. We're talking about the descriptive in terms of reality of what has existed historically. Jesus Christ, dude, you're so ridiculous.
You're reinforcing the idea that Black people are different.
And you're reinforcing people to be stupid. Okay, and also, again, there are differences between people who are white and people who are black within the society that we exist in. Because racism is applicable to people who are black, and it's not applicable to you as a white man.
Like, who's Black? How do you define a Black person?
This is such a
What's the
pivot
definition?
from the conversation. I'm not going to
You
define
said that there
what-
are differences.
I just
That
told
means you
you.
should be able to define it.
I just told you what a difference would be. I'm referencing a specific difference.
That I don't experience racism? That's the
I don't.
definition of a
I don't
Black
think
person?
white people experience racism.
So if you experience
of all.
racism, then that makes you Black? That's the definition of a Black person?
No,
That's so dumb.
I gave a I gave a distinction specifically in terms of that black people do experience racism and white people do not.
So
That's
if you're
the
Black,
distinction.
and you
That wasn't the definition, you dumbass. What are you talking about? Can you define what it means to be a white person?
no, because there is no definition. Because it's not real.
Okay.
It's just made up. There
So
is
I'm
no
not-
definition.
So,
There is no
so
such,
to clarify, I'm not white.
yeah, there is no such thing as a white person.
So to clarify, you think I'm not white?
No, I don't believe in white, and I don't believe in
You
Black.
heard it
I
here
think you're
first,
just a
folks.
person.
He thinks Parker Get a Job is not a white person.
You're
I have
you're
a
nothing.
few people
You're
to
just a
think this
person.
is so ridiculous, dude. Brittany, thank you so much for the $5. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. No, seriously though, thank you so much, Brittany. Cal, thank you for the $6.66. No, seriously, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Cal. Ducky, thank you so much for the $10. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Ducky. Gabriel, oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $15 as well. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for he's an incel. Totally agree. Callie, thank you for the $6.66. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm so sorry to hear that happen to you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Callie. Thank you so much. Sarah, thank you for the $20 as well. Thank you so much, Sarah. Can we get some W's for Sarah in the comment section right now? Thank you. Rachel, thank you for the $5. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Literally, he did remove MLK Day and Juneteenth from the free day list for national parks. That's true. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Rachel. Timothy, thank you so much for the $10. I really appreciate it, Timothy. Can we get some W's for Timothy in the comment section right now? Thank you so much, Timothy. Kathy, thank you for the $50 on PayPal. Can we get some W's for Kathy in the comment section right now for the $50 on PayPal? Thank you so much, Kathy. Louisa, thank you for the $10 as well. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. That is so kind of you. Thank you. Judy, thank you for the $20. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Virginia, thank you for the $25 as well. Thank you so much, Virginia. Jordan with the $2. And Brandy, thank you so much for the $1. I really appreciate it. I have some people to thank on YouTube real quick, and then we can go on and finish the conversation here. Do give me 1 second. Do give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, everyone. Alrighty. Jazz, thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo or YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much. Can we have some W's for Jazz in the comment section right now? Thank you so much. They said if a board game player is cheating for 10 hours straight then stops cheating, isn't it fair to give others some advantages to catch up? Literally. That's exactly what I brought up earlier. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Jazz. Thank you. Gothboy, thank you for the $5. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Laughin' Leslie, thank you for the $50. Thank you so much, of course. Give me some W's for Laughin' Leslie in the comment section right now for the $50 on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much. Hex, thank you for the $5 as well. Thank you so much. For he cares more about DEI than making sure kids are fed. True. Mo, thank you so much for the $5. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Elena, thank you so much for the $4. I appreciate it. Melissa, thank you so much for the $20. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. They said it took me a year to come out because of fucks like this. There are too many. Thank you for speaking up on your platform. Of course, Melissa. Can we get some W's for Melissa in the comment section right now? Thank you so much, Melissa. Kira, thank you so much for the $10. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I'm so sorry to hear that, Melissa. I mean, not Melissa, Kira. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the $10. Thank you so much. Bjorn, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $5 for Grift Me Harder. Thank you. Jenny, thank you so much for the $2 for I've been grift. Thank you. Kim, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. Derby with the $100 on YouTube Super Chat. Can we have some W's for Derby in the comment section for the $100 on YouTube Super Chat? Thank you so much, Derby. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Can we have some W's for them in the comment section right now? Zach with the $20. Thank you so much for this guy's pathetically stupid. I totally agree. Thank you so much, Zach. I really appreciate it. Brian, thank you so much for the $5. Zach again with the $10. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. B, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $2. Richard with the $5. I really appreciate it. I think I'm fully caught up. If you want to support me, as always, Venmo, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat and the pinned comment on my YouTube. Plus, everyone, make sure to hit that thumbs up if you're on YouTube, everyone. Alrighty. So,
let me sum up. Can I sum up how I believe we should get rid of racism?
What'd you say?
Let me just tell you how I think we should get rid of racism. You know.
No, can you tell me a policy of Trump's you like, actually? Yeah, I want to bring us back to the topic.
Well, I mean, that was what we were talking about.
I said bring us back to the topic of the stream.
The topic of DEI is just about Trump.
You didn't even give a DEI policy of Democrats that you actually disagreed with. So I would like to tell you to tell us why you support Trump. Give us a specific policy of Trump's you like.
I mean, it's not just about policy. It's also about rhetoric, right? You said that yourself, right? I mean, it's not just about policy. It's about rhetoric. That's what you said.
I'm asking you for a policy right now. If you don't want to provide me a policy, I'll just go on to the next person. I've already talked to you for an hour and 30 minutes at this point. I feel like I'm wasting my time at this point.
I mean, just a no brain one, no trans women. I mean, no men and women's sports. I mean, that shouldn't even have to be a policy because it's so
question.
obvious.
You don't think that men should be in women's spaces? Hector, thank you for the
galaxy.
Thank
sports.
You. Good to see you as always, man.
I don't think it should be in women's sports.
Oh, but you're okay with them walking into the changing rooms of naked women while they're changing without their consent?
Am I okay with men doing that? No. Generally not.
You're not okay with that?
Are you talking about trans people? I mean, I think they can kind of
I'm saying men. I'm saying men. Are you okay with men bragging about walking into the changing rooms of naked women while they're changing without their consent? Grace, think of the racing debut.
I mean, if they're transgender, I think it depends on how, kind of how far they are in their transition, on what changing room they can use. You know.
I asked you a specific question.
I'd say no. I'm not okay with that.
Okay. Would you ever vote for someone that did that?
It seems like you're the one pivoting now, honestly. You don't want to talk about the men and women's sports things, huh?
I'm asking you a question. Would you like to answer?
You're pivoting? Would I ever vote someone who did that? I don't know. Probably not. Depends.
You wouldn't? So I can play you a video right now, or audio, of Donald Trump saying and bragging about walking to the changing rooms of naked women while they're changing without their consent. So if you
I've heard I've heard that audio before.
You have. So then you don't support Trump anymore, right?
Well, I mean, I think he was on Jimmy Kimmel or whatever. I think he was just joking around for TV.
That's not Jimmy Kimmel. That was Howard Stern, and he wasn't joking around. He was being serious.
Well, then why did the audience
There was an 18-year-old came out, so there were 4 girls as young as 15 years old in these changing rooms.
When did she come out?
I'd have to check the year. I don't remember.
Back then? I mean, why did people laugh when you said that, if it wasn't a joke?
What?
Why did the audience laugh on the TV show?
There was no audience.
Howard Stern laughed, I think.
Yeah, and Howard Stern's a creep. He said that. I mean, we can bring up all the different things Howard Stern's done.
I mean, I don't know that much about Howard Stern, but I think that if Trump really committed this crime, if he was really doing this, he wouldn't admit to it on live TV. You know,
he did. He literally did, and you still support him. Apparently, he's able to get away with it because you still support him.
Well, the reason why I think the reason why I think it's a joke is because if he did really do this, he wouldn't want to admit to it, you know.
He did.
Let alone on live TV.
He literally did. I can play you the audio because you keep not acknowledging it.
No, yeah, but I'm saying that's why I believe that he's joking in that audio. I've seen the video.
There's no good reason to believe that he's joking, and even if he was, that's sick to joke about. And by the way, he wasn't joking about it because we have victims that have come out and talked about the fact that this has happened. He was bragging about it, by the way.
I mean, if it's just logically, right? If he really did this, if he really committed a crime, he wouldn't want to.
Imagine it's your obligation Well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now, tell me
Well, I'll
what
tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting.
Right,
I want to
right.
make sure that
You're like a
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
Yeah, like they're all laughing and stuff. Like even the woman's laughing in that clip. Yeah.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting. I'm sorry. You're going to sit there and defend that because there were people laughing at it?
I mean, I'm defending why I think it was a joke. Like, people laugh at jokes. People laughing at it. That means it's a joke. Yeah. It's
No,
like
they're
logical.
this is disgusting. I'm sorry. Again, there being situations, even where there are people laughing about that, does not justify the behavior he engaged in. And also, you trying to write it off as a joke, it does not make sense when there have been victims that have come out and talked about the fact that this happened.
I mean, I don't know whether or not he did it, but
What do you mean you don't
I
know?
think-
He just bragged about doing it.
Yeah, like I don't know whether or not he was joking. Like. But I mean, it seems like you're the one pivoting now away from the topic of men and
Says the
women's
one who's
sport.
trying to pivot right now.
No, because I'm the one who. But you asked what policy do you support of Trump's? I said I support no men in women's sports, and then you just brought up.
And I
this
asked you
movie
based
thing.
upon that. You don't want men in women's spaces. You said that you wouldn't vote for someone who bragged about walking to the changing rooms of naked women while they're changing without their consent. I played you an audio of Donald Trump doing that, and you still support him. You're a cult.
Okay, so
You're in a cult.
you agree
okay?
with me. You agree
are
with me that
literally
we should
you
have
are
men in
literally
women's
in a cult. You're gonna support Trump no matter what. You said that you wouldn't support him based upon this thing that I just proved to be true, and then you said you support him after you figured out it was applicable to Trump. Okay?
Well, I don't think it was. You didn't prove it to be true.
I did. I proved it to be true.
Yeah, he was joking. Like, just because someone says something is a joke doesn't mean it actually happened.
Again,
People tell stories
you
on
keep
talk
trying to
all the
claim it
time.
as a joke in order to not act and acknowledge reality that this is the case, that he said this and was bragging about it. The victims have come out and talked about the fact that this happened. If it was a joke, there wouldn't be victims that have come out that talked about that this happened.
I mean, is there evidence that it did happen?
Yes, I just told you. Hello? Did you hear what I just said?
I mean, like, well, when did they come out? Can I ask that?
You've already asked that question, and I told you I don't know off the top of my head. That doesn't matter.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't seem like likely. But you know what? When it comes to like
It just doesn't
politicians,
seem likely.
You have
It's
to.
not a response to my point. When victims have come out, talked about the fact that it happened, and he bragged about it. Dude, what evidence could you accept? He said it himself, and you're just like, no, he's just joking. He's just joking. Anything that's bad that Donald Trump says, you're just going to be like, oh, it was just a joke.
I mean, the guy jokes a lot. Like, you can't deny that.
You are a waste of space, honestly. Genuinely.
He tells all the
You are a
jokes.
waste of space on this live stream.
Like,
Genuinely.
when people vote, like, they look for like policies.
Shut the fuck up. Genuinely. There's not even a single point that could convince you otherwise.
They look for policies that are going to affect them and
Dude,
going to affect
you literally
the
you
country.
came up on my live stream calling me a grifter, but then there's not a single point you could bring up that you actually disagree with, right? In terms of this particular point that I mentioned, all you've just said is that it's a joke.
I literally brought up several points, and instead of trying to dissuade them, you just go back to your same talking points
No,
about
dude, I literally
sexual assault.
listen. We're talking about him acknowledging engaging in sexual exploitation.
Yeah, I mean, like, I said I cared about men and women's sports, and like, you could have tried to use that to convince me of something, but like, you just pivot back to your same talking
Can
points
you name
about.
5 people in women's sports that play currently?
Well, there was Leah Thompson. There was
Thomas.
the high.
Leah Thomas is not
Leah
currently
Thomas.
playing, and she didn't dominate either. But go ahead.
I mean, she won something. Like,
Go ahead.
she did good, but there's the high jumper from California, like high school one. The high jumper. I forgot what her name was. There was that fighter, like something
So
Fox.
you don't even know any of their names.
Well, I mean, like, I read a story, but I don't remember like every single name of like everything I've ever read. I mean, you don't even remember when.
Okay, name the
just
circumstances of
remember
2 other
forward.
people then.
Those 2 other ones. I mean, I remember there was a triathlete. I don't know if it was a collegiate event, but just because something doesn't happen a lot doesn't mean that it's not
Okay,
important.
This is a non-issue. You are bringing this up because you have nothing to actually support Donald Trump on that's legitimate. And the very basis of you caring about this in the first place is bullshit, because you still support Donald Trump even when he's bragged about walking into the changing rooms of naked women while they're changing without the consent. You don't say this
Okay,
because you
so
care about women. You say this because you just hate trans people. That's it. You don't give
do
a
you
shit
agree?
about women.
Do you agree
don't
with me
care.
then?
You don't care when women are assaulted. You don't care when things negatively impact women. You don't care when women are sexually exploited. You don't care when little girls as young as 15 years old are sexually exploited. You
So
specifically just
you're
hate
saying
trans
you
people.
agree with me. You're saying you agree with me that trans people shouldn't be in women's sports. Is that what you're saying?
I believe that trans people, after multiple years of HRT, there's no reason to limit them from playing. But I believe it's a non-issue to even address. There's no point of even addressing it because it doesn't even really happen at all. There are less people who are trans in the NCAA than there are sexual misconduct allegations against Donald Trump from different women. Okay? You do not give a shit about women. You could give a fuck less about women. Everything you do is antithetical to what's best for women. And yet you sit up on the live stream and you virtue signal and say that you care about women because you hate trans people and you want to make an argument against trans people. You don't give a shit about women.
I just don't think they should be in sports. Like, it's not that I hate them.
You don't even
And I
watch
do-
sports. Can you name 3 sports teams? 3 women's sports teams.
3-1 sports team. I mean, no, I don't watch it, but that doesn't mean that it's not
You don't
important
watch
to the
women's
people.
sports. You don't play women's sports. You know nothing about women's sports. You couldn't even mention 5 people that specifically were playing in these sports that you think shouldn't be allowed to play. You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. And yet you're going to sit here and say that you care about women based upon this? Shut the fuck up.
Just
No,
because
you
I'm
don't.
not
You don't give a shit about
personally
women.
affected doesn't mean that there are plenty of women that have come forward and say that they're, don't want to have to compete. I remember like the surfer girl, like who lost her arm, came forward and said, "I don't want to have to compete against biological men because it's not fair." Women all the time complain about this, and instead of just like being, "Oh, it doesn't matter," and ignoring them, I think maybe we should listen to them and do something about it, right?
So you want to listen to women? You want us to listen to women? Is that what you just said?
I mean, when women say
There's
like
no
this
fucking
isn't
way
fair-
you just said that. There is no fucking way that just came out of your mouth. We should listen to women after you just said you didn't listen to E. Jean Carroll or the 26 different people that have accused Donald Trump of sexual misconduct because you think that they're all fucking lying? Shut the fuck up. You don't care about listening to women? What type of fucking grift answer was... You're the one grifting on my stream. You just honestly are saying that you care about women in order to get attention. That's what you're doing right now.
Politicians get like accused of
Wait,
that.
stop.
Like, all the
Acknowledge
time.
that. Acknowledge that you dishonestly just said that and dishonestly said that you care about women in order to be able to make that claim, in order to get attention. You grifting piece of shit.
I do care about women.
You don't.
I
You
do care about women.
you just said that you wanted to listen to women, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna blindly believe everything a woman says just because they're a
Oh,
woman.
okay. So then
That's
don't
not the
believe
same.
it. So then don't believe any of the women that are saying that they don't want trans people to play in these sports. Don't believe them.
Well, that's not like they're not making a claim about a fact or about something.
Wait,
that
they're making a
happened.
claim about what
a
happened, right?
preference. I mean, they're making a claim about like a preference, like that they, they're making a claim about their emotions that they feel that something's unfair. They're not making a claim about like an event that took place that could be wrong.
They're making a claim about... Yeah, they are. They're making about an event that took place. And they're making a claim about what they think should be the case. So how about you listen to women that are saying that you should believe the victims of Donald Trump?
Yeah, but like when a woman like has an opinion, that's not something that could like be wrong per se. Like when a woman claims that
So when the
took
women in the
place-
chat are telling you that you should believe the women that have been assaulted by Donald Trump, why don't you believe them? Why don't you listen to them?
Well, I mean, not only do you have to listen to women, you have to like weigh the circumstances too, right? Like, I agree with the women coming forward. Like, it's not fair that they have to compete against biological men.
Wait, so you want to listen to women, right? So why don't you listen to the women in the chat? You didn't answer the question.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I want to listen to women, but not like to an extent where it's like I'm gonna agree with whatever they say.
Okay, so then why only agree with women in this context, but not agree with women in the context in which they're asking for you to listen to women who have been assaulted?
I mean, you also have to weigh like the facts of the matter, and
Okay,
I mean,
yeah. So if you have to weigh
I
the facts,
agree.
well, then you would know that the facts are that this is a non-issue.
Yeah, but I mean, you could say it's a non-issue, but like there are people who are
That's
affected
a
by
reality.
it.
It is a non-issue.
I mean, there are people who are affected by it that have come forward and
Yeah,
said that
and
they
if you
feel
cared
it's
about women
unfair.
coming forward and talking about things that have happened to them, then you would believe the victims of Donald Trump.
Well, you can't just believe someone just because they make a claim.
Well, what is the likelihood of 26 different people lying about sexual misconduct?
I mean, you keep saying that, like 26. It doesn't matter how many people say something. That's not
It does.
proof
It
that
actually does. It actually does.
no.
It does.
Just because that's not evidence that something happened because a lot of
It
people say
actually
something
is.
happened.
Are you Christian?
No,
You're not? Okay,
no,
do you
I'm
believe
not
that
Christian.
do you believe if there are more witnesses that's more evidence of something happening?
I mean, more witnesses.
Hmm.
You say like witnesses, like they witnessed it, right? Or
If there was
people who
10
claim.
witnesses of a crime or one witness of a crime, what do you think is more likely?
I mean, I think it depends on the witnesses' stories. Like, do their stories conflict with each other,
Okay,
or
so
do
then
their
tell me
stories all
so then
line
tell
up?
me any of the stories of the 26 different plus people that have accused Donald Trump of sexual misconduct that are wrong, that show lies, or are inconsistent.
When you talk about like 10 victims of a crime, right? Like not analogous because we're talking about one crime that 10 different people saw, so you have 10 different perspectives. If 10 different people come out as witnesses of 10 different crimes, that doesn't increase the likelihood of any one particular crime being true.
Are you going to answer any of my questions? It's like
I'm
I
trying to
ask you
explain.
questions and then
I'm
you
trying to
never
explain why
listen to
you.
the questions,
I'm
dude.
trying to explain why your analogy is like logically incorrect.
What?
I
Try
think
again,
if it
man.
was,
Go ahead.
I think if it was anybody but Trump, like there would be no denial and no questions asked about his own character. You know, it's like, MoMA. Imagine that like you had a friend in high school named Jake, and when you were hanging out with Jake, he'd tell you how he just likes to grab women by their p words without asking first. And you know, at this time, you know, you guys are maybe like I don't know, like 17, 18. And he also tells you that at this beauty pageant his dad owns, he will walk backstage and sexually exploit the women and the girls by looking at them naked unconsensually. And then like 10 years in the future, you figure out that a fucking court found him guilty of raping a woman. And then you hear the testimony of 25 other women who said he did the same thing to them. Right? Like, there's gonna be no question, right, that this Jake character is a sexual predator, right? But everything that we just said about this hypothetical Jake character is actually true of Trump, right? So I just don't understand why people question it to such an insane extent. It just seems obvious that Donald Trump is a sexual predator.
The guy left. How embarrassing. How embarrassing, dude. That was actually hell. I hate debating that. That guy was horrible.
Dude, I woke up, I showered, I got lunch, I made coffee. I did like a billion things, and from the moment I woke up until like right now, you've been debating that same guy.
I know. That was an hour and 30 minutes. I genuinely am actually so annoyed. I don't like that guy. You know what's up, how old are you?
Marco Redeem live battle, please! Live battle!
Let's go on the next
We might.
individual. What'd you say?
We might later. I was just gonna say we might later, depending on how much time I have.
What time would you have time, maybe?
It would be like later in the evening.
For sure. You know what's up, how old are you?
If you happen to-
Let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up, how old are you?
45.
And if you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Oh, definitely Trump.
For sure, for sure. Let me make sure I'm completely caught up on YouTube real quick, and then we can go on to our conversation. Caleb, by the way, thank you so much for the $20. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Zach, thank you for the $2. Jazz for the $10. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Elena, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $10. And Laugh and Leslie, thank you for the $10 as well. Nicholas, thank you so much for the $4. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. I think I'm fully caught up. If you want to support me, as always, Venmo, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description of YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat. Alrighty, so why do you support Trump?
Hey, just 1 second before we start. I just want to say it's pretty kick-ass that you and Dean do this. You get on here and you let people speak what they got to say, and you try to convince them otherwise. I don't agree with anything you guys say. Well, not anything. That's a bit bold of a statement. But I don't agree with a lot of things you guys say. But it's still really cool that you do it.
Appreciate it.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So I support Trump border issues. I support Trump for his stance on military behavior. There's, you know, I guess I don't know a whole lot about all the policies and whatnot. Like I know the remain in Mexico was a policy, and I know the executive orders about the border, but the other stuff I don't know much about the big beautiful bill. So I'm not going to be able to debate you with like knowledge for knowledge. You're going to bury me. So, but the border thing, I'm very happy about that. The idea of all kinds of people just willy-nilly crossing the border, especially after we've had terrible terrorist attacks in our history, and who knows what the hell they're bringing. The fact that a good majority of the people crossing the border are narco people bringing lots of fentanyl into the country.
Oh, you can't say that on the live. It's TikTok TOS, Scott. Hey, Scott, make
Oh,
sure
I'm
to come
sorry.
up on a different day. It's TikTok TOS. I actually have to kick you because it's going to reduce the push of the stream. But most people who are bringing DRUGS across the border are actually U.S. citizens. Over 80 to 90% of them are U.S. citizens. And then why would you be okay with Donald Trump pardoning a seed drug trafficker who, under your definition, would be a narco-terrorist? Yeah, Dean, that's a question I've been asking people. Would you still support Donald Trump if he pardoned a terrorist?
Yeah. Okay. We need to make a list. Would you still support Trump if he was a terrorist? Would you still support Trump if he called for the public execution via the means of hanging of his political opponents? Would you still support Trump if he literally sexually exploited naked kids? Oh my God, dude. Like, honestly,
it's crazy.
It'd be good to write those all down and then just run through the list with a Trump supporter and have them like inevitably be forced to answer yes to every single one, else concede their support for Trump.
Yeah. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo, Parker, can you debate my dad?
You got to join in on your on a different account. It can't be your account. But yes, I can debate your dad. It just can't be linked to your account as a fetus. Alrighty, let's go on the next individual. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen, everyone. It seriously helps get it out to more people. Alrighty. What time did you plan to start your live, Dean?
Honestly, whenever I was ready to go, I think I got ready a little bit faster today than typically. So maybe I'm gonna aim for like 1 my time, so like here in like 30 minutes.
For sure. That sounds good. I was gonna probably get off then, take a break, and then hop on later, if anything.
Oh, cool.
And I might join you for a bit too.
Yeah, man.
Yo, what's up? How old are you? Alrighty, let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Only send a guest request if you do meet that set of criteria listed in the TikTok screen. Oh my God, guess who's in my guest box?
Off the top of my head, I'd have to guess. What's his name? The good boy guy, the really good boy.
He's a really good boy. He's a really good boy.
You know, I've been bringing him up every once in a while just to like actually debate with. He's actually kind of fun to like legitimately debate because he's really stupid.
Wow, that's very complimentary there, Dean.
Yeah, well, you're welcome, my friend.
You're an absolute tool. We all know that. So we just talk shit on each other. That's how we say hello to each other. That's how we start our conversations out.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, it is how we start our conversations, Liam.
You know,
that was mean, that was really mean, Dean, and I totally agree with you doing it.
You know, I was pondering like your guys' influence on the youth and society and just the direction that you young men are taking these days. And I'm trying to understand when you look back on all of this, how you're going to be like, feel like you've been justified and like righteous in all these conversations and stuff. outside of all the money that you guys are making, popularity and all this stuff, do you honestly look back on this and go, man, what a great job we did? Yeah, I know, Parker, your mother
Yes.
and father are completely disappointed in you for sure.
Actually,
wow.
my parents are very happy with me.
Yeah,
No, that's
saying that?
dude. Yeah, yeah, because
I'm
they
not gonna
love
lie.
you. They love you for
I'm not gonna lie, my mom talks to me about all the time about how her friends are like watching me, and like how like everyone she knows she tells about me, tells about like how I do stuff, and that they've like seen me and stuff. So like my mom is actually like really happy with what I do and loves what I do.
So
Yeah.
you don't think that people watch their kids mutilate themselves and go, "Oh, I love
Push
my
them money
kids
down.
unconditionally."
N-
So
n-
I'm
My mom actively like tells her friends about me, right? And her friends like
stop
watch me.
muting me, bro. Stop being a child.
I'm sorry, Liam. I'm
Right,
not
then
gonna
also-
stop muting you.
Right, like Liam, maybe you don't understand this because you're either a bad dad or you're not a dad, right? But like typically parents, right, are really proud of their children when their children are successful, right? And I'd say that like, like both me and Parker have found like a reasonable level of success at like a pretty young age, and for that reason, it's not too insane to,
I would agree. You know what,
maybe your
Dean, I
parents-
would agree with you that Schmittler's mom and dad loved him and thought he was successful.
Did you just compare
yeah,
us to
there's the
us to
yes,
Hitler?
100% I did. Yes, I got to listen. That's how. This is the way that you guys debate. Wait a second. I got to Schmittler first. So does that mean I win? That's how you guys debate, right?
Dude, Liam, that was a crazy and diabolical comparison.
No, it was a beautiful analogy. Okay, that's exactly what you guys do in these conversations.
Well, then
Okay, so I just wanna
demonstrate the
clarify.
relevance of
I
the
know we're gonna
hypothetical.
go. Wait a minute. We're gonna go to a brain unalived patient next. That's where we're gonna go.
I just want to clarify. So
This
you
is
got
how
your
dumb
feelings
you
hurt.
guys are in these
So,
conversations.
I just want to clarify. When we first brought you up, you got your feelings hurt that I called you dumb. So then you turned around and called me Hitler?
No, I made the argument that you said, I would argue that parents are proud of their children when they're successful, and they make money. And I was like, wow. So was Schmittler successful, and was he powerful? Do you think his parents were successful, that he literally tried to conquer the whole entire world and unalive a shit ton of people in the process?
Well, I what I can say is I really hope that Hitler's parents were not proud of him.
Well, I bet you they probably were. So you saying that my parents are proud of me gives you no validity.
Well, see, the thing is that
the
you
validity,
posited
and
that Parker's
you brought
claim-
up that you said that they were not like happy with what we're doing, and I told you that's actually false. So that's all I said. I wasn't bringing you up as credibility.
So,
I was just
Parker,
saying
this
that
is
I
my
disagree
point.
with the statement you made.
This is my point. Your mother and father would love it if you actually repented and gave your life to Christ, because they are Christians. Now, you saying that you're successful on TikTok and making money and providing for yourself, I agree with you. But the direction that you're taking the path of your life, no, your mother and father are not impressed or proud of you in that endeavor. No, not at all.
I think my parents are, and you can say
There's
that
no-
you
there's
know
no
my
way.
parents. I know my parents way more than you. That's embarrassing that you're saying that, and my parents would laugh at you.
Do you think your mother and father pray for you?
Probably.
There you go. What do you think their prayer is?
For me to be good and me to be okay. And
For
safe.
you to be good. Okay. Good. What is good? That's the prayer. Lord,
like,
help
safe and,
Parker to be a good boy like Liam.
No, no,
what they say?
that's no. I meant like that I'm safe and that I'm going to be okay. That's kind of what I meant by good.
Is that the Christian prayer?
Listen,
Lord, help
listen.
my son to be
I don't-
safe and
Liam,
good.
Liam, maybe
So
you're just like crazy.
So your
Maybe
mom or
just, like-
Stubba Dad are
oh,
superficial
just
Christians.
Just 1 second. Liam. So I don't know. Maybe you're just like crazy. But see, like my father.
Stop
he's-
calling me
he's a-
crazy and nuts, dude. There's
He's
nothing.
if you're gonna allow me to finish speaking here, Liam. My father is a devout Catholic. He when he dies, he even wants to have some of his ashes like spread on the ground of the Catholic Church that he goes to. Very big Catholic guy. But see, the thing is that my father would prefer me to be a good person that's an agnostic atheist compared to a bad person that calls themselves Christian. So. I don't know, man. Maybe I don't really think that you have the qualifications to tell either myself or Parker, facts of our, family relations or the love that is experienced between us and our parents. And it just kind of sounds like, you are a little bit insane.
Okay, cool. You've called me crazy and insane and dumb over and over again.
You called me
And
Hitler.
Caleb,
so
thank you so much for the $100 for Liam as a good boy. Thank you so much. Give me some W's for Caleb in the comment section right now for
Why is it
$100
that
for Liam as a good boy. Thank
Either-
you so much. I really appreciate it. For Emma, thank you for the $7 for calling Liam a good boy. What a good boy. What a good boy, Liam.
Either
Jill,
you
thank
guys
for
are
so much for
lying-
the $5. Thank you, Jill. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Either you guys lie about your gifting, because it seems like the hundreds. Last time I was talking to Dean, he was like, "Thank you so much for the $400." I'm like, is that just how like triggered people are by when I come up in your room here, or is it? What is it?
No, that was on YouTube Super Chat, so you can actually check YouTube Super Chat. That was a public donation. So I made it up, but it's public, and you can literally see the donation that was sent to me over YouTube Super Chat. So you can sit there and cope and seethe. Well, I've got real money, and you're
I would
thinking
like
I'm
to
faking
know.
donations, but speaking
This is crazy. I
Speaking
just saw
of fake
Dean.
donations, speaking of fake donations, thank you for the
stop it.
$1 trillion. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the fake donation for $1 trillion. Thank you so much, DNC. I really appreciate the $1 trillion donation. Thank you so much. Can we get some W's for the DNC in the comment section right now for the $1 trillion donation? Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, DNC. Thank you so much for the trillion.
So that was a waste of time. Parker, did you go into like the haircut handbook and say, I want the lesbian Dean Withers do, and that's what you went and got, or what is
the lesbian Dean Withers do?
What does that even mean?
What the fuck are you saying?
I'm saying that you guys look like a couple of lesbians.
I don't know, Moose. I think
based
when people will come up here and try to like feminize me and Parker, and then say we have sex with one another.
I've never said that. I've never said that.
Deeper desire, some deeper interest.
Dude, wait a minute. I've never said. I understand that you guys are heteros. Okay, I get it. And I've never said. I've never made a video about you two being, in same-sex relationships. You're femboys for sure. Look at your hands. Do this. Look at your fingernails and look at your palms, your calluses. Yes, you guys have bigger calluses on your rear end from the time you sit on your ass than you do from working with your hands.
Look at my hands. I've got real. I got tough hands. Look at these tough hands. You like these tough hands here? Look at these tough hands.
Look at those calluses.
Wow.
Look at my calluses, Liam. Sit down, little bro. Your hands are soft, buddy. This is what a real man's hand looks like.
And Andy, thank you so much for the $31. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Hey, I
for
wanted
the
to
fake
talk.
donation. Can we get some W's right now for Andy for the fake donation for the $31? Thank you so much. Aqua, thank you for the $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the fake donation as well. Who loves the haircut? Thank you. AJ, thank you for the $5. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for asking Liam if you to show the hat he wears to bed. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Ollie, thank you for the $5 for the fake donation. Thank you so much. Charlotte with the $5. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Can we get some W's for all the gifters in the comment section right now?
Also, Liam,
Hey.
you know that I got calluses on my hand because I work out like a real man.
Yeah, okay. Nobody gives a shit. Anyway, I wanted to ask you
Do a
guys.
push-up competition with me, Liam.
I'll do that, but we're gonna have to schedule it.
Let's do it right now, buddy. Right now. Come on.
I won't do it on Parker's
come on.
page.
Come on.
Parker's no. I
One,
won't do.
2, 3. Come on, buddy. Turn that camera on. Oh, hey, Momo. Turn that camera on, Liam. Come on.
Listen, you have to do it. You have to do 35 at least before I'm even gonna have a contest against you.
Dead ass? So you're telling me if I do 35 push-ups right now, you'll do a push-up competition?
Do 35 push-ups right now. Go ahead.
And if I do 35 push-ups, will you do a competition with me?
Yes, I will.
So if I do 35, then you'll do...
Just shut up and do 35 push-ups right
We
now.
need to agree on terms and conditions first. If I do 35 push-ups...
Yeah, take the cat out of the camera and let's go.
No. Momo's not going anywhere. So I just want to clarify. If I do 35 push-ups, you'll do 35 in return?
Yep.
Dead ass?
Yep.
All right. Let's see if I could do 35. Yesterday was chest day, so I'm feeling a little bit sore, but I bet we got this. Momo, I'm gonna have to move you.
Yeah, I gotta mute his microphone because he's got this like weird echo, dude.
1, 2, 3, 4. Momo, get out of the way. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Not
10,
Momo going up and down.
12, 13. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yo.
He didn't do it, ladies and gentlemen.
The cat attacked me.
He didn't do it. What a snowflake.
The cat attacked me.
Wow,
Dude.
big W for me.
What
in
the
the
fuck,
comment
Momo?
section. Can
Momo,
I get some
what are you
W's in the
doing?
comment section?
Momo, what the hell? No, Dean.
Wait, I'm gonna thank my gifter.
Okay, well, actually, talk about thanking gifters. Thank you so much. I
Let
really
me thank
appreciate
my
it.
gifter, bro. Stop
Miriam,
it.
can we get some W's for Miriam in the comment section for the $100 on PayPal? Can we get some W's for Miriam? Thank you for the $100. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. For we're all proud of Parker and Dean. They earn every penny because they're trying to give MAGA a reality check. Thank you so much. Please some W's for them in the comment section. Ivan with the $10 for the donation from the DNC, fake donation from the Lesbian Foundation. Thank you so much. Creed with the $6.66. Thank you so much for Liam as a soft snowflake. Thank you very much. Liz, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $5 as well. Thank you.
I want to say thank you to Millie saying I'm definitely more masculine than these two little bitches are. That's a $25.
Elena, thank you so much for the $10.
$25 donation.
Think of the $2. Thank you. All right. Dean, you got to get rid of Momo so that you can do it.
No, we've already lost. We don't get second round chances here.
Dude,
Momo is helping Liam.
attacked me.
You're a second round draft pick, Dean.
Okay, I'm gonna prove you wrong, buddy. I'm gonna prove you wrong, pal.
You've already lost, dude. You're done, okay?
Liam, did you see the cat pop up on her back legs and swing at my head?
Yeah, the cat has no respect for you because you're feminine. Yeah, I get it.
What? Wait, I'm sorry. How does being feminine mean that cats don't have respect for you?
Because I'll tell you, if it was a dog in the room that had the authority over the other animals, that cat would have never got in the way. So obviously the cat knows.
What is this guy saying, Liam? Liam, I think you're having cognitive decline.
Why do you keep muting me, bro?
Because you're having cognitive decline.
Mr. Freedom of Speech.
Have you ever
Fiona, thank you
considered
so much for the
that-
$4.20. Sophie, thank you so much for the $13 for W Momo. Thank you so much. Emmy, thank you for the $10. I really appreciate it. Maria, thank you for the $5 for Dean's Kitty.
Have you ever
Good God,
considered
I need to be paid a lot of money dealing with you two.
Have you ever considered that maybe Momo's just loved and she likes to play?
All right.
Have you ever considered that?
Yeah, actually, Liam, you should consider that next time. Yo, Liam, can you take the hat off and unmute yourself? You're currently muted, Liam. We can't hear you. Can you unmute real quick?
I mean, you keep
Good
muting
boy.
me, so what's the
Good
point?
boy. What a good boy. Thank you for unmuting, Liam. What a good boy.
When was the last time you guys actually grew some facial hair? When did it happen?
Never. I can't grow
every
facial hair.
night.
You've never grown facial hair. Between the two
Never.
of you, oh my.
Never
Well,
once
I mean,
have I ever grown facial hair.
I mean, I shave every day, right? So maybe a reason why I don't have a mustache.
Dude, Dean, you could never grow a full beard. Stop it, dude. Stop it.
Hey, buddy, listen. Not only
I'm
can I
not your
grow
buddy,
full
bro.
beard,
I'm not
but
your buddy.
Oh, I'm using like buddy in like the lowbrow sense, like you're beneath me. Go back to kindergarten type shit, because you have the brain of a 6-year-old, type shit, maturity 2 type shit. But
Can I talk to you? Wait a minute, Dean. Dean, can I talk to you guys about the National Guard a little bit? Can we actually have a conversation?
yeah, if you take your hat off,
Why don't you just take my hat off?
because I think that you likely have a receding hairline that you're insecure.
I probably do. So what's the point? You win. You win that argument.
Probably?
Let's go. Yeah. What's the point?
Well, I mean, it seems like you just gave us a point.
Dude,
It's
Dean,
okay,
listen,
Liam.
you have a landing spot on the back of your head. You're going to be bald when you're my age. So just stop.
I actually
Stop
don't-
being a little punk, okay? Nobody cares.
You know what I did? I started taking a combination mix of finasteride and minoxidil. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this name.
Is that
right.
progesterone? You're taking progesterone now or what?
Finasteride and minoxidil to reduce the DHT levels of my.
Progesterone? You're taking progesterone, you said? Are you nursing as well or what?
Finasteride.
Liam, was that supposed to be like a own? That was so cringe.
Was it? It was cringe. What is progesterone?
I don't know what progesterone is. I do know what finasteride is. Finasteride's a thing that I take to reduce the DHT levels in my scalp to regrow hair follicles.
Wow.
And the only thing Liam is good at nursing apparently is this fourth beer for the day, because there's no way you're sober saying some shit like that, Liam. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
It's fucking noon. We're in California. Parker, you're in California. It's 11:47, and I'm drinking in my vehicle as I'm parked.
Yeah,
You're
yeah, probably, dude. You must
You're
be.
an
You must
absolute
be, dude.
weirdo, bro.
Dude, I thought that would piss him off. Caleb, thank you for the $50 for the good boy. Should be so lucky to have a cat like Momo on the street. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Caleb. Good some W's for Caleb in the comment section right now. Thank you so much. Andy with the $15 for another fake donation. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Proud Liberal, thank you for the $2. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Jeremy, thank you for the $5 for the fake donation. Renegade, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. Hey, Liam, can you get some W's for all the fake donations?
Yeah, W's for the grifters in the comments for sure.
No, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Are you guys for?
To rage bait some people.
Are you guys for the military policing cities?
No.
Well, actually, no. I'm not for the military policing cities because that is illegal.
Hey, also, Liam, can you fix your a little bit? You have a feedback a little bit.
Yeah, fix that feedback, buddy. Come on.
We still kind of hear it.
I don't hear it.
I know, because you're the one with the feedback.
I would have to drive and move, and I don't drive and use my device.
You
Chris
wouldn't have
Mallory
to drive
does
in
that. I
order
don't
for
do
us to
that.
not hear an echo. Okay.
Maybe
But
get a little bit.
Lydia, thank you so much for the for the cent for Liam's bald spot. Thank you so much.
Did you know that it's illegal for the military to police cities?
Thank you, Postman. Appreciate it. Yeah, you know what?
Wait, Postman? There's no way Postman just sent you something. That's so cringe. Thank you for the joy floats.
Postman didn't send me anything. Was I lying? It was cringe.
Yeah,
so it's
that was-
only not cringe when you get gifted. You get to grift off of people.
I mean, you have a high schooler who's literally a Nick Fuentes fan sending you money. Literally.
Yeah.
You just-
How does that
you
make
just
you
said-
feel?
Well, I
Yeah,
think that,
literally.
I think that Nick Fuentes has some good, valid views. I think the guy
really?
a little-
Really? Like
I think-
denying the amount of people who died in the Holocaust?
Oh, or thinking that the age of consent should be lowered to 16?
I said some points. Okay, I'm not a follower of Nick Fuentes or older millennial, for that matter. You know why?
Yeah, you don't follow the golden
Because I
millennial?
think that Parker, you and older millennial have a lot in common. That
Well,
you
I
deny.
didn't pee
you
myself when being detained by the police.
You deny the deity
Oh my
of
goodness.
the Almighty. You guys have.
Yeah, I can tell you one big difference. I didn't pee myself in custody of the police.
You're both atheists, so what's it matter? What's the point?
I think that's a pretty big distinction, dude. The
I mean, you
golden
both
millennial-
both believe in nothing, so what's the point? I mean, it's really awesome. You guys should bond with that, you know?
Okay,
You know, I think-
me being an atheist does not mean I believe in nothing. It just means I don't know what the causes of the universe. But can we get some W's for bonus and for the $50 for the fake donation into Dean's fake calluses as well? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Can we get some W's for bonus in the comment section right now for the $50 on YouTube Super Chat? Thank you so much. Kyle, thank you so much for the $5 for the grift. Thank you.
So what? So why are you not for bringing the crime down in these cities? Why are you not for adding National Guard to these cities and helping with the crime?
I support reducing crime, and that's why I don't want Trump to be the president. That's all. Also, I don't want him to be releasing violent criminals into our country and pardoning narco-terrorists.
Nice pivot. I asked you a direct question. You completely pivoted off of what I said.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay?
Trump's not making it safer.
What did I ask you? What was the question? What did I
You
ask
asked me if I want to reduce crime, and I said yes because I don't want the president to be a criminal. I don't want them to pardon criminals who beat police officers and committed domestic terrorism, and I don't want him to pardon narco-terrorists.
So is sending schmugs through vessels into our country, are these criminal acts through T groups? Are boats that are under full throttle with multiple engines that are told to stop?
What you
that are not stopping?
So you mean the convicted?
Wait a minute. That are being blown the fuck out of the water?
So
Okay.
Liam,
Then they're calling ahead and saying, we need assistance. Our product is in the water climbing back into the vessel. Okay. That's not getting away from the illegal substances that they're carrying. That's trying to reclaim it. You understand that? Because listen, these people who are transporting this, they know that their life is in jeopardy due to their bosses if they don't deliver. You understand that, right? One way or another, when you have this much money in product and you don't deliver, your boss is going to unalive you. So they're going to do whatever they can to try to get that product to its destination. You not understand that?
So there's a few things here. One, Trump pardoned a convicted sea drug trafficker who
Look
literally
at
was
you,
trafficking.
dude,
No,
pivoting,
trust me,
bro.
I'm not pivoting. I promise you, I'm wrapping.
Wow.
Hey, Liam, just listen. I know it's hard for you. Be a good boy. So again, he pardoned a convicted sea drug trafficker who was literally bringing those types of drugs to our country. So by your definition, was a narco terrorist. Secondly, the boats that you're referencing, there was actually no evidence they had DRUGS in the first place. And one of the boats that you're referencing was headed south, not even going towards the United States. Didn't have enough gas to make it to the United States.
That's a lie.
And they were surrendering, right? Along with the fact that law says at that time that you have to rescue after the boat's been disabled. So no, they couldn't have made it to the United States. You could have detained them once they got to U.S. waters, and they literally were not even headed to the United States.
So when a vehicle is fleeing from the police, let me make this analogy here. When a vehicle is fleeing from the police, okay, in a high-speed pursuit, and that vehicle is stopped, and then the suspects jump out of the vehicle, then climb back into the vehicle to try to make it get in motion again, that's giving up. That's surrendering.
I'm sorry, if you blew up the car...
Oh my gosh, you guys are not smart.
Liam, if you blew up the car, you wouldn't be able to get back into it and use it.
Yeah, the police fucking dropped a nuke on the vehicle. It's in about 1 billion pieces. And let's just say that the road is lava. If they touch it, they're going to die, right? And they try to, like, cling onto one of the seats that is now not attached to an operable motor vehicle. Obviously, right, they're no longer going to be seen as a threat to flee. Right? And by the way, you're not just debating me and Parker on this. You're debating international law. You're debating the Geneva Convention. You're debating federal law. And that makes you a really little beta boy, right? You know, be an alpha child like me and Parker, wake up, recognize reality.
That was such a great comeback, Dean. That was rock solid, dude. Lava, you know, and all this bullshit. What a great comeback. Am I supposed to engage with that? I give you a perfect scenario where a vehicle is fleeing from law enforcement, okay, kind of the same thing, okay, as a boat that's not stopping, not surrendering. Then the suspects in the vehicle jump out, jump back in the vehicle to try to get away from, to evade the officers. And you're going, is that not a great comparison?
Wait, so first and foremost, the boat was blown up, and then what did you want them to do?
It was
just
also
like
capsized.
die? Did you just want them to like die by drowning?
I want them to swim away from the vessel and
go where?
surrender.
Wait,
surrender.
Liam, they were surrendering. The boat was capsized, and they climbed on it numerous times and slid off for 45 minutes.
Wow.
Like, where did you want
Do you
them
have a
to
response?
go?
Do you have a response?
Where did I want them to go? I wanted them to go straight to hell where they need to go, okay? That's where I want them to go. You do not make money off the unaliving of people, okay? And then you guys come up here. Joe Biden himself, okay, you can find a speech from Biden saying any means necessary, we will be literally wiping out cartel who are trafficking. We will be wiping them out. It's so easy to do the Google search, Biden attacks the traffickers. It's amazing. He's literally so harsh, but his words, his action did not back up his words. All right? Now, Trump is doing exactly what the Biden administration said they were going to do. And you guys
are you okay?
going, he's committing war crimes.
Yeah, let's just cut to the chase. Let's
no,
just
wait a minute. I'm not done. I'm almost
done. Are
you
okay with the Trump administration committing war crimes? Yes or no?
What?
Are you ever okay with the Trump administration committing war crimes? Yes or no?
In certain instances, yes.
Oh God. Okay. All right. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Why are you using the Lord's name in vain?
Well,
Liam,
as you say that
you
you're
just
okay
said
with
in
literal
some
fucking war crimes.
Yeah, you
I
just
think
said
that we have bigger issues here. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I don't.
No. There's a bit of a, I think, of an issue with the audio because of Liam's stuff.
Yeah, it's
but
Dean. It's Dean. It's not me. Just like you blamed it on me.
Liam, it was you.
No,
So
it's
okay. Liam,
you're
so
intimidated by my beard. I get it. It's fine.
that was cringe. So Liam, the point that we've already made, is that in these scenarios, there was no reason to blow them up and to murder them, and the fact that you would sit here and defend that is actually sick. It really is sick, Liam.
Stop, please. What is murder?
Unjustified unaliving of a person.
Shut up, bro. Don't call what they did smurder. You absolute piece of garbage. That's not smurder.
What's going on? You
What?
just asked him to define the
The
word.
justification
One second.
was
One second. You asked it. One second. You asked him to define the word. Liam, you asked him to define what the word murder means, and then he starts defining it. You interrupt him, and you're like, "Shut up, bro, dude! Like, come on, bro, calm down."
He
Calm
says
down.
it's the justification of taking someone's life. And
Yes,
I'm asking him, was
I
there
understand. I understand you're
justification?
emotional. You're very emotional, man. But like, you're an emotional man. It's okay. But the point I was making is that it's an unjustified unaliving of a person, and that's what happened.
Have you ever had a family member, a close family member of yours, that's lost their life due to uncontrollable substances?
Yes.
No, I haven't.
I was talking to Parker.
Okay. Well, I thought I'd answer yes.
Yeah, I was talking to the
Okay.
femboy
So,
right here.
so you don't really care that like my uncle died from an OD?
I do care, but I was actually talking to Parker because we were having a conversation.
Well, good thing that I could clarify that. Yeah, my uncle died from an OD on the F drug.
Well, I'm with you, dude. My father died. Okay, so
I'm sorry to hear that.
it's not fun, dude. You want in any means necessary. You don't want this to happen to anyone else. You know.
I agree,
That's like
Liam, but
honestly.
F-drug is not
Wait
coming
a
from
minute,
Venezuela.
Wait a minute. I will respect you, and I will respect Dean. This is something I've never seen. Maybe I just haven't been on enough of your lives. I've never seen you guys allow a co-host to be like drinking or doing anything. I mean, Dean does do the whole, anxiety bullshit, but that's another story. There's creators. I'm not going to call them out, but they are ex-friends of yours who allowed other creators to be literally doing shots and drinking on their live as they're debating. And you can see the people steadily getting more impaired. I've never seen that from you two. So I'll say that you
Because so the reason why is because sober
you guys definitely
Trump
do have the
supporters are already
maturity.
annoyed at
Hang on, bro. I will say you definitely do have the maturity to not allow that bullshit on your streams. I'll give you guys respect for that, for sure.
I mean, honestly, it's just because sober Trump supporters are already annoying as is.
Shut up, dude. Okay.
I really don't think that they need 4 shots. I mean, that's kind of where I draw my line.
Wow. I thought we would actually find a little common ground there, but I guess we didn't because you're a child.
Hey, dude. Hey, Liam. I would hope that we'd find common ground on you not wanting to support a candidate that called for the execution of his political opponents, that is murdering people off the coast of Venezuela, who's been held civilly liable of sexual abuse, that incited a violent insurrection of the Capitol and pardoned violent rioters who beat police officers called patriots. I don't think that those would be things that we should disagree on, but inevitably speaking, we do, Liam. And I don't know what is going to be the point where you're going to realize that Trump is so bad that you've disqualified like him from supporting him. Like genuinely, like he called for the execution of his political opponents after you come up on our live stream many times and been like, the Dems are violent, the Dems are advocating violent rhetoric. And you brought that up as an issue as to why you don't support Democrats. But then now whenever Trump does it, it's something that you overlook very easily.
Well, I mean, I do have to justify, in a way, I have to justify the commander-in-chief because he's the party leader, okay? I can't do it in every situation, and you know that as well. I myself would never go out and cheat on my wife, okay? Donald Trump is guilty of that many, many times. Does that disqualify him from being president? No, it does not. Does that show that he's been morally bankrupt in that sense? Yes, it does, for sure, okay? But you can't take a voter like myself and go, fuck you, Liam. You voted for this guy. So I'm going to advocate violence towards you because of your vote. And that's kind of what I see from your guys' side. You guys have been saying that Donald Trump is so many things. You compare him to Schmittler for sure. I don't think that's even close to fair.
You compared us to Hitler earlier, like literally. And
No,
I'm
there
sorry,
was
you're still purposefully not responding to the point I made about the fact that he called for the execution of his political opponents for saying not to abide by or uphold unlawful orders. And I think that should be a point where you realize that there's an issue, because if we did that, you would be screaming this at us, acting like, "Oh, you support violence, Parker, Dean. You guys are the worst. You guys support people literally being executed by the president." Like that's what you would say if we supported the Democrats doing this. But when you do it, you apparently won't even address it. Don't strawman my position. Talk about that. Talk about why you still support Trump, even though he called for the execution of some Democrats.
Well, I think Donald Trump is a big mouth, and I think he said a lot of things that were not going to be true, okay, for sure. Do I see him executing his political opponents? No, I do not. Not at all. To be honest with you, the way that he was talking about the mayor, of New York, brought a lot of unity, brought a lot of, people are like, I think that the society thought that there was going to be a dog out fight. And he was like, through democracy, this man was elected, and let him do his job. I don't think that the Democrats saw that conversation going that way. For sure.
Yeah, I could agree that the Democrats definitely didn't see that conversation going that way. And I'll give like minimal points to Trump for how he handled the meeting with Zoran Mamdani.
Yeah, but like, can we address the point that this is violent rhetoric, and that if Democrats engaged in this, you would say it's a disqualifier, but because Trump engaged in it, you don't
No, I
acknowledge it's a
wouldn't.
disqualifier, and you just say, "Oh, these are just things that he says."
No, I think that it would be like stupid and kind of hypocritical and stuff, for sure. But no, with words aren't action. Words aren't action, okay? So, I think that honestly, I think that words can lead to violence for sure. In Charlie Kirk's case, it absolutely did. And I think that from your guys' push, I'm not going to blame you solely, but I think that what is the big word that you guys call Donald Trump? Oh, he's a fascist.
Wait. You're
Wait.
contradicting
You said that
yourself.
Donald Trump
Wait,
is a
one second, Liam. You're contradicting yourself because you were just arguing not even 5 minutes ago that the left is politically violent because they'll compare Donald Trump to Hitler. But now then when Parker brings up the fact that he called for the execution of Democrats, all of a sudden words aren't violence and don't matter. So which one is it? Do words matter, and is the left politically violent for in some circumstances comparing Trump to Hitler? Or do words not matter in the justification of the premise that we shouldn't care Donald Trump called for the execution of Democrats?
They do matter, but what I said is in Trump's case, he's the commander in chief. There's a lot that he can do and put into action, okay? He says these words like he said, I'm going to lock Hillary up, and that was in the moment when he was battling it out. He was debating, he was doing all that. But then when they actually asked him when he won the election, all that, he was like, I would never like to see an ex-president's wife put behind bars. Okay. So Trump has a strategy, and a lot of these times, you guys, I think that he's an absolute troll for sure, and it bothers me. I don't know if that's what the world needs to see. When the most powerful country on planet Earth is someone like Donald Trump being maybe divisive too much. Okay, but I do think that the Democrats need the pushback. I think that the country needs the pushback. We need to see the inner workings of the government. And I think that Donald Trump was the best choice to see all of that. Okay?
Okay, but do you still think that even though he's called for violent rhetoric, like you just said, leads to violence and harms people? Because inevitably speaking, if he's calling for the execution of some Democrats, that's violent rhetoric. And I guarantee if we said the same thing, if we reposted people saying HANG them, George Washington would have, and we were referencing Republicans and Trump supporters, would you be okay with that? Would you come up on my live stream and yell at me because I did that?
I have talked to you. You've kicked me when I've tried to talk to you about your rhetoric towards like Charlie Kirk and towards Donald Trump. And it was triggering in the moment. Maybe it was the wrong time to say it. I did see how emotional you were because you were on campus when Charlie's life was taken.
Mm-hmm.
And I did see how emotional you were. I didn't like to see the turnaround where it was like, I'm sorry for, hurting anyone, that this man's words maybe, really hurt you or literally just destroyed marginalized communities and all, whatever this comeback, was that you did. But in the moment, I did see how emotional
I don't know what
you
you're
were.
talking about.
Yeah, you were basically saying, I'm sorry for being emotional, that Charlie Kirk lost his life, and I wasn't sympathetic to
I
my
never said that I was.
supporters.
I never said I was sorry. What I was sad about in the circumstance is because it was traumatizing for me to be around a gunshot and be scared and fearful of my life. I've talked about this very clearly. That's what I was afraid about. And the same thing goes for Dean. Dean was scared specifically about the fact that I was there, and seeing the fact that this could happen to him. We were not sad because necessarily something happened to Charlie. I wasn't close with Charlie. I don't like Charlie as a person, okay? That was not the reason why I was sad or the reason why Dean was sad. We've been very clear with that. And also, us understanding more about where our emotional state is and over time is something that happens to everyone, okay? You learn more about the position that you have or about the emotions that you feel over time.
So you think it's better that he's gone?
I never claimed anything like that. I think that he should not have been murdered.
Right, like I think that maybe like where at, man, is like we're both kind of like pacifists, right? We disagree with the death penalty. We don't think that Charlie deserved it. We don't think that he should have been murdered, right? Well, but simultaneously, right? It is like good, right? That like a generation of students on college campuses around this country are no longer having to, sit center stage to the cutthroat indoctrination that was perpetuated by this weaponized machine of Turning Point with Charlie Kirk. But I don't think that fact changes my position that I don't think he should have been murdered. I don't think that fact changes my position that what happened on, September 10th or whatever it was shouldn't have occurred. I don't think that changes my position that it's still yet a bad thing because of like the pacifist position that I hold to, being against the death penalty and how that could cause an increase in like violence towards individuals on the left.
You don't think that the unmutable microphone that Charlie Kirk gave to people that could, push back on his beliefs and debate him at any point?
I just don't think that Charlie Kirk was, something of the nature that you just described alongside many other right-wingers. I think that he targeted low-information college students to have conversations with, to get the clips, to get the dump,
True,
and
bro.
turn around and
Not
post it on
true.
YouTube.
Not true.
I think it is true. If that wasn't true, then I think that he would have been more willing to sit down and debate me, more willing to sit down and debate Parker. And he wouldn't have just specifically gone to college campuses to set up these debates. He would have had more scheduled and planned debates with thought leaders on the left compared to just
I would
random
say,
college
sorry to interrupt, but I would say the Cambridge students that he debated would dog walk you guys on pretty much any subject if they were oppositional to you guys' beliefs. You most likely would be on the same page. I would not.
Yeah, I think that there's a couple
I would not
Cambridge
put
students.
I would not put myself on a pedestal. You guys have to understand. Be honest with yourselves and go. We have our screen saved shots. We have these same conversations and these debates over and over again. You pretty much go down the same rabbit hole, in every conversation that you do. I know it becomes, repetitive, habitual, all this stuff, but his debates were more organic. Okay, you guys have a background. Why do you
Why
still
are we even
support
talking
Trump?
about this? We asked you about why you still support Trump, even though he called for the execution of his political opponents. There was not a single Democrat that ran for political office in terms of the presidency that called for his death. Not a single person. I don't know why you're bringing this up. We're asking
Okay,
you.
right now, dog walk right now. I'm going to dog walk you right now. You ready? Who said this man is not joking? We need to keep him in the crosshairs. Exact words. Quote. Played a clip. Who said that, Parker? Whose life was almost taken in Butler after he said that, Parker?
Joe Biden was not saying that he wanted him to be killed.
Oh, there we go, boys.
That was not Joe Biden calling for the execution of Trump. That was simply Joe Biden saying that we need to be hyper-fixated on addressing and attacking Donald Trump in terms of politics. Okay.
What are crosshairs, Parker?
You understand that could be. It's not a literal sense of crosshair.
What are crosshairs, Parker?
That's not a literal sense of crosshair.
Tell me what it is, Parker. Stop dodging.
In this context, it means that we are at focus.
Focusing through what, Parker?
Like focus the politics and like the message.
Focusing
on Trump.
through what, Parker? Crosshairs, or what device would you see crosshairs?
They're focusing
through?
the message on Trump.
Through the magnification of what, Parker?
Literally, like focusing on that particular.
This is literally. This is a choker. This is a choker collar around your neck right now, dude. The whole chat's listening to you. What are crosshairs referencing?
Okay, I don't think anyone actually think that's a literal sense of crosshair.
What
and I
are
don't think he said it
crosshairs
himself.
referencing, Parker?
I told you multiple times, Liam.
You know this is going to be clipped if you literally
So
don't answer
I mean,
the question.
I'd like to clarify here just real quick.
Yeah,
so,
get him.
So
Hi-
to keep
tap him in.
someone,
Tap your
one
friend in.
moment.
Come on.
I'm just trying to add on to the conversation.
go.
The phrase to quote unquote keep someone in the crosshairs, right, is a colloquial phrase that has been used for generations now to reference singling somebody out as a primary target for scrutiny, criticism, blame, investigation, or a primary target is somebody that we all want to rally against to ensure that they don't win an election. This phrase is very typically used. I think that you're plain dumb if you deny this, right? Like for instance, when you know, like the federal government like audits a company for like a failure to pay taxes, right? It's like fair to say that the quote unquote company's finances are in the crosshairs of the auditors. Or if there's like a singer or like, you know, some type of public figure that's, you know, facing like immense blame and criticism, it's fair to say, quote unquote, they found themselves in the crosshairs of public anger, so on and so forth. Or if like a politician is being investigated for a crime, the quote unquote politician found herself in the law's crosshairs. And you know, I feel like for you to deny this this idiom is just crazy.
So if Parker and I were, you know, we were in the woods and we had 30-06s on our back, like this Tyler guy had, you know, and you know, on the campus roof.
Wait, wasn't it proven that it wasn't a 30-06?
No, it was not. So listen. So let's say we both had 30-06s on us, and we were 120 yards out. I was 120 yards out. Parker was 30 yards out, and we had that buck sighted in right in the center of the
crosshairs. Yeah.
Right in the center of the crosshairs. What would that mean? What would that mean, Dean?
That you're gonna shoot and kill the buck.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, but guess what, buddy?
No,
I don't know.
wait. No, I'm not done.
You have the level of a
Don't
critical
cut
thought.
me off, little
I don't.
fella. I let you speak without
I don't know if
interrupting.
you have like the level of
Here
critical
he
thought
goes again. He can't
of a
control
third grader.
himself.
So I mean, I think that it's important for us to point out that some phrases are literal, some phrases are metaphorical, and you are being very dense here to try to attempt to confuse a metaphorical phrase that is used as an idiom for a literal one. Like for instance, if Biden called Jill Biden a quote unquote tall glass of water, okay, would you think that Joe Biden is experiencing mental decline and thinks that his wife is literally a tall glass of water? Or would you pick up on the metaphorical sense that we use the phrase tall glass of water as an idiom in this country, referencing like fine, attractive, sexually appealing, so on and so forth?
Am I supposed to engage with that stupid questioning? Yes.
Yes, you are. You are supposed to engage, yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is such a detour down a
If
bumpy.
Biden called his wife a tall glass of water, would you think that he's being literal and that he's just insane and literally thinks that his wife is a glass of water? Or would you take a metaphorical sense of him calling her like sexually attractive, fine, appealing, pretty, beautiful, so on and so forth?
No, I would not. It's not the same thing. Okay, when you're weaponizing the DOJ against somebody to stop them any means necessary, so they cannot get to a place of the highest office in the land, which is presidency. Okay, and then in return, you're saying this man is not messing around. We need to keep him in the crosshairs. Okay, I understand that you could use that as, hey, he's saying he's not using that in the term that he wants to take his life. But it is coincidental.
It's an idiom.
It is coincidental that Butler happened right after that.
You know what an idiom is?
I'm not. Again, you keep interrupting me.
Liam,
do you know what an idiom is?
Stop
That
it,
was a registered
dude.
Republican, Liam.
Good God, lady.
Do you know what an idiom is?
I know what an idiot is. Yes.
You? No, I asked you what the word idiom is.
Okay, let's have a word salad here. What is an idiom?
So an idiom is a phrase or expression whose meaning isn't obvious from the literal words. Like for instance, right? If you tell somebody to go break a leg, right? You're not telling them to literally break their leg. You're wishing them good luck. Or when you say it's raining cats and dogs, no, domesticated animals are not falling from the sky. It's just likely raining water heavily. These
Okay, wait a minute.
expressions,
Wait.
these expressions,
Okay,
these
I
expressions
agree
are
with you, but
common,
I haven't pushed.
and these expressions are typical to different languages and different cultures, right? And their non-literal meanings often stem from historical context or the common expression / experience, the way the phrase is used. So if I were to say that I hope that Parker breaks a leg in his debates today, I'm not wishing him pain. If I were to say that it's raining cats and dogs, I'm not saying that animals are falling from the sky. If my girlfriend were to call me a tall cup of water, she's not saying that she wants to drink me for hydration. And if Biden says that we need to keep the crosshairs on Trump during the election, right? Okay.
So Dean, wait. So
I understand how that is
Dean,
kind of
wait,
crazy.
stop.
And if
Stop.
Biden
So,
says that we need to keep the crosshairs on Trump, he's not saying that we literally need to
so
get it.
Dean, if you tell a young person, "Hey, go break a leg," and then the following week they decide to jump off a roof and break their leg, and the child was like, "But you told me it would be okay to jump, and I broke my leg." Would you hold any responsibility for that? And
No, I told that
also,
child dumb.
does that kind of
I'd say that's
Stop
an awfully stupid
does
child.
that kind of correlate to a man saying keep him in the crosshairs, and maybe somebody that was over emotional said, "Oh my gosh, he's right. We could take this person out. I have my grandpa's crosshairs. I'm going to do the deed. I'm going to do it."
Good dude. Okay, first and foremost, if like I told a child to go
So
break
do
a
you
leg
think
when
that,
they're
wait,
let me
almost,
explain.
so
I'm going to answer your
yes,
question.
I'm
I'm
going to
going
give
to
you
answer
the
your
floor.
question.
Stop.
I'm going to
I'm
answer
gonna
your
give you the
question.
No, I'm
Thank
going
you.
to give you the floor.
Thank
So
you.
does that not mean that words can cause action?
Okay, so I'm gonna happily respond to your question. Thank you for the floor. First and foremost, if I told a child to go break a leg on their way to a sports game, and then that child jumped off a building and literally broke their leg, okay, I don't think I'd be responsible for that. I think that'd be a very dumb child, okay, right? And then in response to the second thing that you had to say there about Biden saying, "Let's keep our crosshairs on him," then Tyler
You're not a
Robinson
parent, are
shooting,
you?
then Tyler
You're not a
Robinson,
parent, are you?
then Tyler Robinson shooting Trump. You are literally assuming that Tyler Robinson has like one functional brain cell. Like, no, Tyler Robinson didn't just like all of a sudden.
Hold up, it wasn't Tyler
Go
Robinson
ahead.
there. It was Crooks.
Oh, sorry, man.
Crooks.
I'm just
Yeah, that's right.
confusing
You're
them.
good. Don't worry.
Thank you for correcting me. Crooks. You're literally assuming that like Crooks had one functional brain cell. You're telling me that Crooks like never had like this thought that maybe violence is the answer. You're telling me that Crooks never had this like deviant line of cognition leading to the conclusion that he wanted to try to shoot Trump. But then the moment Biden said, "Let's keep him in the crosshairs," all of a sudden he had this grand awakening where he's like, "Oh, I could go take this gun and put him on my crosshairs and pull the trigger." Like, I'm so sorry. This is just fantasy. This is just made up hypochondriac fantasy directed by you to attempt to villainize those on the left for the attempted assassination of Donald Trump from somebody who was a registered Republican.
And also, I just want to, no. Before you do, you said words can cause action. So then you must say that Donald Trump calling for the execution of his political opponents can cause action as well, right?
It absolutely could. I'll agree with you on that. I will concede on that. I don't want to, but yes, I will.
Is that more directly going to cause action?
I answered your question.
Okay.
Now, this is my question. You guys believe that words can cause action, right? In an emotional state, a hyper state of whatever it might be, not cognitively thinking correctly, emotionalism, whatever it might be, emotionalism, whatever it might be, right? So, you guys saying fascist, you and Adam Cray and all, Donald Trump has this many aspects of fascism.
But maybe he should stop being a fascist.
Stop and shut the fuck up and let me
Maybe
finish.
he should stop being a
You've
fascist.
interrupted me every fucking time, Dean. Seriously, bro. So, fascist. Thanks, Parker. That was really cool, you little bitch. So anyway, what did the shell casings have engraved on the shell casings, Parker?
Hey, fascist catch. That's from Helldivers.
It said what? Well, I didn't hear you. You didn't say it. You didn't say it clear enough for the chat to hear it. I heard it, but I don't think the chat did. What did it say on the shell casing, Parker?
It's from a video game called Helldivers.
What did it say on the shell casing?
It's from a video game in Helldivers.
Cool. What did it say?
Yeah, it said, "Hey, fascist catch."
Okay, so this is the second dog walking. This is the choker collar, a little bit tighter around your neck, okay? I've already taken you out in the first one. Here's the second one. You want to go 3 for 3?
Dude, I don't think you're actually making a point here. This is from the game Helldivers, dude. And again, us calling him a fascist is not a call for violence. It's just a description of his political ideology. And I also just want to reference, again, Donald Trump calling directly for the execution of them is exactly and more literal. It's more likely to lead to that. And it's specifically calling for that particular behavior. So again, if we engage in that behavior, you would say that that's such violence that we should be removed from TikTok and we should be removed from all these different social media platforms. But you think Donald Trump should still be allowed to be president of the United States because it's just something he typically says.
Yes, I think that you've added to the violence, you and Dean. Added to the political violence, yes, I do.
Oh, wait.
Liam, you're stupid.
Wait, I just want to clarify here. Using your own
Liam, you're
argument, Donald Trump.
stupid? Is that what you said?
I just want to clarify. I just want to clarify here. I just want to clarify here. No.
you
I
think
need to
that Trump-
clarify. I need to clarify. Using your own line of logic as it would relate to like Biden saying let's keep Trump in the crosshairs, causing political violence, means that Donald Trump is culpable and responsible for all of the J6 rioters that caused the insurrection upon the Capitol on January 6th because of the fact that he told them to fight like hell. Isn't it a little bit, I don't know, coincidental, right? Keep in mind, I'm referencing your own logic here, that right after Trump told these supporters to fight like hell, they went to the steps of the Capitol and fought like hell.
Live restriction. Did I get that or did you get that, Parker?
I think I got that for you.
Is there a response to what I just said? Is there a response to what I said? So Donald Trump told his supporters to fight like hell?
Why the fuck is your chat reporting me, Parker? Why?
That just happened on TikTok, dude.
No, dude, I haven't said anything
inappropriate. He's gonna start
inappropriate.
screaming, dude. Shut the fuck up, dude. Listen to Dean's point.
Talk to your chat and tell them to stop reporting, bro.
Shut the fuck up. Listen.
I'm listening. I just don't want your live to get restricted, you absolute dumb truck.
Dumb truck?
Yeah, dumb truck. Or dump truck.
Maybe you should be quiet then. Go ahead.
Talk to your chat, dude. Be the response.
I mean, Parker kind of is a dump truck the way that he has to deal with all of your garbage.
That's right. We are garbage. MAGA people are garbage. You're right.
True.
Yep, so true. So true, boys.
Speaking of which, thank you so much, Emily. Thank you for the $15. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Get some W's for thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Taylor, thank you so much for the $5. I really appreciate it. Cynthia, thank you for the 78 cents. Thank you so much. Brittany with the $100 on Venmo. Can we get some W's for Brittany in the comment section right now? Thank you so much. Can we get some W's for Brittany in the comment section right now? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it for dealing with Liam's garbage. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Can we get some W's for Caleb in the comment section right now for the $50? Thank you so much. I literally told him about that earlier and he didn't even care. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Caleb. Can we get some W's for Caleb in the comment section right now? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay,
Hey guys, listen. Wait a minute. Let me say one thing, Dean. I would never advocate for violence towards either one of you guys. Okay?
You called us Hitler.
Stop it. I don't agree with you guys in a lot of aspects here, but anyone that says I want to bring violence to these two guys, I would never agree to that. Ever. Okay? Because you know why? Because most cases people say that because they don't have the courage to come up here and debate you two.
Are you going to answer my question? Fool?
Shut up, bro. I'm in the middle of a conversation here with myself.
Oh, yeah. I actually asked you this question 5 minutes ago, and you've been dodging.
Your audio is so bad, Dean. Anyway, go
I
ahead.
said I asked you this question 5 minutes ago, and you've been dodging?
I'm a good dodgeball player. I'll give you that. Go ahead. What's the question?
So you said because Biden said we need to keep Trump in our crosshairs, and then like a couple weeks after that, crooks tried to kill Trump. Therefore, Biden is in part responsible for that assassination attempt. So therefore, because Donald Trump told his supporters to fight like hell, then minutes after that, they stormed the Capitol and fought like hell trying to kill police officers. Trump, in part, is responsible for that.
Actually, that clip that Donald Trump that was over an hour long was actually spliced together.
No, he's not even referencing the BBC clip. He's not even referencing the BBC clip.
No, yes, he is. Yes, he is.
All he said was fight like hell. That's not even referencing two separate clips, genius.
Play the clip where he says fight like hell. Play it in entirety, that whole section.
Dude, We're not playing the other clip of him talking about
Oh,
other
of
things.
course
It was
you're
only
not,
the claim of
dude.
fight like hell.
You made the claim. No, you
so
have to
yeah,
put it
so
in
sorry,
context.
so sorry. There
You
actually
have
is
to
more.
put it in context.
So
Stop it. No,
there
that's
actually
bullshit.
is a little bit more context. So the context is, and I quote, "We're going to fight like hell, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore." And by the way, you're now asking us to contextualize Donald Trump's statement because you think that there's an explanation. Because you think that there's an explanation for it, right, outside, right, of the direct words in the quoted phrase. But then when we try to contextualize what Biden said by bringing up the fact that it is a common idiom, you denied it.
Do you think that protesting is a form of fighting for your rights?
Wait,
Yeah,
now are
but
we
I don't
talking
think
about
trying to
non-literal?
protest
Wait, Liam, isn't that the exact point that we were referencing, that there are different definitions of the term? He's laughing at his own point right now.
Yeah, you are laughing at your own point.
Wow.
Liam
Oh my
is
God.
actually
you're-
laughing at his
no,
own
wait.
point, and he doesn't even realize it.
So you're saying that march down to the Capitol and protest would mean fighting for your rights, is what you're saying.
Oh, so you're saying that you could use the word fight
No,
in a
no,
non-literal
answer the
sense?
question.
Yeah, you could use the word fight in a non-literal sense.
Awesome. Cool. I like it. I like
Yeah,
this.
the same way you could say
We're
put somebody in the
learning. We're
crosshairs in a
learning.
non-literal sense.
We're
Liam,
learning.
actually, you're the one that's learning right now. You just got dog walked
Yeah.
like a good boy.
Yeah, get dog walked.
Self-proclaimed Victor Parker right here. Check him out.
Okay,
I was just telling you that I was, because you couldn't realize it yourself.
Dude,
I'm gonna go ahead and,
honestly, I debate you guys
Alright,
from the
Dean. I'll
toilet.
make sure to
You
send that
guys
to
are
an
so
number to you.
easy to. You guys are so easy to debate. I debate you from the toilet. Okay, stop it.
Hey, Liam, genuinely, like I just want to be real with you real quick. Can you please just acknowledge some of the points that we made earlier? I would love to have a direct dialogue about those. Okay, if you say that there is definitely an issue in terms of the Democrats, in terms of the rhetoric they engaged in, then you have to acknowledge the direct rhetoric from Donald Trump, where he specifically told people to, or he reposted someone saying HANG them. George Washington would have. Can you sit here and condemn that right now for us?
Yes, I will condemn that if that's what he actually meant, was take people to the public square and end their life with a rope. Okay, I'm telling
he
you right.
reposted. That was
and
obvious. He said punishable
telling
by
you,
death.
Can you show me in the United States what state allows public executions by or unalivings by a rope?
I mean, I don't know. I bet there are areas that do, but the point I was making is that this is what
No,
Donald
there's
Trump
not.
himself.
No, there's
Wait,
not.
hold up.
No, there's
Hold
not.
up. Okay,
No,
wait.
there's not.
Wait, so to clarify, if I said this about
So
Donald Trump,
again-
wait. If I said that Donald Trump should be HANGED, do you think that that would be wrong? Because there's nowhere in the United States that specifically does do that. By the way, under your perspective.
I think in the moment of being over emotional, I think that saying this stuff, yeah, you need to watch the words that come out of your mouth. Yes. But I think that if you're taking it to the extreme and saying, I'm going to be unaliving someone with a rope, we all know that that's not going to be punishable by law. That's not going to be happening.
So although
So
Trump
those
might
are
not
just-
be able to
those are-
realistically act this out, that doesn't mean that he didn't advocate for this, and it doesn't mean that that rhetoric doesn't cause violence in this country. And if you want there to be less violence in this country, you can't actively say that while simultaneously supporting Donald Trump doing this. Right? It just doesn't make any sense. Like, for example, let me give you a specific example. If in 2016, Obama specifically said, or we'll say Clinton, Hillary Clinton said that Pete Hegseth should have been executed for what he said about not following unlawful orders, do you think that a reasonable person would have still continued to support Hillary Clinton after hearing that?
Not when she was in the political race. No, I think that if I think that in the heat of the moment, I think people say a lot of things, and I think that we should be more emotionally intelligent to be able to understand that even these public officials, these people and high levels of government are not perfect human beings, okay? So I don't think that they're gods or anything. I don't think that their words hold that much weight. And I think that's what we're seeing play out right now. I really do. And it's like, I think that you take stuff too literally. I don't know if it's for TikTok clicks or whatever it might be, but yeah, I agree with you that words have meaning, and I think that words can lead to violence. And it's happened under both parties for sure. We have to agree on that, right?
Not to the degree that we've seen with Trump, but sure, there have been people on the left that have advocated for violence, and I disagree with that. And I think I've been very clear with that. But you just said I take it too literally after literally trying to argue that when Biden was saying crosshairs, that he meant a literal sense of crosshairs. I can't believe that you just said that literally, like what,
Wait,
like
no,
literally
no,
10,
you're putting
15
words in
minutes
my
after this
mouth.
happened.
You're putting words in my mouth. I said that is it coincidental that literally right after he said that Butler happened?
Yeah, that would be coincidental because that person was a
Come
registered
on,
Republican.
Parker. Come
Hey,
on,
listen,
dude.
Liam, that person was not only a registered Republican, but also the specific words that he was saying were to private donors and weren't even specifically in the public, right? What you're talking about is him literally just referencing, again, a non-literal sense. Now, if you want to talk about this, Donald Trump is referencing a literal sense. Donald Trump is being explicitly clear that he called for the execution. You just said that if Hillary Clinton said this about Pete Hegseth in 2016, you said that it'd be unreasonable to support her continuing after that. So then can you at least acknowledge that it's unreasonable for you to support Trump after he called for the execution of political opponents that literally just said not to abide by unlawful orders?
No, I told you why. I told you it was a gross exaggeration because they're not allowing public executions, unalivings with a rope, dude. Do you not understand that? It's an extreme. Should he be using that language and those words? No, he should not. I think it's childish. I think that he says a lot of stupid things.
Well
Okay,
beyond
for
childish.
sure.
This is well beyond childish. This is the president of the United States making a claim about executing his political opponents. In no manner would that ever be accepted if any other presidential candidate did this. I'm sorry, Liam. There has to be a point where you draw the line. I'm serious. Like, seriously. Like, genuinely.
I am fucking drawing the line, dude.
No, you're
I know
not.
that you're trying to rage bait into a
I'm not
conversation. with
Liam,
me.
right now, I am doing the complete opposite from rage baiting. If I wanted to rage bait you, I'd be thanking people for donations right now. I'm not doing that. I am specifically
go
right
ahead.
now
Thank your donors. Go ahead.
I'm not trying to rage bait you right now. I am literally trying to ask you a specific question.
Yeah, I know you are, but this is the big question. Have I ever advocated to take down your lives or say inappropriate, dropping the N-word or slurs? Have I ever done that in any of your lives?
You have said inappropriate words, and you have called for my life.
You're a liar. You're a liar. Play the clip right now. Play it. Play anything of me being inappropriate.
It's been so
You're
long.
not going to find you're not going to find a clip of me being inappropriate on TikTok. Okay.
That's
so
ridiculous for you to say, Liam.
whatever,
you are inappropriate
you calling
all the
me
time
the good, you calling me the good boy and all the childish bullshit, all that stuff. Okay,
Liam,
let's
I'm
just
sorry.
be
There's
honest
no
here.
way you can't take accountability for your actions this much. You have obviously come on my live stream calling for my live stream to be taken down. You've obviously come on my live stream and been
You're a liar,
unprofessional
dude. You're a
and
liar.
been ridiculous
You're a liar.
and childish. I'm not lying.
You're a liar.
Liam,
I've never
everyone
reported
here
you.
knows that this has happened on the
You're a
stream.
liar, dude. Just prove it. Prove me wrong.
I would have to go and find the specific clips
You
of that.
will not
It's hours and
find it,
hours and hours
Parker.
of content, but yes, I can.
You will never find it.
Yes, we could.
No, you will not.
Yeah, we could.
I just think that honestly, I think that I bring a tough conversation with you. I'm not the smartest person in the world. Okay. I'll take you calling me dumb and all this stuff. But that's why I love the conservative movement too, where it's like, we're going to be, a common sense party. That triggers people like you because you think you're smarter than 77 million people that voted for Donald Trump, dude. That's how big your ego is. Right?
Do you think you're smarter than the 75
Do
million
you
people that
think
voted
you're
for Kamala
smarter
Harris?
than the 70s? Do you think you're smarter than the 77 million people that voted for Trump?
Yeah, I genuinely do.
Oh my
About
gosh,
politics,
there it
yeah.
is. There it is. Please clip that. Please clip that right there.
Okay, go for it.
You're fucking egotist, dude. Seriously.
And you're crashing out because I genuinely think that. I'm sorry, like I'm not saying that everyone who voted for Donald Trump
Wow.
is extremely, extremely dumb. There's a lot of evil people that voted for Donald Trump that did so even though they're smart. But the issue is that I think that, again, once we get to a certain point, you can at least acknowledge that he's done stuff that's disqualifying. And if you can't acknowledge that, well, then it's an issue. Like, I've given you the things, Liam. There should be a point where you should draw a line where you say, I'm done supporting Trump. You can still be a conservative. You can still be a Republican, Liam. But to say that you still support Donald Trump is absurd at this point. It really is. Like, based on all the arguments you provided, you've proven yourself wrong using your own arguments.
You're out of your mind, dude. I have given you a strong debate and conversation right now, whether you like it or not. Okay? You brought this Donald Trump needs to be disqualified from being the president of the United States because he's advocated for people at the end of a rope, okay? And this is not acceptable for him to be saying this is when he's in office. So in return, I talk to you about a president that's advocating for keeping someone in the crosshairs. It's the same rhetoric. It's the same stuff.
No, it's not
if
the same
not
rhetoric.
more,
That is obviously
if
not the
not
same rhetoric.
more, if not more violent, which it actually
More
led
violent? Okay,
to,
so you
which
think
act,
him?
stop it, which actually
No,
led.
shut up. You think him using a non-literal sense of crosshairs is more violent than calling for the
Wow,
direct
that's good
execution
job,
of your
bro.
political opponents? You have got to be rage baiting at this point, Liam. Like it's either you are purposefully being disingenuous if you make this argument. Like Liam, I don't think you're this dumb. I really don't. You're purposefully misunderstanding this. I can't hear you, Liam.
Since Donald Trump advocated for unaliving, okay, people by rope, how long ago was that? When did he say that? Timeline.
It's about probably a week ago.
Okay, a week ago. That's about the
Week or two,
same
maybe.
distance. Yeah, it's about the same distance when Butler happened. Tell me one of his political rivals right now that is having their life threatened by a rope. You're not going to be able to find it, dude. You're not going to find it. Okay.
You said are you asking me for a state that allows for this?
No. I'm asking you to show me that Donald Trump, okay, since this horrendous rhetoric that he's using, this speech, that someone, a political rival, is having their life threatened. Literally, someone broke into their home, tried to, a week ago, 2 weeks, because we got a couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks out now, same as Butler. Tell me a conservative weirdo that brought a rope to someone's home and tried to unalive them with the rope.
So, I mean, I can point to other people, but like who in the past this has been applicable to them where this has happened. But
I'm
Kelly
telling you,
specifically,
as of a
Mark
week,
Kelly,
as of a couple weeks,
Yeah,
right now,
I'm referencing Mark Kelly, which is one of the people specifically that was involved in this, that was telling people to not abide by unlawful orders. His life has been repeatedly threatened over and over and over again because of this. Okay? The idea that you don't acknowledge this is a problem. And by the way, even if there weren't threats, it's still a disqualifying point. And I'll just tell you this, Liam, right now. Any Democratic candidate that calls for the execution of Republicans, right, I would say that they would not be one I would support. I would not vote for them. Okay? And I would draw the line there. I'm serious. Liam. And I hope that you can at least use that as some method for reflection for yourself, in that you wouldn't want to support someone on your side doing that. I'm not just saying this because it's a political talking point that's applicable to Trump. I'm saying this because it's a genuine red line that I think should exist for both sides of the political spectrum. And if it doesn't exist for both sides of the political spectrum, then both sides can justify unaliving each other. Okay?
I agree with that.
So, Liam,
You know,
that's what I'm telling you. Like,
Hang on,
in order
hang
for
on.
us to be able to have these conversations, we have to literally call this too much. We have to say that this is a line that we draw, and we can't support Donald Trump when he does this. I'm serious. You have to be able to draw that line. And by the way, I've said this about Jay Jones, the Democratic lawmaker that specifically said that about Republicans. I do not support them. I would not vote for them. Okay?
Yeah, but I think that I agree with you, okay? But I think that you're hypocritical if you don't say, okay, well, yes, I think that the crosshair statement that was made and then maybe how that all played out with Butler and everything, I think that you should be right up front and say, yeah, that should have never been said. Even if that's not what he meant, that should have never been said. Well, and you know what's funny is
Sure, I think he could have phrased it in a different way, but I don't think he's accountable for like calling for the execution of people because he like actively, literally wasn't. He was not doing that. Now, could it come off in a manner in which could possibly lead to rhetoric that maybe we wouldn't like? Sure. I mean, I obviously think that maybe there's a point there to make
rhetoric,
if you're making specific points there. I mean,
action.
Yeah, I mean,
Not rhetoric, but
I
action.
don't think that the action was relative to that.
Oh my gosh,
Like seriously,
bro.
Butler had nothing to do with that.
Where have we gotten in a society, man? Where have we gotten? Seriously, where are we at right now? I honestly, when the fires happened in California, you and I are in California. I know you don't like me, but I don't have any ill will towards you. I would never try to harm you, whatever it might be. If you think this guy's violent, I'm not. I'm a father. love my kids, love my wife. I'm like, hey, dude, let's meet up. Let's do this. Let's do that. And you're like, I would never step a foot near you, you fucking weirdo. And it's just like, I think that you've treated me poorly, dude, honestly. Seriously. I think it's fucking childish. I think it's time for you and I both to grow up. I like having these debates and conversations with you. I respect you, bro. I do. Okay? But don't treat me like shit, like I'm a child, when I am actually a father. I hope I am a good father. All right? I think we both need to grow up a little bit here. Can you agree on that?
I mean, I obviously can acknowledge things that I've done that are disrespectful in the past and acknowledge that I shouldn't do things that are disrespectful. I do think that you have to take your own advice here, and you yourself have to stop supporting Donald Trump if you were to make that claim. Like, I'm serious. You genuinely have to be able to do that. Like, and Liam, I would treat you with so much more respect if you were able to acknowledge that.
Will you be my friend if I stop advocating for Trump and his policies? Will you be my friend?
I mean, I don't know if we'd end up becoming friends, but like I would treat you very nicely, and we'd be acquaintances.
Would you give me a little bit of credit, even though I'm an American citizen and outside of my support for the conservative movement?
If you stop supporting Donald Trump, I will absolutely give you your credit. I'm totally serious, Liam. That's the reason, Liam. The reason why I brought you up today is because I genuinely wanted to catch up back on you and see where your mind space is after all of these different things that have happened. Because different things have happened since the last time we've had a conversation, and I would hope that based upon the information that I've learned from the conversations we've had, that you'd be able to change your mind at a certain point. And yes, dude, I'm totally being serious. I will totally give you your props for acknowledging that you don't support Trump anymore. And I will totally be significantly more likely to engage with you. Hell, I'd even fucking meet you in person if you actually believed that. I'm serious, Liam. I would meet you in person, and I would shake your fucking hand if you'd stop supporting Donald Trump. I'm not trolling when I say that.
Well, that's going to be honestly because it's not really about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is an old man, and he's going to be gone. I'm not willing to jump over to the Democratic Party that is turned on itself, okay? Is completely lost. To be honest with you, for me, it was a very emotional, heavy thing that we lost Charlie Kirk. I actually was privileged to be with him in the bullpen, okay? When he was debating, there's only a few people that were allowed to be around him in his circle. You understand that? So I was able to be there for that and hear him from start to finish without all the clipped videos and everything. And I believe that the man brought a really wonderful conversation trying to push the ideas of the youth and how to better their lives through their future work and their endeavors and everything. I think it was an amazing thing that happened on campus. I think that someone that's going to fill his shoes, it just doesn't happen all the time, man. It won't. So that for me, he's way bigger than Donald Trump for me. His belief of, conservatism, okay, nuclear family, putting Christ at the wheel, okay, all that's the stuff for me that literally, like if you look at the world and his passing and all the new chapters that popped up on these campuses, you look at the world's, his impact on the world, it's so much bigger than Trump and Kamala and Biden and all this stuff because it's backed by biblical truth. Okay? That's why. So please, if you're going to have any type of a friendship with me, just know that I'm backing the Conservative Party because maybe it's a little bit easier to be a Christian, I believe, under that party. Okay? I don't advocate for the unaliving of democratic people. You understand that? I'm not the judge and I'm not the jury.
Yeah, I disagree that I think that Christianity is more upheld specifically by Democrats, and I can argue that against you. But the point is that we definitely know that it's not upheld by Trump to a greater extent. I think Trump is antithetical to every Christian value that you'd have.
Bible says that I knew you before you were in your mother's womb. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to leave that right there. You can ponder that and think about that.
That just means God's all-knowing. That literally just means God's all-knowing. That's all it means.
No, that means I prepared, a place for you. Okay, yeah, God's all knowing. You could say that. But that's a whole other conversation. I don't want to get into the abortion right now with you. I appreciate you having me up on your live. I'm sure you want to move on. All right.
Well, I mean, Liam, you're going to be my last guest, but the point I want to make before this is that there's nothing in the Bible that specifically prescribes you have to hold a particular position on abortion. There really isn't. There's even aspects of the Bible that specifically say that abortion in some circumstances is what you should do, like in Numbers, right? If a woman cheats on her wife and becomes pregnant, it says that she should go drink bitter water to cause an intentional miscarriage. So there are conditions where they specifically tell them to have an abortion in the context of the Bible. But even then, like from a Christian perspective, you can still hold my stance because it's about ensoulment from that perspective. That ensoulment only happens at that point, and it's also that plenty of Christians don't think it's murder to pull the plug on an individual in your family that's brain dead. So again, there is nothing tying you to being pro-life in the manner in which it's supported by people like Charlie Kirk. When you are a Christian, you don't have to do that. And even so, you can believe in separation of church and state, and you can think that it's immoral. You can all you want, think it's immoral, but it should be legal for people to have access to it because we believe in separation of church and state. And you don't want to enforce your particular religious principles on whether or not people should be able to engage in particular types of actions, right? Now, you might say that your religious principles might be a reason why you want to help other people, like provide food and healthcare for the needy, right? For people who are in those circumstances where they need it. But it wouldn't make sense to say that people should be restricted from engaging in particular behaviors like that because of your religious values, because inevitably speaking, one, that will turn people away from Christianity. It really will. And two, it doesn't actually say anywhere in the Bible that you should do that.
Well, yeah, I'm agreeing with you in a sense. I do agree that there's facets and there's directions of the Democratic Party, that would advocate for programs that help more the needy, would help immigrants, and a lot of different things, and the Bible even talks about that, So I think that there's aspects of the Democratic Party that would align with, the beliefs in Christianity and stuff. I'm not going to say that they're completely anti. I think that would be just a lie, But I don't know. I don't understand really what the point is. I don't understand what you're trying to say there.
The point I'm making is that you are not necessarily subject to just being a Republican or just being a conservative by being Christian. And there are plenty of Christians that I would welcome into the movement, right, on our side, right, specifically in terms of the policies to support. And I would actually say that they're more representative of the things that you'd want to support in Christianity to bring people towards Christianity. I'm telling you, if you, instead of trying to force people to do certain things and restrict them from doing certain things by using your religion, but instead try to provide that community and that help for people in need, it will bring more people towards your religious views than if you force people to do certain things. So inevitably speaking, if you want to move people more to Christ, if you want to move people more to Christianity, right, I do think that the best approach for that is to take approach similar to like James Tallarico, not to take the approach of Christian nationalists and people on the right who are Christians specifically trying to enforce it in the law and restrict people from doing certain things, but rather uplift people and do exactly what Jesus talked so much about in the context of the New Testament. Jesus talked a lot about helping people and providing community. He did not talk a lot about restricting people from doing certain things.
Christ talked about praying for those who are in a place of leadership, praying for our leaders, okay? In Christ's words, okay, he said, study to show thyself approved, a workman unto God who needeth not be ashamed, who can rightly divide the word of truth, okay? So seeing the truth, okay, there's a lot of so-called truth out there, but through wisdom, okay, and understanding, we have to divide the word of truth. We have to understand truth from misdirection, so to speak. And I think that becomes harder in the last days. The Bible talks about the last days. It talks about modern day prophets, not prophets, but martyrs. Yeah, prophets and martyrs, but martyrs. I would argue that like a Charlie Kirk is a modern day martyr. He was martyred for his faith, okay? He, more than anything, he pushed his politics with the conservative movement, but he also, more than that, he pushed his Christianity and his beliefs. I know you'll agree to that, okay? So, and if you judge that man for who he was, okay, righteously judge him, he is a martyr. He's a definition of what a martyr is. So that man will go down in history as being martyred for his faith. Okay, and there are men of God, okay, David in the Bible, who put beautiful women's husbands on the front line, right? Bathsheba's husband on the front line. I don't believe Charlie Kirk ever unaliving anyone or doing any of these such things. David was beloved of God because he had a heart for God, all these things. So there are some wonderful people that we've lost, that maybe we haven't lost in this day and age. There really are. You know?
Based upon your same definition, the Hortmans would also be considered a martyr as well, because they were killed for their beliefs as well. So the point that at least I would mention here is that, again, if you want to bring more people to you, do it through acceptance and community. Don't do it through restrictions, right? In that type of way. Now, obviously, there are certain restrictions that make sense, but I'm saying, like, in general, like, when it comes to things, especially we have a huge disagreement on, when it comes to things like abortion, it makes so much more sense to bring people in by trying to say, here's how we develop community, here's how we take care of people in need, rather than saying, oh, you can't get an abortion, right? Or it should be illegal, or you should go to prison if that's the case that you do that. I don't think that that brings more people to your faith. And again, if you want to bring more people to your faith, advocate for food programs and healthcare programs and, policies that help working class people. That's what Democrats hyperfixate on and are really trying to get done. And I would say that the priorities on that, rather than restricting people from getting access to abortion, I think would be actually really good for bringing people towards your religion if you wanted to do that, and if that's the goal that you have. And I'm doing this as a genuine point, not as I'm just trying to pull you to my side, but as a genuine point, as I think that this will pull more people to your side. And I can give you specific examples, like I brought up earlier with James Tellerico, where I think that he brings more people to the views of Christianity, right, through acceptance and community, than would be through like any other type of mechanism that plenty of other, people utilize in terms of their religion. So I just think it's a new approach that maybe you could reflect on and think about adopting in terms of this. And I also don't think that because of Christianity, you have to be tied to supporting conservatives or Republicans. And if anything, there are definitely good arguments that plenty of Christians would make specifically against that. And you might not listen to me as an atheist or an agnostic, but the point I want to make is that you can listen to plenty of the other Christians that do have those particular perspectives, take them into account, have those conversations, and reflect and self-introspect on your perspectives on that. And I think that would, genuinely be possible to change your mind. And I mean, through this conversation, genuinely, Liam, I really hope that you can see my perspective in seeing that, like, we're going to be able to unify more as a country if we don't have people like Trump in our politics, right? If you had some other conservative, you have some other person like that, we would be able to come together and unify to a greater extent. And Trump literally limits us from doing that. And I will actively, on my side, try my hardest to limit the level of disunity that is caused by people specifically that exist on the left as well. I definitely try my hardest all the time to do that. I obviously am not perfect. Sometimes I do things in which obviously are disunifying. I try my hardest, though, to do whatever I can. But the point I'm trying to make is that, inevitably speaking, Trump meets this threshold where it just doesn't make sense to support him anymore.
Yeah, I don't disagree with a lot of that. I think that this country could use somebody that was a little bit less of a troll, that was at the highest seat in office. I think that the political atmosphere has become an absolute shit show all the way around. It's just like, it's a telltale sign of where society is really honestly going, man. And I just don't want to see any more political violence. I really don't. You know what I mean? There are a lot of things that the Conservative Party is doing and standing for now, and I'm with it. But I don't know, man. We got a single vote here. I mean, you have a bigger voice. You got a big platform, so your voice stretches a lot further and stuff, But I don't know how to really speak to you sometimes and be like, hey, Parker, you told me how to open my mind and listen to these people and do this. What do I say to you? There's some really good atheists are out there, bro, that you should listen to their view because this is who they are. It's like, I can't say to you, hey, man, I think that you should meditate and pray on things, and I think that you should ask for guidance and how the Lord wants you to direct your life, your path. where you can really impact and love people and meet people where they're at and stuff and really do some really wonderful work, you're going to think that I'm fucking crazy. I'm telling you to pray to a sky daddy or something, you know? So where do I
Liam,
meet in the middle with you?
Liam, I don't mean
How
to
do
cut you
I
off.
meet in the middle with you, man?
I don't think you're crazy for telling me that. I understand from your perspective that you're doing that. And dude, I grew up in a Christian conservative household. I understand the point that you're trying to get to with saying like, oh, just try to take into account other perspectives. And I just want to tell you from a genuine perspective, I constantly speaking, I am always trying to take into account other perspectives. It might not look like that because I'm having a live stream and I'm more like because of the, you know, how many times I've talked about these things. I'm more grounded in certain views, but I constantly am engaging in self-introspection and I'm open to other views that exist. I'm obviously open to religious views. For a huge portion of my life, I really wanted Christianity to be true, right? That's the case. Like I really tried to justify it myself. I just genuinely got to a point where I couldn't do so. Now, do I understand where you're coming from? Do I understand the community you're trying to point me towards? Yes, I do. And I just want to tell you again, I am always open, right, to different perspectives. But I'm trying to essentially get you to realize that you can do that in yourself and that the best way to do that is to not support Donald Trump. And that means that we can't have a conversation on the live stream because inevitably speaking, you won't support Donald Trump if that's the case. But it still will lead to a better society that we all have where people are treated better and where more people are going to accept good values, okay? And that means that both sides of the aisle, both liberals and conservatives, need to hold their sides accountable. And this whole idea of we just need to be pointing fingers isn't always the case. I'm not always just trying to be the person to point fingers and be like, oh, it's Trump. It's the Republicans, right? That's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm doing this genuinely because I've been convinced that he is so harmful to our society, right? That it genuinely holds us back from having conversations about like, yo, what tax policy do you support? What do you want to do to uplift your community when we're so focused on all of these horrible new things that Donald Trump is doing all the time? Because we have to, because of how crazy it is.
I don't I don't agree with that. I think that Donald Trump has made some drastic moves in what, 1 year in a presidency. We have what, 3 more years of what he's doing right now. Buckle up, buckle up, dude. Okay, I think that the man is definitely an action character. He's definitely doing things whether you like it or not and mixing it up for sure. And I mean, there's so much more I want to say. I don't want to, this is just going to keep going and keep going, dude. And I think people are probably fucking bored of me. If you want me gone, everybody, just give me a thumbs up down there in the chat. And I'm out. I'll bail. But dude, I appreciate the conversation, Parker. Honestly, thank you so much for having me up here and letting me have a voice.
Yeah, Liam, I don't mean to cut you off. I think there was a little bit of a lag there, but
dude, you're cutting out. You're really cutting out.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a lag. I apologize for that. I'm gonna end the live here, but I just want to say, like, hopefully you can self-introspect on this. Like, I'm genuinely saying this because I care as a person and I want to like change your mind, and not because I'm just trying to like be some liberal content creator trying to destroy you in a debate or just go after you or try to be rude to you. I'm genuinely sitting down with you, having this conversation at this level right now because I'm trying to convince you and change your mind. And I always do that
I know you are.
stream.
You've been very respectful. I do thank you for that. You are a snowflake, and I've dog walked you today. Maybe you'll come back stronger in the next debate.
All right.
Hey, how many cats do you own?
0.
How many cats do you own? Nobody gives a shit.
I'm getting off.